Oh, yeah, we're in the thick of it, guys. In the thick of the playoffs around the world. We're going to go back in time a little bit. Watch some FlyQuest versus Team Liquid. I need the grilled cheese. Monty was right. C9 were frauds. I know, man. I told you. They looked bad even in their wins. I have no idea what the hype was around this team. Why LCS? Well, what do you want? What do you want, stealing UIPs? Also, thank you to Slammer Hammer for your Twitch Prime sub. What a name. What a name.
Against the LCS's top squad, or will
all right, here we go.
Continue their reign of terror all the way into the grand finals? Let's find out. I'm here with Kobe and Isaiah.
So there's all these different changes.
Okay, it's Smolder. It's a bit interesting. You would think TL would be potentially the Smolder merchants here, given their history, but that's all right. We're not going to first pick it. And Ziggs, of course, going to be banned against APA. Rumble and Ivern banned. People have finally figured out how to ban Rumble.
What are these teams going to take
in LCS and possibly LEC?
Ones here. If Corki gets slammed, then you start to think stuff. You are going to go with a more traditional.
All right.
Corki, pretty boring. Oh man, we're taking Renekton for Bippo. He did play like 4 games of Renekton in their last series.
A specialist there and keep some of the extra variables consistent so that you can just focus on the other variables of the game. But I like.
So, yeah, surprised Maokai fell this far.
Leading into MSI and all the hype for the.
Was on the LCS the other week when we was chatting.
Pretty boring. Just gonna take Cassante. Interesting that they take Azir now, so we're opting into Azir Corki. I assume Impact isn't gonna play, you know, Corki top side, so seems like a pretty standard handshake. Meme keep up, thank you. 2 months watching Forehead drink black coffee. Hell yeah.
Thus far, it is pretty standard stuff.
The dream.
That's unlucky.
Yeah, drove from Canada to see Cloud9.
I've done the T1 VOD review. I did the last T1 series. I'm not going to do T1 DK because I watched it live last night. And we did the Monty and Wolf show this morning. So if you want my thoughts, just watch the Monty and Wolf show.
Let's see here. What other AD carries are they worried about for their Ezreal lane? The misfortune and, I mean, they were hovering Kaisa earlier, but...
So no MF, no Kaisa, so no backline threat for Yun. Yun does default to like weird things like Varus sometimes in these situations.
Let's see what they're going to pick here. We've already got both solo lanes. They could just lock a jungler, leave that support count here again.
And it was so
all right, so the Amumu has been rising in priority, especially in LEC and LCS. With Maokai gone, I guess it makes sense if you want a full engage jungler.
Biggest difference here is going to be
Callista. Are we just going to play Callista Renata?
Up until this
Callista Senna? I don't know about this one. This doesn't seem good. This doesn't seem good. Why don't we just take Renata? Why, if you see Amumu, why don't we just take Renata and counter Amumu ult?
The captain of the team being engaged and making calls.
Have a better lane too.
So it will be. You also have to be way more reliant on
Ezreal Nautilus, not the greatest lane, but does provide you additional engage and follow-up.
Yeah, but one of the big losses, I think, even though it's an amazing champion in a strong lane, his ability to roam is
not a big fan of this Callista Senna. We'll have to see how it works. Just feels like it just feels like you're not actually activating any strengths that you have. It doesn't have a lot of synergy with Corki because you're not getting poke synergy right, and you can't dominate lane as hard.
Summer, we have been waiting to see this clash again. And let me remind you that when Team Liquid won in spring, they specifically called out the FlyQuest top lane and jungle as being annoying and being very happy that they were able to take them down. So let's
don't
see.
choke quad kind of weak.
Some built-up tension between these two teams, and we.
Did they not just like Sejuani? Yeah, it does feel a little bit weird because you can have non-committal engage with Sejuani plus good synergy with Renekton. The Amumu fetishization is not something I really understand.
They don't want to just be second best. You know, Buppo talked about it, how he has been kind of second fiddle to Impact, and Impact is that bar for greatness right now in the league. Everyone looking up to this guy and how well he's playing, and Buppo was excited to kind of now in the league. Everyone looking up.
So I wonder if the LCS are actually, the casters are actually getting paid here. Because, like, I'd be pretty mad if the LCS was monetizing subs to use my likeness.
Up to this guy and how well he's playing. And
At this point in time.
To test himself against Impact.
And man, Impact
Thank you,
has
Half
always
Cena, for your Twitch Prime
such
sub.
a
Appreciate you.
rock there at the very top of top laners in the LCS, but I feel like this split has even been remarkable by his own standards. Like, the difference between Impact and everybody else in the top lane has been definitive.
I think it's really exemplified by the fact that they have led the way for lane swaps. They brought back so much from MSI and from international play in how to play their side.
I don't even think they brought that much back from international. I think they just used their brains.
But it's lane swaps back at like 5 minutes, then at 9 minutes, then
and are a
after
well-coached
all
team.
Powers are down as well, and Impact is just so knowledgeable, paying attention to every minion wave on the map, even while he's still concentrating on his own lane, and making a lot of macro calls for Team Liquid, while also still maintaining very good individual performance.
Well, you can see by the 3 cameras we got right here, no lane swaps starting off
I'm gonna eat some
here
salad.
in our first game. Instead, going to be some pretty
Sorry
standard stuff
for
with
crunch.
APA having the push here in mid, while Jan and Core are doing the same thing bot.
And that is, going to benefit Jan and Core, of course, with this Kalista center lane, and Core trying to stack up his souls whenever he can, get these chunks, especially onto the Nautilus there. So building their wave on bottom side, and it is worth mentioning that junglers have opposing jungle starts here, so Maokai, Mr. Umpty will end up on the bottom side, while Inspired is going towards top.
And I think one of the really interesting things about, FlyQuest, he's talked about the meta changing, but also the playstyles have changed. Inspired has been so complimentary towards quad, and in the regular season, he was 9th out of 8 junglers, by the way, as far as his mid-jungle proximity. In playoffs, he's 2nd, and he has really been...
I eat a can of green beans for lunch? Dear God. Pull yourself together.
Yeah, Whippo very, very close to death. Impact going forward for the 3rd hit of the Antofo strikes. The Croc tries.
In playoffs, he's changing, but also the playstyle has changed. Inspired has been
Why is
so
Whippo like this, by the way? Why is Whippo like this? So he starts proxying the wave.
Regular season, he was 9th out of 8 junglers, by the way.
Walks back into the wave, takes hits for free. Then he uses Slice, but he pulls turret aggro with his E.
And he has really been... Whippo's in trouble.
Yeah, Whippo very, very close to death. Impact going forward for the 3rd hit of the Antofo strikes. The Croc tries to escape, but there ain't no running from the best top in North America. Impact with the solo bolo for the first blood.
Whippo said, Impact is the bar for greatness, and that bar is still above his head.
I think that bar just hit him in the head.
It definitely did. Let's take another look at the bar.
Yeah, we can watch it one more time. The bar
He gets pulled in by R3.
Scary is Whippo wanted to go past and
And
look
back.
for a little bit of a proxy play. But this gets awkward when you try to cross back through. He pulled
He took aggro on his
as he
E.
actually hit him, and Impact just slowed him down in that pass and looked for a little bit of a proxy play.
To be fair, Impact did get in the way of his E there, so Impact actually provoked him.
As he actually hit him.
It's a good play by Impact too, but come on, can't be dying like that.
This is just a bit of an overplay there from Whippo, because when you walk through that tower, when you cross, you cannot hit them back or you pull tower aggro. In this case, he did, and then it all goes bad.
I don't know how many times, gentlemen, we are going to see professional top laners disrespect Cassante underneath the tier 1 turret. I feel like the story ends the same way every single time.
And, walking past Impact right there and disrespecting him is a mistake you don't get to make again. We'll see what they're able to do with this lead.
Whippo has been good on the Redactin, though, as far as, like, zoning carries out and being useful on Renekton, he's been quite good.
So probably should be Umpty. Oh, he's actually passed over the Tri-Brush ward there as he goes to hover behind Impact, but I don't think Umpty will waste much time. He can just go to another full clear top to bottom.
Yep. Yeah, doing pretty well in that situation. And I think Whippo was just in a spot where he thought, Impact's not going to hit me. He needs to farm the wave, right? And Impact just recognized that spot and now is keeping him away from those minions and pushing him all the way back. He might just die here, likely going to have to go back to base. Now has no TP, so if Impact can crash the wave, Whippo is going to lose quite a bit here.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. It was a fully completed Bramble on first back because of that first blood. that Impact got.
Does Impact have to prove anything to say he's not the LCS GOAT? I can't think of it, even another player in the discussion. Are you serious? You can't use your brain to think of Bjergsen? Bjergsen was objectively much more impactful than Impact has been. Impact has been great this split, but man, like, he usually is checked out in the regular season.
At least at about a full wave. Inspired maybe gets to stop the base here.
6. That was number 7 right there, and he got in range, at least for EXP
Yeah,
of it.
Lost 8 because he missed that last one as well. So quite a big hit there, and now the CS is evened out.
And again, the
DL,
experience
no.
is the real kicker here, because Impact is almost level 6.
He's clearly
And
Bjergsen.
Whippo, as he does get back to the lane, but
Well, Impact has a couple more years like this, then sure, but
swapping, this is a very common timer with the level with the 6 minute for grubs. Team
I'm curious
Liquid
how much of the
still going to
TSM
be
stuff
ahead
Bjerg knew
of
about and
the
never
curve
said anything
based
about.
on
All of it,
first, but
obviously.
FlyQuest
He was on the
entering
team.
straight
He
out
was
of
he was
base. Here
in
comes,
he was in the team
Nautilus's
room when
as
Reggie
well.
was
Masu
Kool-Aid
is
manning his way
hovering
through the
down to
wall
bottom
and being an
side. He's
idiot.
gonna get popped by that sapling.
Like, what do you
So
mean
they
what
do
stuff he
see
didn't
the
know? He knew all of it.
going back down bottom.
Yawn, still just
The real
holding on
question
the
is
front with
why
JJ.
he signed
Whippo hits
his
level
second
6.
deal with TSM when he could have gotten a
Dominance
King's
available
ransom for anybody. He should have been off
Umpty
TSM earlier.
Looking to come up and maybe assist him here. Whippo's got half HP.
Inspired
no flash
yanked it
still,
too.
remember. FlyQuest popping that ulti there for the Renekton, maintaining control over the top side river. They got the one grub. The other 2 were going to reset. Whippo running out of time.
I just don't understand why Bjergsen signed a contract with TSM without testing the open market. That was the insane thing.
Whippo has lost the ult. Flash engage comes out with a twisted advance. And now with a little bit more damage from the bottom lane duo, Team Liquid's about call of the meat for the Renekton, maintaining control over the top side river. They got the one grub. The other 2 were going to reset. Whippo running out of time.
Okay, so we're swapping topside, try and control grubs. Pretty interesting. We're not actually trying to control Drake here with the Callista composition. But no ult on Whippo makes this super easy. Whippo just sending it this game, all right?
Whippo drops and Yawn's getting the money.
So
Yawn!
Inspired did
He's
join
so
the
tired.
wave
Yawn!
one.
And then he just goes ahead and
smited
takes the
first
grub.
one, but then
Inspired
here
has
comes
no
Umpty, and
smite.
He gets payback. Since your smite was used on the first one, he's just going to go pick up that one. And it is just really good response from TL, seeing the big wave and saying, you have to get this thing crashed. You have to get this thing in. And then they just fight FlyQuest off of it and prey on the crocodile once.
Meanwhile, because he dies in the top side and because there's nobody in the bot side, we crash this wave into the bot side. So they actually lose CS here. Why is Masu recalling right now?
He smited the first one, but then here comes Umpty, and he gets payback.
Masu recalls.
Since your smite was used on the first one, he's just gonna go.
And they know there's no
pick up that
Renekton,
one,
so it's
and
just a
it is
free instant
just
shove
really
into
good
bot
response
side.
from TL,
Masu
seeing the
didn't
big
take
wave and
TP.
saying, you have to get this thing crashed. You have to get this thing in, and then they just fight FlyQuest off.
It's actually just a fucking nightmare for FlyQuest. Plate
And it looked to me
gone.
like
Oh, it looks like
Inspired
because
goes
there's a
down,
can minion, you
AP
won't
was
lose that
kinda
much,
skirmishing
but
with
still.
Quad around that jungle, around that river. And it
They lose
seems
stuff
that
topside,
AP
too.
might have spotted Inspired, which
Are the
then
casters
prompted
ever going to learn to pronounce Yun correctly? No,
them
they're
to
not.
go in on that
They're just going to
top
call
side
him
with
Yawn
Renekton
like they're very
expiring.
tired until the
Umpty
end of
goes, "All right,
time.
well, if Mumu's down by mid, we have a
It's not even
chance to
hard.
up here, so
Like, I
go
don't
ahead and get that
understand.
kill. You know, TL played around it really, really well. I think FlyQuest, you know, initially was doing a pretty good job to actually get in and steal that grub, but maybe overplayed their hand. And we can try to watch on the mini-map. Oh, this is pretty far back, so I'm not sure we'll get to see what I was actually talking about.
See, the sapling
Gets
does
spotted
tag
right
him.
there. And then this is after the initial steal. It's much later than I was thinking.
Yeah, so this is him just walking by. Inspired gets it, and then they chase Umpty off. But then they
Inspired goes and cues the
don't respect
crab
Umpty wrapping back around.
Oh, yeah, he-
Inspired
and leaves
right on
Whippo and
board.
Bucio out to dry. That is
No
horrible.
problem there, but
That's
they
just
don't
a
respect it
giant
because
split call.
That big wave is there, and then TL, they prey on them.
What are they
wrapping
doing,
around.
man?
Umpty just walks up. He was like, okay,
That's just
fine.
free.
Giving me the pathway, I'll take it.
Yep.
And that's further dividends being paid from Impact's solo kill earlier as well. Because there is no flash on Whippo, it's so easy for Umpty to just commit the flash with the point-and-click W, lock up Whippo, get another kill, make it easy. 1,500 gold lead early on for TL. It's about to be even more as Yawn is mining plate gold while Umpty takes the drag.
That a
I gotta
call?
highlight something that's a little bit sad right now. A 90 stack call, 8.5 minutes into the game is never
Pretty
the spot you
actually
wanna be in.
garbage early
Whippo
game by
has to pop it off,
FlyQuest.
you know, expecting some more potential pressure to come in. He's going to use this likely to just try to clear out the wave, but he is in a really tough spot.
Okay, Inspired going for the dive on Impact up here from the top side while Jan has to get away in the 2v1 down in bottom lane. Meanwhile,
Alright, they got the Senna ult off, but not actually gonna. Bucio almost dies. MT wasn't there for the dive. Whippo has no ult, they can redive this.
It wasn't enough to keep him alive. Bucio barely gets away.
That is very
They have Callisto ult as well. Okay, this guy's
They
dead.
needed to pull that off.
This is not good news. Whippo has no ult.
Why did MT take aggro? Why did MT take a Corso taking aggro? Alright, well, whatever, it's fine.
As Whippo dies again, and the tier 1 turret is going to pay the consequences.
Yeah,
I don't even like this Callisto Senna comp, man, but whatever. It's just working because top lane is going horrendously.
This is kind of becoming the new meta over the Zeeks a lot of the time. People just rushing straight towards that. As they're going to look mid.
Oh, APA gets shuffled back. Inspired looking to make his way into the minion wave with the first bandage toss. APA tries to get away. Quad needs one more hit with a soul.
As they're going to look mid. Each and every time. now has that lock.
APA just doesn't feel like flashing.
The new meta over the Zeeks a lot of the time. People just rushing straight towards that. As they're going to look mid.
Oh, APA.
Even if they both flash there, he doesn't get pushed out into the lane. Like, the thing is that Quad had to flash for that. Usually you see players flash for flash there. He lives if he flashes. Whatever.
Inspired looking to make his way into the minion wave with the first bandage toss. APA tries to get away. Quad needs one more hit with a soldier, and FlyQuest picks up their second kill.
I went back to look at it too because I was a little confused why Whippo went back under tower since he had gone up to the Gromp basically and got hit by a sapling. But he didn't walk all the way in.
Hello, again, I've come to have my nerd card revoked. What for this time?
So in the end, they do mirror those ones. Interesting choice there. But they do get one more back here towards mid lane, and that is going to be your completed Leandries for the Amumu. So now you do have that threat here on his side, has his flash ready. As soon as that ult comes back up, they can
General existence.
The Amumu really was a big star yesterday. So high.
Well, Niox, what can we do to help you be more nerdy? What can we do? What can we do for you?
And I feel like the itemization for the front line of FlyQuest is pretty simple this game. It's a lot of armor, right? You're up against a double marksman duo, a triple marksman if we include the mid lane, and then the only real magic damage is coming from Maokai, which isn't that much of a threat. So FlyQuest's front line with the Amumu, with the Renekton, should be able to get pretty tanky against these guys as long as they don't continue to fall behind.
The question is just how much armor are you really going to build, right? You know, realistically, generally
Convince me to spend less time playing games. Does that make you a nerd? And more time watching cool stuff?
Sometimes go Leandries into like a frozen heart, but then it's hard to get to a third item.
What games are you playing?
Whippo continues to find himself in tough spots as Impact tries to dash away while Inspired
Leandries into like a frozen heart, but then it's hard to get to a third item. He's going to go all up, pull him under the tower.
Whippo continues to find himself in tough spots as Impact tries to dash away while Inspired
Leandries into like a frozen heart, but then it's hard to get to a third item. He's going to go all up, pull him under the tower.
Oh man, Inspired being there.
Continues to find himself in tough spots as Impact tries to dash away while Inspired reinforces his top laner. Finally, Impact may have gone too far. Inspired barely survives while down to the bottom lane. Jan has to try to get away down to 100 HP as Matsu continues firing. Core JJ firing off a couple of heals.
I think they can turn this. I think they can turn this. Oh, they can't. Never mind. JK.
Continues firing. Core JJ firing off a couple of heals as they try to kite the fight backwards.
Booster actually got the auto down onto Yun. And he got the two roots.
Matsu Arcane shifts in. FlyQuest comes to life. 5-3.
Huge Inspired diff on the top side.
That's crazy that they could lose both sides like that with this lead. Lose it both sides at the same time. What the fuck happened at bot side?
Impact flashed over to follow Whippo. They get that kill. And then the bottom lane comes up with heroics. Fly Masu, the rookie of the year, is now 2-0. Trinity Force completed on Ezreal.
Yeah, he's playing really well. Him and Bucio finding the angle here to look for that.
Monte, I'm going through a recent breakup. Any advice to feel better? Look, man. Here's the truth about breakups. Okay? You're better off without it. The reason is because it wasn't going to work out anyway. Why are you sad about something that didn't work out? Why are you sad about that? This is why you should never be afraid to approach people romantically or to just put your cards on the table. Because the real thing that hurts is that the rejection makes you feel bad because you're not wanted, but why would you want to be wanted by someone who doesn't want you? You know what I mean? Like, it'll get better. Don't worry about it. At least you got out of a situation where somebody who didn't want to be with you anymore is no longer with you. That actually is to your advantage.
Is actually even better because Whippo had died earlier to Impact, so Impact's gonna flash follow.
So take some time, but there's no reason to be sad about it, guys. Sometimes relationships just end, and they were good for the time that they were good for, and then they're not relevant anymore. Then get yourself back out there and find somebody who you like, and then you can't worry about rejection. You just have to be honest and say, like, hey, I'm really into you. And if they say, hey, I'm not that interested in you, it wasn't going to work anyway, guys. So what's the point of beating around the bush?
Nice job. No flash Cassante.
Mark coming. Fighting.
All right, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Nope.
No flash Cassante.
You can't be too cocky after the start of the game.
All business in game one. Yeah, you kind of have to nurse your own ego a little bit after the 0-3 start. It's a slow climb back up.
And it was a good timing for Inspire, because if he wasn't there, Impact probably solo kills him.
I would give my jungler like something more like a jungle diff. Good job. Cheer
hype him up. Jungle diff. Wow, look how good you are when you gank top lane.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
spam
see how I slid that in there, you know?
Let them know that you're on the same
smart.
page.
You're well practiced, I could tell.
Yeah. Wow, you're so good at ganking top.
Maybe you
could pull that again. Yeah. I'll be here when you're ready.
You've had some practice.
Oh, yeah.
Then when they gank like bottom lane, you're like, good try.
Good try.
NT.
Bot lane was inting you on that one. I got your back though. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
FlyQuest, with 30 seconds left before turret plates fall, are ahead 1,000 gold. Particularly impressive considering they were down 1,500.
Oh, Busio hooks in. Upty's here.
Busio wants it down the bottom lane. Yon's taken low.
Are we just making plays when we have no idea where junglers are? Is that what's going on?
But it's only on the enemy jungler. Inspired arrives. And
Oh my god.
With 30 seconds left before turret
I like how Inspired is here, but he's doing Raptors, so he can't actually be part of this play, and they decide that they're just going to flash in and make this play, not knowing where Maokai is, and with their jungler doing Raptors. And Busio's just dead before Quad could even get there. It's a nice Q by Umpty. That's a hard flash, man. He fat flashes and gets out. Meanwhile, they get a push and get a plate in mid. Oh! How does Yun die? What the hell? He literally leaps into it, and then he just gets hit by a bunch of sand soldiers and Qs from Ezreal. So Masu, or Yun rather, just commits suicide. Great flash by Umpty. Wow, we could have just not died there at all, but Yun decided it was time to die. Oh well, they get mid turrets, fine.
With Quad using the teleport to the bottom side, they're going to pay this price no matter what. So it was necessary to get that extra kill onto Yon.
It's kind of a fiesta. Why did Yon? I'm so tired. Have to die there.
And this is something that they are really, really good at doing, at utilizing APA to play the map. You know, obviously
is now Senna doing only Soraka S builds? We've seen some of the lethality Senna, but this is what they want her to be. Is Enchanter.
To trade up against this team.
I gotta say, this series is already delivering here. This is what I like to see. Counter punches from each side. FlyQuest versus TL at the top, and this one is going to be a trade. Dragon will just get picked up, so it's 1-for-1 now. FlyQuest grab that one, even though Umpty, Core JJ, and Yon are down here. All you can really do is push the wave.
Busio goes in for the hook, finds his mark onto Umpty, but a nice use of the Bramble Smash to try to disengage it. Meanwhile, Core's going to have to be pulled to safety from...
Do is push the wave.
Busio goes in for the hook, finds his mark onto Umpty, but a nice use of the Bramble Smash to try to disengage it. Meanwhile, Core's going to have to be pulled to safety from Yon, but Yon is already down to begin. Core JJ now stuck in the middle of 4 enemy players on FlyQuest.
What is this Cassante doing? Oh, he got the Renekton. All right, working as intended.
Gotta say, this series is already delivering here.
Why are we suiciding for the first Drake from FlyQuest? Why are we committing seppuku in this game? It's outrageous that FlyQuest has a gold lead right now, by the way. So we walk into the river. We just send it. Nice flash by Inspired. Like, what the fuck, man?
Really do is push the wave.
Whippo just TPs to the wave. Like, what are they doing?
Finds his mark onto Umpty, but a nice use of the Bramble Smash to try to disengage it. Meanwhile, Core's gonna have to be pulled to safety from Yawn, but Yawn is already down to begin. Core JJ now stuck in the middle of four.
Man, Team Liquid has royally fucked this game.
Makes his entry into the fight, but it might be a little bit too little, a little bit too late impact. Grab the kill on
All right, FlyQuest is much more on point in terms of TPs.
But FlyQuest is out fighting Liquid.
They couldn't even finish pushing the wave because Umpty got hit there for the engage, and the teleport came in early, but Maokai.
The Maokai ulti locks up Busio, who dredge lines forward, only finds his way onto a wall. Team Liquid's attempt at a counter.
Terrible Maokai ult. Now you don't have that.
Yeah, not going to be able to find anything more, and Masu is getting dangerously fed here. Excited to see this guy back on a hard carry.
It's such a throw by Team Liquid.
PA fire shots from A.
Already been done. They've got the numbers advantage, and so
There's not going to be a Maokai ult up here, is there? So Umti's playing super aggressively with no ult because they want to get this turret.
Yep. 2 shots from APA with the extra.
Oh, he's dead. Don't save him, Core. He's dead. Core.
Yet again, dawning shadow from Core JJ, but now he's in danger.
Oh, he's not dead?
APA fires back. FlyQuest has damage over time on the grubs. Will do just that.
Oh man, I thought he was dead for sure.
Dawning shadow from Core JJ, but now he's in danger.
Guess Inspired doesn't have ult either. And they missed the Ez ult.
Core JJ's grabbing the first kill. FlyQuest thought they had a pinch there. They thought they might have caught Umpty, but Team Liquid thought otherwise.
And the angle from APA was so good as they tried to push through that corridor to get
that Senna healing was crazy.
APA is just free firing on them. TL had the faster backup, and look at top lane. This is something that is so signature Team Liquid. When you make a play, you look elsewhere, they're hitting towers, they're taking objectives, and they are
It's so signature Team Liquid. No other team in the world could hit towers or play cross map, guys.
You for any sort
That's
of
how you know. Nameplates off, you know it's Team Liquid out of all the teams in the world.
So clean in these fights and in their map movement.
I think one thing that FlyQuest can look at now is that after
Do you think Azale has seen any Asian League of Legends this year?
Be a big target. APA does a lot of work for this team, so maybe some burst damage as far as one of these.
What is a Genji really?
Friendly top lane trade.
It's not just going to be top lane for long. Team Liquid is bringing the whole squad. Third hit knockback on Whippo there as he has to flash away to try to survive. Lives with 100 HP.
See, the word signature, though, has to be used.
Yeah,
it has a meaning. It has a meaning.
So we'll end up with all 3 outers.
As in, it is unique for this team. There is nothing unique. Let's look at the play. The play is this. They're fighting in the bot side, right? They're fighting in the bot side. Masu misses ult. Renekton is coming down to deal with this wave because they don't have a mid turret, and literally all Impact does is push the lane. That's all he does, because Renekton isn't there. That is not a signature. Push lane when top laner isn't there is not a signature Team Liquid play.
But Team Liquid thought otherwise.
And the angle from APA was so good as they tried to push through that corridor to get in onto Umpty. APA is just free firing on them. TL had the faster backup, and look at top lane. This is something that is so signature Team Liquid. When you make a play, you look elsewhere.
That play is not even signature to Team Liquid. It is literally other top laner isn't there push wave.
FlyQuest is really going to have to be so clean in these fights and in their map.
Impact didn't make a decision, guys. He was just in lane, and Renekton left.
I think one thing that FlyQuest can look at now is that after that play, the Corki with no flash could be a big target. APA does a lot of work for this team, so maybe some burst damage as far as one of these plays as we have another friendly top lane trade.
Like, they didn't TP into the lane, guys. Like, Whippo just walked out of the lane and Impact pushed it.
Top lane for long. Team Liquid is bringing the whole squad. Third hit knockback on Whippo there as he has to flash away to try to survive. Lives with 100 HP. Team Liquid not quite enough firepower to bring him down.
Yeah, they should be able to finish up this tower as well. So we'll end up with all 3 outers here pretty early in the game, as is typical TL fashion. But FlyQuest have been getting a lot of kills for themselves.
And you can see they had actually pushed out bots, so just now are we seeing him arrive at that bot lane tower to hit there. Mid lane, the Kalista arrived to actually defend mid in time, so we'll see how much of a trade FlyQuest can get. They are going to get that bot lane tier 1. Mid lane will be defended, but TL will trade the top lane tier 1 a kill, and they're going to be able to try to get this Herald.
And I really have to remember back to what we heard from Inspired after the interview with him when their victory against Cloud9 had just happened, talking about how the early games were so slow in that one because they knew that they could do that. They could, just weather the storm against C9, but Team Liquid wasn't going to allow that same sort of a thing to happen. Gentlemen, this has been a scrappy game. We've got 14 kills in 18 minutes, and honestly, I'm hoping we get 5 games of it.
I concur, Flowers. Definitely want some more already. It's also interesting because if you just
Do you want some more?
The bounties are actually
Team Liquid should
starting
have
to
just
go
snowballed
down
this
right
out of the
now.
laning base.
Even though there was one right there, Masu's has shrunk, and it even disappears now because if you look at the actual gold for each of them, it is Yan ahead, even with all those extra kills that had gone to Masu. This tower gold that gets spread among your team, doing a lot of work for Team Liquid. Him and Corki here. Very, very powerful as they're roaming around. And now the extra territory that you get to work with, look at the mini-map as all TL go topside here, 4-person.
Yeah, we're going in.
I don't think he's dying.
Again, a target on his back.
I think I don't understand this play. Like,
the mini-map as all TL go top.
as soon as he burns this ult and you see the TP coming through, you should back off.
Yeah, we're going in for Whippo again.
To be fair, that's what they do. He was just stunned. All right, fair enough.
But they will not find the mark.
Burn Redactin ult, burn his ear TP, walk away. Good job. That's good by Liquid. Now they can just push out.
FlyQuest early game, those early games versus Cloud9, this series has been very scrappy, but that last one was pretty different. This is kind of the comparison in the regular season versus what they were doing against Cloud9. Even from behind, they were able to kind of out-team fight Cloud9. They were depending a lot on scaling. They were going a really different angle, and they're just saying, we're going to play Ivern, we're going to play Smolder, we're going to beat you 5v5 later on in the game. This time, I do think they still have some really strong scaling, but it's not as stark as I think it was in the Cloud9 series.
And I would definitely credit FlyQuest here for their better early game really coming off the backs of Inspired and Busio. These hooks from Busio to grab them some of these.
Wait until Monty hears the LEC cast was trying to call G2 doing the three-peat, the European Golden Road.
Has really afforded them a lot.
Yeah, the European Golden Road, where, here's the thing, because it's Europe, they actually tax you 50% of the Golden Road, so you can only win LEC titles, but you can't win international titles. That's how the European Golden Road works. G2 got taxed, and so they couldn't they couldn't win Worlds or MSI or Esports World Cup.
Nice flash engage coming out with the curse of the Sad Mummy, but there's no follow-up here just yet. Impact going all out, taking Inspired back over the wall as Busio is down to 50 HP, and APA is going to be the focus now. Whippo takes him down. That's the first kill coming in for FlyQuest, but the rest of their lines are in danger. Quad is under pressure from Impact, taking Inspired back.
But Inspired has flash. He could ult flash on a Mumu.
Why are we trying to take this against a Drake that has a it's guys, it's just a second Drake. Why are we flipping the game off of this? There's a million spears in this motherfucker. What is going on? He's filling Whippo with spears, so he actually doesn't get the Ren down. There you go. There's the Rend. He saved the Ren because he was filling Whippo with spears, so they almost lost the Drake.
He could ult flash on a Mumu.
Impact is already on the flank. Inspired goes in.
The thing is, he gets 2 of them, but there's no follow-up, and Inspired immediately turns tail and runs, and everybody just gets nuked by Senna ult, and nobody follows up on APA. Yun just uses Cleanse. Whippo's in the back line. Whippo's running around after APA, so he literally takes a million gazillion spears while he's running around after Corki, gets the Corki kill, and then gets exploded by Rend. Meanwhile, Impact actually just takes him over after. Why is Whippo just like... Why is he so tunneled on APA? I guess he thinks that the Ren's going to come down here. So in a way, Yun makes a good play here because he gets a bazillion autos onto Whippo. But I don't know why Whippo is like tunneling so hard on the Corki.
Quad is under pressure from Impact, who is an absolute raid boss yet again. He cannot be stopped. Masu tries to run away.
No cleanse on APA. There was no cleanse. There was no cleanse anymore on Yun because he cleansed the Amumu ult. Also, I would think taking out the Senna would be kind of important here for the immense amount of healing she's able to deliver during this fight because she just walks around and heals everybody in autos.
first kill coming in for FlyQuest, but the rest of their lines are in danger. Quad is under pressure from Impact, who is an absolute raid boss yet again. He cannot be stopped. Masu tries to run away as Impact continues the chase. The third and Tofo strike ain't gonna hit. Masu jumps over the wall, but
What killed him?
yet again. He cannot be stopped. Masu tries to run away as Impact continues the chase. The third and Tofo strike ain't gonna hit.
What killed him?
Be stopped. Masu tries to run away as Impact continues the chase. The third and Tofo strike ain't.
Does he queue over? Oh, he queues over the wall. I didn't even know you could queue over that.
It is a 4-for-1 for TL.
I'd say that's all on the engage there. Inspired goes R flash just to get the Corki with nobody in range. No damage fallout. Nobody can actually play off the Amumu ult. And then Whippo does come in at the end, but the Senna shield's already over the top, and you already have such a big lead as far as the front lines go for TL.
And look how much damage Whippo took.
Where's the Azir ult in all of this?
Through there. He wanted to target APA. He walked past.
Oh, it's super late. You know, I honestly wish that Quid would go in first and then scoop them into an Amumu ult. That seems like a more effective way to play this game, potentially. Or you blow their flash and then you flash Amumu ult onto them. Like you use Azir ult to blow their flashes.
Then you just get wiped like that.
Very, very good stuff.
I almost think going arm guard second is potentially better here. You go arm guard second Azir and you just engage.
What do we got to see from FlyQuest to sort of stop that momentum? Is it just you got to make sure you don't get hands dipped in the fight? You got to make sure you're on the same page, or there's something more to it?
I mean, I think it's like what Kobe was talking about. You know, you have to be coordinated on that engage. We had the R flash come in, but you need everything to happen at the same time. You need the Ezreal ult over the top. The Renekton needs to be arriving at the same time. It has to be picture perfect.
And I will say that we were mentioning armor before, but this is all magic resist. That Amumu is a Leandri's DPS item and then double magic resist here versus Corki Callista. So if you are not picture perfect on your engage and your timing and you're not relying on actually locking them down with the CC, then you will take damage very, very quickly. You saw before, like that Amumu just kind of disappeared.
I mean, it's high risk, high reward, right? You know, it's magic resist, but it's also
I didn't realize they had gotten Leandri's Amumu. Yikes.
You can one-shot them, but if you fail the engage, you get one-shot, and that's kind of the build that he's opting into here, which is going to be very
That seems
exciting.
pretty insane.
Still have a ton of gold on their carries, kind of where they want it. Obviously, we do
Again, I think if you do that with Amumu, you have to actually have the arm guard on Azir.
The Ezreal is strong. The Azir is strong. They both have 2 completed items. You look over on the other side, it's the same thing for APA and Yan. FlyQuest are definitely in with
He literally flashed onto them, and he got Corki, but there was no follow-up damage, and then Yun just cleansed. So what the fuck is Inspire supposed to do with this flash down?
Gold lead in the game right now is actually in the support role for Core JJ on this Senna. 2 support items fully completed with the Moonstone, with the Echoes of Helia. We've seen how big of a problem this champion can be if he's allowed to just be an undeterred healing battery in these fights. And Team Liquid's War Machine is not slowing it down. 5th turret claim now as the tier 2 in mid crumbles.
And you know what the healing battery loves is a great front line to heal. There's a huge
Amumu shred for Azir?
in this game.
Yeah, sure, but you have to stay alive. You have to be alive.
I honestly don't think
Again, this is why I think the Azir should go arm guard and go in first. If you're going to do this Amumu build, you should go in first. As Azir, IMO.
Inspired's a man on a mission. He might try to go in and steal it away. Impact's going to try to keep him out of the pit. The Baron is secured, but now is Impact the sacrificial lamb. He wants to try to get away, but he cannot find that exit route. Whippo trying to cut off the rest of TL from being able to escape, but he can't get there in time. Instead, Umpty's ready to try to turn it, but it's still a 4v5. A nice
All right, finally they get a good engage down.
Team Liquid may have got the Baron, but everybody's dying as the price.
Yeah, they only get 2 Baron buffs out there as Quad done a great shuffle. TL, the initial play looked like it was going to go so well. Impact kept the enemy jungler out. You think, hey, if they can escape with 4, this is fantastic. But FlyQuest had a good TP from Renekton, had great follow-up from the team, and are able to punish heavily.
All about Whippo and that teleport.
This game should not be close, by the way. TL should just steamroll this from the oopsies that
right here, that ward allows him to get in.
FlyQuest had in the early game.
Gauge, because they chunk Whippo as they're trying to run away, but then the Sterix Gauge shield pop, and they're like, oh, we were actually not close to finishing off this Renekton anyway. And Yan, you know, does get locked up. They try and go peel for him, but they end up losing so much more because Quad can go in, shuffles him back into the Amumu ultimate for the extra collection here.
Run.
We're split, guys. Copy. It's okay.
All right, so let's take stock of where everything's at. The Baron power play is currently negative because of the deaths that they suffered immediately after securing the buff. They still do have it on 2 players, though.
I think it's
We'll
all
see
point
what
that's
Team
probably
Liquid
worth.
can accomplish over the course of the next 90 seconds with this buff. The only turret standing outside of the FlyQuest base is the tier 2 in top.
Yeah, it's going to be Dragon number 3 here for them, since you're seeing the commitment here. Oh, actually, mid lane could fish around for something, since Quad does have teleport on the Azir. You know, FlyQuest would love to just have him finish off that top tower. Maybe they make the call, just get the guaranteed gold. It's only Dragon number 3. It's not Dragon Soul yet, and it is a Cloud Drake.
And we talked about how Team Liquid does with the APA. Honestly, FlyQuest has been doing this a lot with Quad, especially in the more recent weeks where they've been putting him in the side lane, trying to get as much gold in his pockets as possible. We had heard from FlyQuest members that, you know, Quad is so good, but he's not greedy enough. He needed to ask for more. He needed to take more of the resources.
Truly, Quad is American Chovy at home.
The turret is already done for. Team Liquid, despite the fact that that power play is still negative, have found great value out of the Baron. Breaching the gates here in the bottom lane. The tier 3 turret destroyed. But now the Sun Disk is summoned up in its place. FlyQuest just trying to last these next 20 seconds until the Baron buff expires. But it's a double Baron Enchanted Cannon wave as Impact is ready to push mid lane up at the same time. The remainder of Team Liquid going to keep the pressure on the inhibitor down here in bottom side. Already got it down to half HP, but FlyQuest is looking for an opportunity to punish. Masu very low now. That opportunity for a punish ain't gonna look so great now as Impact has to try to get away. Quad ready to engage here with Whippo as they chase after the Cassante. They'll force the flash, but Impact survives and FlyQuest lose bottom inhibitor.
Notice how the carries of TL operate, because Yon knew that he's the target. He had no flash, he had no cleanse. So it was APA and Core JJ stepping up. They were the ones creating space with their range up onto the tower, up onto the inhibitor, while Yon was just staying out of range, barely there.
27 minutes, guys. FlyQuest finally got tier 1 mid turret.
Woo! They were unable to have that as a target, and TL get what they came for.
Yeah, they play it well. Quad off the back of that did get the mid lane tier 1, and you notice Whippo backed up, so it was full solo gold for Quad again. Now he has 3 items, and he has another 800 gold in pocket, so he is keeping pace with where these TL carries are, and he's only 300 gold down. Yeah, Core has a massive amount of gold over Busio, and that's going to be problematic because it just makes it so much more difficult to punch through those other carries as he's going to have so much healing and shielding. But
Signature fly move.
is strong.
Not getting mid tier 1
They're
until
all gonna
27
have
minutes into the game.
Here you can see the Mortal Reminder is now done for Masu as well to cut some of that Senna healing, cut some of the Maokai healing. So they have their opportunities. They're just going to have to make sure that their engages are picture perfect. And Busio, anytime he goes in, it's going to be a one-way trip. You know, when you're on one item this late in the game, you are paper, Warmogs are not.
Hey, there's a ruby crystal in there. That's more than one. All right.
He's got something in the pocket of his Warmogs.
What percentage of an item is a ruby crystal for you?
Like, I don't know, 10.
Okay.
That's generous.
That's nice. I like that.
Not that great, but it's something. It fills up an inventory slot.
That's true.
It's not an empty square.
It's trying its best.
We will see.
It's a rock.
If he survives with 150 HP, then there you go.
Ruby diff.
All right, we'll see if the ruby crystal ends up being the make or break here for FlyQuest, because right now they have to dig in, they have to continue to defend. Team Liquid owns Summoner's Rift, and Baron is going to respawn in about 60 seconds. Dragon a minute after that, and it will be Soul if Team Liquid claims it. That'll be very, very difficult for FlyQuest to deal with. Remember, this isn't just movement speed on ulti, as everybody wants to chalk it up to be. It's permanent, constant move speed, and you're against 3 marksmen who want to kite you.
So my main question then, since Baron is coming up very shortly, is going to be how do FlyQuest actually get their vision to have a good team fight? Because when we talk about frontline diff, the biggest thing you think of is you know, team fights. FlyQuest, they've got no pre-existing vision, so they're going to have to go a little bit risky with it.
They could potentially wrap on Impact here, but we don't know exactly.
No, they just need to stall, push out mid, and stall, send 2 people to Drake, and then watch
Empty
Baron.
Is here to cover now. If Empty walks in too far, he could be in trouble.
Gonna drop the control ward in the barrage.
Up, are we throwing right before Baron starts? Yep, we are. Oh, cool. Very cool.
Exactly where they are. They're playing in fog.
Good play by FlyQuest, though. Honestly, the TPs from FlyQuest have been pretty legit this game. Now, why are we doing this when we have no information about where, like, we literally just see Whippo, and we can actually just control Baron here, push out mid, and then just get Soul? Why are we pushing up when our bot lane isn't quite here yet, and they have TPs up? Who can know? Who can know? Who can know why we do these things?
Teleported in.
It's actually one of the worst games by Team Liquid I've seen. They were gifted this game with some boneheaded plays by Bwipo early, and then they just threw it.
So freaking smart from FlyQuest. There were no other angles. Now it's going to have to be TL 4 versus 5 defense.
Baron's already below half.
They also don't have Maokai ult now, so how do they engage? They just have to give it up. What awful play by Team Liquid. I hope Spawn got out the Giga Whip.
Right there. That was amazing from FlyQuest. We mentioned
that was literally the only thing FlyQuest could do, and TL gave it to them.
They know that Team Liquid are going to have access to the super scuttle crab bloom basically around Baron.
This is so dumb. I can't believe how dumb this is, guys. Look. Okay? Look at this. No inhibitor, wave pushing in. 1 minute, 10 seconds till Soul. Okay? What is this, 10 seconds until Dragon? Or Baron, rather? Okay, do you see anybody? Who's the only person you see? That's right, it's Azir with TP up. Where could they be? Is our bot lane in position to deal with this if they come? No, but we have TP too. But, guys, here's pop quiz. Should we, crazy idea, should we back off topside, come mid with our pushed wave in the mid lane and our pushed super minion wave and bot, keep 1 or 2 people here. Just all you need is Kalista, by the way. Kalista can solo the soul. Solo the soul. You already have deep wards in. You already have deep wards in. You have ward here. Other people just keep pressure on mid and prevent them from engaging, and you just Maokai ult them if they do Baron. Or, and Kalista solos Drake. Soul. Or should we all in when we don't know where they are?
Too far, he could be in trouble.
Gonna drop the control ward in the brush.
Actually insane.
Jumped on all of FlyQuest, committing for the kill on impact. APA teleported in, but now FlyQuest moving as a 5-man unit. Gonna make a play for the Baron. It'll be up to Team Liquid to try to answer.
And that is so freaking smart from FlyQuest.
I'd be so tilted if I was the coaching staff of Team Liquid. This game was free at like 10 points in time for them.
Below half HP. Umpty is not in the pit just yet. FlyQuest are trying to burn it down. Inspired should be able to smite this, no problem. Baron for FlyQuest, gold lead. Baron's already below half.
The other thing they can do now is that after, I mean, it's just so infuriating because if they hadn't used TP, they could actually continue to pressure bot side and then threaten the TP, right?
And that is so freaking
oh my god, it's so bad.
No other angles. Now it's going to have to be TL 4 versus 5 defense.
Baron's already below half HP. Umpty is not in the pit just yet. FlyQuest are trying to...
That was amazing. They all go through lane, huddling on the top side of the map.
Surely they still get soul though, right?
Don't have covered, and they
APA's pushing top side. Surely with bot super minion push, they get soul. But Corky's top with no TP, so I guess they don't.
Comeback play for FlyQuest. I am looking forward to seeing what they do now with the buff.
And now the question is, does TL challenge at this dragon? Because Soul is on the table for them. It's spawning in 5 seconds, but it's difficult when your opponents have that
supers.
APA is top lane, it has no TP, so I think the answer is very clearly no.
Impact TP to supers?
Continue to play for more gold for their Soul laners and wait for that better opportunity.
All right, no Soul just yet. FlyQuest controlling at APA, trying to finish off this last remaining tier 2 turret. Still standing on the FlyQuest side. With Impact coming up to reinforce him, it should be pretty easy to get that done. Busio and Bwipo are both here, but they're not here in time to stop that from happening. Not that big of a deal at this point in the game. 31 minutes in, still only 1,000 gold separating the teams. It has been a...
Why would I want them to fight a drag? I don't want them to fight a drag.
And it's going to come down to late game execution here. You can see the Baron buff only positive 200 because those tier 2 towers are worth so much gold. TL went topside. You can see now that they're also doing this work, reclaiming all of the vision in this
I'm
area.
crying because this is the situation that they put themselves in because of that really stupid top lane play.
You can see now that they're also doing this.
Bwipo also, dude, each team finding the only ways they can lose. They're finding the only ways they can lose. Bwipo is pushing out. He knows their top side.
That's the twisted advance on Bwipo. FlyQuest made their last play with a 5v1 on the
Where else would they be?
And now Team Liquid's doing the same thing. 5v4 for TL, but that true shot barrage just ripped into the health bars, forced them back a little bit as the wave is clear.
They stole their whole flow, bar for bar, word for word.
When in doubt, go.
Is Azael the whitest man of all time? You decide.
Forced them back a little bit as the wave is clear.
They stole their whole flow, bar for bar, word for word.
When in doubt, go.
It worked.
When in doubt, go kill enemy top lane.
He's like, hey, that whole killing top laner thing looked pretty good.
Give it a spin, boys. Team Liquid feeling pretty good about that one. It also slams the brakes for anything FlyQuest would have wanted to do with that Baron.
Hybrid
You
Waiter.
can see up in the top left, 35 seconds left on that Baron timer. Half of that is going to be wasted on Bwipo's respawn.
I will say, because FlyQuest did it first, they got a bigger reward. You know, they got Baron out of it.
You're the original.
Exactly.
Bunch of copycats over there on team.
Oh, Core JJ nearly killed there. Masu does so much damage so quickly. Luckily, Yon is nearby.
Do you think TL would be better if they had Afro Moon? As opposed to Core JJ?
And
No.
the Kalista ultimate here. Thankfully for Team Liquid.
What is MonteCristo eating? A tuna
there's
salad
no
sandwich.
huge objective immediately, so they have some time to regain that cooldown. At least the Kalista ultimate will be no problem for them, and it should just be pretty safe.
Afro, you know who Afro would fucking
clearing
help?
waves
100
as
Thieves.
the
Bring
plans
back 100
will
Thieves,
avoid the
Afro.
extra vision this time, so they don't get trapped or caught.
Both mid
Surely
laners
he's
have
better than
big
Ayla.
ticket items now, IE done for the Corki, Death Cap done for the Azir. Knight's Vow is done for Inspired. Who is he actually the Knight to, though? Who did he
No, Zale's a good
look
caster,
at? It
guys.
looks like it's
That
probably
was
Azir,
just
'cause I don't
he was
see
just
on
supremely
the
white
Azir.
in that
That's
moment.
gonna be Azir.
Inspired is the knight, and Quad is his lady. He must protect Quad.
King Quad.
Yes, Quad with all of this AP, with the Void Staff, with the hat. You were already
Ayla
talking about
popped
big
out
ticket
off
items.
today. Though.
This
Oh well,
guy
shut it
finds
down,
that
guys. Ayla popped off one day.
Not even a shuffle, just a couple of
That
auto
forgives
attacks.
him for all of his
Huge
constant
auto attacks
inting
from
for years.
100 units away.
The massive Azir spears. Just gonna turn these guys into Swiss cheese, man.
I mean, it is an interesting story with Quad and
Give him
Mazu
$1 million
being so
contract.
reliable carries for this team now that you were talking about earlier. It is definitely deserved.
New era.
They have really proven themselves to this FlyQuest team. So yeah, take your vow, kneel and protect them.
In spring, it was really all about FlyQuest topside. That's what everyone talked about. It's about the Inspired Bwipo duo. Now, it's much more about enabling Masu, enabling Quad, getting these guys in the right position to succeed because they can dominate in a 5v5. Might have one now.
Busio with the engage, the dredge line onto Umpty. There won't be a whole lot of follow-up here just yet. Bwipo's coming around from the side, already has the Dominus. So the Fury is
Way early.
building, but the fight has fizzled.
And now Renekton going to be without ultimate. They didn't actually see him pop it, I don't think, so may not have that info, so might not really be relevant, but now has been spotted by that blue trinket.
I feel like you should be able to suss out that he used it
So much Fury.
just by seeing him
Yeah.
at 100 Fury. It's like, you know that he wasn't standing there hitting.
That's why the blue trinket, I think, matters there, because it kind of tips you off.
All right, Team Liquid maintaining control over the mid lane here yet again. We are 60 seconds away from both another.
How good is
Baron
Quad?
as
Quad's been
well as
pretty
another
good, guys. He's been
potential
getting better the
Dragon
whole
Soul
season, I
on
would
the
say.
map. This time, they're not staggered.
His
They're gonna
synergy
be
with
spawning
with
almost
Busio, I think, has been quite
You can
good.
see with that replay, the observer showed us they didn't actually see him on the way out until that blue trinket right there, so that obviously gave them
Quad's
the
good.
info.
He's a
Luckily
keeper.
For Bwipo, with
He's a
this
keeper.
build, your ultimate cooldown is 57 seconds.
Not bad.
So we'll have that back up now.
Okay.
Who's better, Quad or Quid? Quad.
Nothing to worry about.
Well, Dragon is something for these teams to worry about, though. Dragon and Baron, the spawn timers are very synced up this time around. Only a couple seconds separating the two. FlyQuest has done a good job of actually moving in and taking over a lot of vision on this bot side. TL has been pretty much choked out. Most of their vision is placed around the Baron on that top side.
Oh, Umpty's very far forward, and FlyQuest is going to go in after him. The Dawning Shadow ain't going to keep him alive as Inspired has to try to get away, and the Sun Disc is summoned up. So
They should not
TF
engage
push
here.
further
Fly
forward.
loses this.
Busio is overextended
Yep.
far forward,
You
and FlyQuest
like
is gonna
you
go
you
in
killed
after him. The
Umpty.
Vision on
So-
this bot side. TL has been pretty much choked
You
out.
kill
Most of
Umpty
their
because
vision
Umpty's
is
in a bad
placed around the
position,
Baron.
and you're able to land the hook onto him right, and Umpty has no flash up. I don't know why he's walking up there when he still has like 10 seconds left on his flash
On the top
cooldown.
side.
Oh, Umpty's very far forward, and
But the thing about it is that
FlyQuest is gonna go in
you
after
use
him. The
so
Dawning
much
Shadow
there
ain't
to
gonna
get
keep
him.
him alive as Inspired has to try to get away, and the
And Inspired had to flash for that, so he can't flash reposition for ult.
Oh, Umpty's very far forward, and FlyQuest is going to go in after him. The Dawning Shadow.
He flashes at, oh, he could have flashed reposition, but he was too low because he's getting focused because he has no tank items. I think Inspired's build this game is garbage. If he could flash reposition right there for ult, it would be different, but he has to flash out. But I think Inspired needs to die there. One thing I've noticed with Inspired this year is like he doesn't die for the team, man. Like on Karthus, he was like flashing out of fights.
Placed around the Baron
So-
on the top side.
Oh, Umpty's very far forward and fly.
You just have to flash right here. You can get Yun, Core JJ, and APA if you flash ult.
FlyQuest is going to go in after him. The dawning shadow ain't going to keep him alive.
You have to flash in, I think. They still have a 0 ult, so he could have slid in. They also still had not ult.
Up, so TL cannot push further forward. Busio is overextended and APA is grabbing the kill. 1 for 1 thus far. Quad and Masu still looking for a little bit more, but they got to be careful. There's so much damage on both sides. One misstep and you're dead. Masu.
Watch Inspired, watch Inspired.
Half HP like they're Inspired. Looking for the angle, but not finding anything just yet.
That was Pixels from bringing an Amumu ultimate right there.
Yep.
That was so close. The plane just barely goes up towards the Baron, and now they're actually going to trade it. They're going to try and put pressure on Baron. It technically is a Callista.
It's so slow, though. By the time they get there, they're going to spot it with the Ezreal. Oh, this could be problems here for TL. We'll see if FlyQuest can actually respond.
Whippo just flashed to try to catch APA, but it didn't work. Now Team Liquid still going after the Baron, has it secured. They're ready to try to escape using the power of that mist from the Senna to make it so FlyQuest can't catch up to anybody. Team Liquid trades away the Dragon for the Baron.
Yep, now it's soul point for both teams here. Both teams sitting on 3 dragons. TL obviously with the run of the map right now for 3 minutes, having that Baron buff. We have to see how much damage they can get done. Because if it goes to that next dragon fight, it's really anybody's game. And APA did have to use the QSS there, so has that available now. You can see Seekers picked up by Quad. It's really tit for tat. Both these carries are buying the same kind of items at the same time. And it's going to be so explosive. We're seeing how fast these fights go. You know, even with that first kill for Fly, Inspired instantly had to flash out because he is paper at this point.
And even the objective trading with that small amount of information was really smart to see from TL. They only sent Impact and Yawn, but it's a Blade of the Ruined King plus your Rage Blade Callista. So even with just the 2 members and the other ones trying to give away false information, they're able to burn it down so quickly. The extra couple seconds there allowing them to finish it out.
And you can see it's also a Jack show now for Yan. So he's actually building a little bit tanky, likely going to be a BT last item. This is actually pretty popular on the Callista because you have to get so close to your opponents and you're really heavily outranged by both the Azir and the Ezreal. It can be tough, so you can't be too squishy.
Remember, Whippo, no flash, but an engage comes out from Inspired. He's too far forward yet again.
Whippo's going to get wrecked internationally. Yeah, of course he is. He plays fucking roulette Renekton, dude.
Team Liquid now with a 5v4. Still with
The thing is, once you fail as roulette Renekton, good teams don't let you back in the game like Team Liquid did here.
So tough for FlyQuest. They need to depend on Quad. His wave clear is so critical at this point. This is here monstrously strong. But look at mid lane. Bot lane is already open. Mid lane is about to fall down as well.
Impact catches Whippo, brings him back over the wall, and there is no escape. Sundisk summoned up on the ruins of the freshly destroyed Tier 3 turret here in the mid lane. As FlyQuest still has all 3 inhibitors intact for now, but Team Liquid is looking to change that and change it fast. Mid lane inhib should be the first to drop. Bottom lane inhib will fall to APA right after now. But Sundisk.
This should have been a really easy win for Team Liquid. It is really shocking that this was this close.
Still has all 3 inhibitors intact for now.
It's like they didn't know what to do once they got an early game lead.
And change it fast. Mid lane inhib should be the first to drop. Bottom lane inhib will fall to APA right after. Top lane inhib. Next in line is Impact and Core JJ. Put the finishing touches on that one. Inspired will respawn in about 2 seconds, but it's still half a minute until Whippo is back on the Rift. Just about the same timer as the Baron buff here for Team Liquid. First Nexus turret nearly dead already. Inspired looking to follow up with Busio. They want to find the engage, but it ain't going to work out. Inspired is already dead and APA's on a rampage. Impact leading the charge. The Nexus turrets about to fall. Try as they might, FlyQuest cannot withstand Team Liquid, and it's a TL dub to start the series.
What a first game we have.
Yeah, it certainly was something.
Don't think that the problems came from draft. They came from execution, which so it's looking.
So how long is this Eagle?
Okay, back with Corky first pick. We're doing it, guys.
Try to make
Is this the same game? Is this literally the same game?
I think Whippo
engage option, but it's going to be
It's the
moved
same
up
game.
from 4 pick to 3 pick.
It says game 2, so I've been told this is a different game. But it looks like the same game. Oh, no, now the bans are different. Okay.
Have been targeted from quad, and now he has to go with something different.
Yeah.
You got a great control
Wait, really?
player that's not able to play his picks. Now we get to see it on the stage. I'm excited for it.
Team fight circles, they're going to be going for.
A lot of circles.
Into the big ASO ultimate.
First, like 5 minutes of the game.
TL.
I hope
For me,
Inspired
on the
flash
table,
ults at some point during this game.
TL picking that up, and then Core will lock in. I would say a signature pick for him in the Rakan.
Times with Rakan, you'd want a buddy.
I'm surprised we're not seeing more Rel from Core JJ, considering how prioritized it is in another region, how good it's his probably best pick ever.
And Corki, you're kind of just throwing out your ulti and playing at a distance. So it's going to be interesting to see how Core JJ plays it out. Maybe trying to peel.
Ezreal Renata, is that a real lane?
There's a lot of different ways, but that's going to be a last pick coming in.
Sahan, thank you for the gift subs. That's very generous of
I
you.
like this pick from Busio.
Thank you very much.
They want to win lanes even harder, and then maybe translate.
I see you are celebrating September, unlike the rest of the freeloaders on this channel.
Head to the casters for game 2.
All right, let's do it. It is time for a draft that was looking way too similar at the start, but we got some shakeups.
Why didn't Papa Smoothie get Someday instead of Bwipo? I think that pick is more about team fights than in lane. Yeah, I mean, maybe they lane swap off of it, but
Wham bam, right there it is. There it is.
seems tough.
Quad only has 1 career game on the Aurelion Soul, and it was a loss. So if he's able to beat APA,
Big love from Turkey. Nice. I've always wanted to go to Turkey, dude. Istanbul, definitely on my list of places to visit.
Matchup last time? I wonder if it was against APA.
Need to see me some Hagia
I
Sophia.
think this was their first series of the split.
Yeah,
I seem to remember him bringing out
And
the
eat
full
Turkish
scaling
food.
Comps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so throwback to it. Team Liquid, 456 wins, passing TSM now for second all time is pretty crazy.
Also, you're triggering my memory because I remember now, Inspired also doing the interview afterwards. He was like, that was not Quad's fault. Everyone blamed Quad for that game because APA was able to get so far ahead, but Inspired actually blamed the rest of the team.
All right, well, while we're waiting on minions to spawn, Emily standing by for an interview with Nuke Duck.
Thank you, Flowers. I'm here with FlyQuest coach Nuke Duck. Is it safe to say that you identify
Oh, another Nuke Duck interview. These always go so well.
as one of the main problems in the Game 1 draft?
I don't think it was
Identified Senna as one of the main problems in the Game 1 draft.
I don't think Senna was an issue. They just played like shit.
I guess it was a problem. I think it's not good, but we didn't play against it properly, so we have to ban it.
It wasn't good.
And then going into this game, what is the #1 thing you'd like to see from your team in terms of execution?
I'd like to see them execute Team Liquid.
I hope they're a bit more comfortable. I think we were a bit nervous on stage. We were like engaging a bit too quickly. We were like kind of just wanted to get it over with. So we threw like completely winning positions, like just engaging too far. And so I hope we don't do that this time around.
What did you tell them kind of in between games to try to mitigate that?
Yeah, I told them just that, you know, that's a habit they have when they get stressed, and that they should be really mindful about that, and that the game would have been, it was a very easy game for us to win if we just like focus and relax a bit more in team fights. So yeah.
I agree. We saw some patient play from you last week against T9. All the best in this game. Thanks for taking the time to catch up with me. We'll toss it back to casters.
I actually really liked that that interview from Nuke Duck, and he mentioned kind
You
of what we were
did? You
talking
really
about
liked
with
it?
Amumu, like even just a half a second or a second ahead of time on some of these engages versus TL got punished so quickly.
How about we
That's
just
definitely one of the
don't
best
build
interviews we've seen from
Leandries?
him. And we got to touch in on the last time TL actually lost. We saw this.
Or
before.
we have our
Before
Azir
Master
build
Careful is 170
arm guard.
days now. The last time they lost an LCS series was to FlyQuest in the upper bracket back in spring. Got to tap the sign every time another day passes. And FlyQuest looking to reset the number to 0 here today. We're very competitive in game number 1. And it gave me a lot of hope, a lot of excitement for what we could see in the rest of the series.
Especially because we have some really fun combos on the side of FlyQuest. You have the Aurelion Soul Ultimate, you know, charging up to the Giga Star to be able to combine with the Mumu. And then you also have more counter engage options. Last time they were all forward, but Renata does a pretty good job of really counter-engaging and creating some more space for your team. So maybe to NukeDuck's point,
I think this is the first time I've seen the Ezreal Renata lane.
And actually get the perfect setups on some of these. Because I feel like you kind of have to versus TL.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of ways to interrupt Yon's ulti. I would not want to be playing MF in this game. Obviously, you know, Renekton can be running at you, but Aesol ult can interrupt you, Renata ult can interrupt you, you know, Mumu ult can interrupt you, Bandage Toss can interrupt you. There's so many ways, even from range, to actually stop you. So the chances of him being able to stand and full channel an ulti are, I think, pretty low.
Going in after Bwipo here. Flash for the twisted advance. Bramble
Right into
smash to
Q3.
knock him back. There's not a whole lot of damage between the Maokai and the Cassante, though, so Bwipo
Yeah, I
lives
got
through it.
Flash.
But honestly, him living here is not really a problem because he's already used his TP. So if they can just push this
Yeah.
in and Impact
Using
can get a
TP and
reset,
using Flash
Bwipo
is
could
pretty
be in
huge.
trouble. He could lose a lot of experience.
Because
a lot
he
of minions
proxied
off that.
earlier
That's
and
why
then
I think he
TP'd
went
back
so
into lane and
aggressive
then
because
lost
he was
trades.
post-TP.
Oh, nice use of the Pathmaker there to knock Bwipo back into the
What are we
waiting arms
doing?
of Umpty, who was still in the brush,
Impact
but
has no mana.
Bwipo stays alive. Inspire trying to chase after Impact. The roam from Quad.
Oh,
And
it was
Umpty
the
there to knock
cheeky
Bwipo
it was the
back into
cheeky
waiting
Aurelion
arms of
Soul
Umpty, who was still in
roam.
the brush, but Bwipo stays alive. Inspire trying to chase after Impact. The roam from Quad. And
It's actually
Umpty
huge.
burns its first blood for FlyQuest. Ooh. But Bwipo stays.
A lot of minions off that, and that's why I think
Renekton
he went
leveled
so
up. Oh,
aggressive
that's a
because he
good
was
that's a good
post-TP.
point.
Oh, nice use of the Pathmaker there to knock Bwipo back into the waiting
Oh
arms of
my
Umpty, who was
god,
still
he
in the
would have
brush, but
died otherwise.
Bwipo
Ah,
stays
that's so
alive.
tilting.
Inspire trying to chase after Impact. The roam from Quad. And Umpty burns its first blood for FlyQuest.
Ooh, Quad Aurelion Soul makes the move, the extra mobility up to the top play, and Inspired have been trailing, waiting in the fog of war during
Tier
that
Corki
whole
does a lot of
lead-up
damage to towers,
for the
guys.
Play. They actually get the first blood. This greatly accelerates the game plan for FlyQuest. So much of it revolves around these big Aurelion Soul ultimates later into the game. Now with first blood, that is going to be huge. So the timing there, just before the recall goes off, they show.
Because
and
Impact
they
went
go
for that
up and
last
it didn't
auto.
get canceled. But that actually just turns into the first blood.
And Bwipo got a level up there. I think that actually saved him. I think he would have died if he didn't level up right on that minion. So was incredibly close. I did like the aggressive move because Bwipo had TP'd back so early with the cull. Like if you force someone to base right after TP like that, you can get sometimes a full level advantage if you can reset the wave. But Quad, great roam, really heavily punishes it.
And I know people's first instincts, when a play like that happens to you, you look at your Corki mid lane and you're like, yo, what are you doing? Enemy mid laner's roaming on us. Do something. But like, there's no other better option for Corki, for APA. For him, he's like, all right, this Aurelion Soul is roaming. I can't move as fast. I'm not going to get there and change it. So you guys need to not die while I go for turret push towards mid lane and try and get a plate.
Renata's coming up here to try to back him up. They were worried about a potential dive. Inspired, you can see, is down on bot side over by that dragon. So they actually sent Busio out of base up towards top to cover a potential dive. You could tell that Bwipo was pretty nervous about it because he was so far back. He has no TP and no flash. They're really trying to cover and enable Bwipo to have a better game this time around. He had a pretty rough one last time on the Renekton.
Exactly. The first 3 kills for Team Liquid in game number 1 were all on Bwipo's Renekton. And with a champion like that, so much of it is not falling behind the pace of the game because you want to be that big threat. You want to be that powerful bruiser that dives in and actually has some sort of kill potential. Mountain Drake claimed here by Inspired, going to be traded with no fight from either side for the Grubs going over to TL the other way. As Bwipo pops Dominus, Impact's ready to go all out and try to drag him
So
back.
Bwipo knows
with no fight
that they
from either
just
side
took
for the Grubs
that
going
they
over to
just took
TL the
Grubs,
other way.
and he's
As
like,
Bwipo pops
it's
Dominus,
all in time,
Impact's ready to
baby.
go all out and try to drag him back closer to Umpty. There is no flash available on Bwipo any longer, and now that Impact has his ulti, he should have enough damage to make this work. Meanwhile, back over in mid lane, CoreJJ is going to be the focus, and Quad's looking to grab yet another kill. APA tries to escape while Bwipo wastes a lot of time. His ulti.
Why are we dying there when we're showing our jungle on the top side? Why are both teams around the objectives at the other team? There's a global message about Drake and Grubs being taken. Why are we trying to fight man down where the enemy jungler is? Both teams.
On that mid lane, but seriously, for Bwipo to die there, you know that they're going to be up there. They're doing Grubs. It is a trade. They put a lot of emphasis into protecting him up on the top side. Quad roamed up. Inspired came multiple times. Busio walked up. And then you die to a very obvious gank right after the Grubs. That is not what you want to see.
Same thing with Core. Why is he dying?
Especially while your team is communicating about their play in mid lane that they're pulling off simultaneously. The kill, of course, did actually go into the hands there of the Renata of Busio. So not the worst of worlds for TL, but let's take another look at the setup and them going for it.
Yeah, and this is just
He literally died for a
getting
ward.
caught out a little bit. We didn't see the start of it. Really nice grab, and then the ulti. It all comes down in onto APA. Core goes in to try to bail him out. Gets hit by the ulti from the Amumu, and is able to be finished off with that flash there.
Yeah, with those two ultimates,
Flash, excuse me.
you can actually miss a lot of other stuff. As long as you have an Aurelion ult and a Mumu ult, don't really need the extra ones, and so they were barely able to finish off that kill.
And hey, you say you don't want the kill on Busio, you'd prefer it on a carry. Look at that inventory right now. Ruby Crystal.
Boom.
He's
10%
off,
of an item.
He's
Boom.
off to the races. He's ready to go as FlyQuest is up just a couple hundred gold, and Bwipo is once again looking to proxy farm.
I know what I'm getting flowers for his birthday.
A red
Ruby
box.
Crystal?
He loves Ruby Crystals.
They're great.
Let me tell ya.
They build into so many fantastic items. As Umpty working together.
Do you know why they're doing this, guys? These little arrows? Because they keep changing the fucking days of the week that LCS and LEC are on. Why is it Friday, Saturday? Why? Why is it Friday, Saturday instead of Saturday, Sunday? Usually the LCS finals are on Sundays.
Making sure that he's got complete control over that area. Impact
Why do they keep changing the dates?
Now, but probably not a whole lot to be done.
Yeah, not really it's not really worthwhile chasing either. That's kind of the annoying thing with proxying is it's like you kind of waste your time if you go after them. So he's kind of just avoiding the matchup basically. And if you think
NFL season starts next week, that doesn't stop them. That doesn't stop them, guys. They love having games on the Super Bowl. They love it.
Umpty has been actually spending a lot of time up there this series, which is interesting to me. You know, we've seen some shifts.
Is it a Valorant thing again? No, Valorant's done for the year.
Well, you know, top lane in the regular season was obviously such a priority. He was playing much more around mid in playoffs. But this series so far, it feels like he's been back again, prioritizing playing around Impact, as it has been these standard lanes. It has been Impact and Bwipo 1v1, and that's been an area they really wanted to attack.
Yeah, definitely is always fun examining the jungle proximities for each of these teams. And
When
how
will
they
you cast
change
Deadlock?
as
Never.
the game plan changes and the decisions here with lane swaps heavily
I'm donezo
affect
casting,
those
guys.
proximities
I'm
early in
donezo.
the game too. For
I'm
one,
washed.
I'm kind of happy that we have had another standard setup here.
Eye for two and happy as well.
All right,
Look,
we got 2 for 2.
It says in my Twitch tags, I'm washed.
Honestly,
all right?
now it's
I'm washed.
cool because to me,
No,
it
the reason why it's not worth it for me to try casting Deadlock, guys, is that remind me who's gonna run Deadlock. Who do you think is gonna run Deadlock? The tournament circuit. If you had to guess. No, Valve ain't gonna run it. ESL. Okay? ESL. Do you think ESL likes MonteCristo right now? Do you think Monty has said some bad things, some naughty things about Saudi Arabia? So, how do I get hired? How do I get hired, guys? Because I'll tell you what, I'm not fucking going to Riyadh. I'm not going to Riyadh ever in my life. So, no.
Stuff like we see in mid lane, where you get to see roaming mid lane champs like an Aurelion Sol with this big mobility.
And I'm also not going to live my life. But the trade that I would have to make is maybe cast Deadlock, maybe, if I was even good at it. And then if I can maybe cast it, I get hired by ESL, and then I can never talk about Saudi Arabia sports washing again. And what do I get? What do I get for that? Oh, is it gonna be like the CS schedule where I just have to fly around the world constantly and not be around my family? Nah, I'm not making that trade, guys.
And have some meaningful, decisions to make around the map. We saw the First Blood move, but that First Blood has knock-ons effects of it's going to be an earlier Leandry's.
It's life-changing money. It is not life-changing money for me.
Completed his Leandry's. Aurelion Sol will be.
Yeah, I'm really psyched to be on the road. 250 days a year, like the CS casters.
Dragon game plan.
I wouldn't have a wife to come back to.
Initially goes.
That could have been a big catch. The second pot of grubs is just now spawning. If APA would have died there, that could have been an easy take for FlyQuest. And it looks like Inspire's just going to go ahead and start it up anyway. Amumu very good at clearing these out.
And it's the timer for your mid.
Renekton's going bot, though.
They want to make the play in bottom lane. Whippo looking for the angle here with the TP flank, but a nice interrupt coming out from Core JJ. The hostile takeover.
Tell you what I'll do, guys. Tell you what I'll do. We'll start an LFN deadlock show. We'll get good casters to have the deadlock show, and then I'll sell ads on the deadlock show. That's how I want to make money, guys.
And it's the timer for your mid.
Renekton's going bot, though.
They want to make the play in bottom lane. Whippo looking for the angle here with the TP flank, but a nice interrupt coming out from. Go ahead and start it up anyway. Amumu very good at clearing these out.
And it's the timer for your mid.
FlyQuest is literally making plays on both sides of the map at the same time. They're TPing bots, so Inspire has to leave and they can't get grubs. Yeah, why is Busio's ult so late there? Why is Busio's ult so late? They literally, FlyQuest literally just gave up grubs.
Stays alive for now, but he ain't gonna survive the dive. Busio gets away with 150 HP. Impact arrives, but it's way too late to get a whole lot done.
Yeah, you saw the Misfortune ult attempt here. Busio says, not on my watch. He goes immediately in under tower. Really good job from
Deadlock bangers only? No. I'm not doing analysis in other esports, guys. I'm too washed.
Lane, they actually might get chased off too as Inspired visits again with Quad, but they don't want to go too deep into enemy jungle. Yeah, a little bit of a bait attempt there maybe. If you let that connect, then Maokai ult comes out. But if you let it connect, you also run the risk of a Mumu follow-up and how much damage can they actually dump into it. So a bit of a risky bait, so doesn't want to actually let it connect. Still though,
or you could do a fake apology and get a fat paycheck for a year and dip out. Or instead of using all of my time to maybe cast a game that may or may not be big, I could build my own company, which is doing well, do things that I enjoy while I have zero debt. Because I sold my house and all my loans are paid off. So I'm just chilling in Korea with no expenses and no debt. So I'm gonna do my thing where I build a successful company that is already doing well and then do stuff that I enjoy and be around my family. That's what I'm gonna do, guys.
But they had to keep running, and they tried to clear the wave instead.
And I really like that they forced that as Masu. Got out here.
Don't forget playing Star Wars karaoke games. There are no Star Wars karaoke games. It's a Star Wars dancing game, and yes, I will play it.
Masu was not ready for the ultimate of Umpty to cut off his escape route. Jan's getting his first kill of the game there, shortening up that gold lead that FlyQuest has been building.
Yep, he's playing TP, has no cleanse, so no real way out of that one. But it was just a really interesting run of play because as soon as Whippo is TPing down a bot, you know you guaranteed are going to lose the grub's top. So you have to make that play happen. And a lot of credit deserved by Busio for that flash that you called out. To be able to flash in, stop the bullet time, keep the minion wave there, allow the dive to happen. And that forced a response from Impact, which was a little bit late. So they got that TP out of him as well. So FlyQuest doing well.
Does Maokai not need Leandries? Look,
darn close to dead even
a lot of Maokai players have been going Locket first.
But FlyQuest has 2 early dragons, and the gold is close.
There is a lot of AoE, so I can see some of the value here for Locket, right into a Mumu, Aurelion Soul. But it does slow down your clear speed, and obviously they don't have any AP damage, so it could hurt them in the late game.
To fund that bloodthirster for the Misfortune. 1 item power spikes coming in very, very quickly for most of the members. But here's another look at the escape. And they did such a good job, as you see Core JJ peeling Whippo and barely getting out of range there. Really nice peel. But then, you mentioned it really early on. How many Misfortune ults are ever going to get channeled?
What do I plan on doing after VODs? Going to the park with my kids.
The whole game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. There's just so many ways to interrupt it. Also, credit to Core on that TP. He peeled really, really well, right? So they're able to build that space to maybe turn around the play. Obviously, in retrospect, they maybe just had to evacuate and just fully run. But Jan obviously thought with the bullet time, hey, I clear the wave, we delay the play, then we really win out here.
Yeah, you could look at it again and say maybe if Core JJ stands in front of him when he channels, or they channel a little bit.
But then you get thrown into him with the handshake anyway.
Exactly.
So it's definitely tough, but you know, in the moment, I think they definitely made the right play, and FlyQuest just capitalized on it well from Busio.
Still a very close game after 14 minutes here. The Rift Herald spawns and is immediately jumped on by Umti. You can see Team Liquid also has Yon and Core JJ nearby to help with this. Make sure that FlyQuest...
Are you going to guess in hot take point made? Maybe.
But FlyQuest still look to contest. Herald is secured, is smitten.
Do these VOD reviews go up on YouTube afterwards? Yeah, they're just in the live tab. It's all my VOD reviews get archived on my YouTube channel. I'm streaming on YouTube right now. You just have to. It's not in the videos tab. It's in the live tab.
Left behind here.
Herald and Umti forever. Oh.
It's kind of messed up that he killed him then.
Well, yeah, and then took her eyeball and stuck it in his pocket.
Yeah,
Chat not realizing the more time invested into casting Deadlock is less time spent watching vampires. Exactly.
Don't examine too close.
Why are we doing analysis streams or esports streams when we could be doing cooking streams and Star Wars streams and vampire streams?
Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, she's Godspeed, Shelly.
Shelly will come back. I have faith. She'll come back to him.
Yeah.
You know, if love is really meant to be, then
Oh yeah, so
There you go.
if you love something,
Let it go.
Yeah, there it is.
Which they will do
Or-
as it brutally crashes into a tower later on in the game.
yeah, or kill it and then put it in your pocket for later.
That's the lesser.
What's the next Nerd Legion? Hawk. Well, actually, technically, the Warcraft one hasn't been released yet. So Warcraft, and then we're starting our 1980s Sword and Sorcery Hawk the Slayer.
During this,
We're gonna start the project of watching every Sword and Sorcery movie from the 1980s.
Jungle and an attempt on Impact's life.
Well,
Not a very.
yeah, I don't know how scary this really is because it's Whippo and Inspired. There's not a lot of damage there. Impact is summoning up some help as APA arrives first. Quad's going to arrive with a teleport of his own. The big ulti is ready here from the Dragon, but Inspired is already dead. FlyQuest wanted to make a move on Impact, but they just didn't arrive with a teleport.
Not a very.
Yeah, I don't know how scary this really is because it's Whippo and Inspired. There's not a lot of damage there.
We're back on the Leandries build,
Impact is
guys.
summoning up some help as APA arrives first. Quad's going to arrive with a teleport of his own. The big ulti is ready here from the Dragon. but
He's
Inspired
just
is already
popped
dead.
before he can actually get an
FlyQuest
ult
wanted
off.
to make a move on Impact,
All
but they
right,
just
guys.
didn't bring
I think this
enough
Amumu is
guns.
dog
One
shit.
more shot is all they need, but Impact with a rare miss on the third and Tofo strike. Let's see if
Last
Umti and Core JJ might be able to finish this off. Not quite yet. Whippo escapes. Inspired falls.
And meanwhile, I got to see on the minimap. Maybe we can get a replay. It looked like Yon went into the Raptor.
Yon.
pit and ultied over the wall to clear the wave, so he wouldn't actually get spotted and interrupted by Busio on that. So was able to clear that out.
Umti taking some shots from
I don't think-
Nasu as he and
do
Core
we really
JJ
want to go
try
in on that?
exit. Meanwhile, the Rift Herald clearing out that
I guess
bottom
they had
lane,
made
doing
enough space
some
in the
damage
jungle.
over the tier 2 at the same time.
Huge
Yon
swing
and
for
Umti
TL, though.
Just trying to get the wave shoved out back in mid lane now as well. Next Drake spawning in under 60 seconds.
I love just watching TL
TP.
after they make plays. The escape here as Umti flashes away.
Completely useless
That's
CP. I guess it
justified,
saved mid
question mark
turret,
frog there.
so they got that going for them. But they also,
I love
dude, does
just watching
FlyQuest
TL
know how to
after
play
they make
side lanes at
plays.
all? They literally
The
just
escape
watch
here
this
as Umti
this wave
flashes away.
die into turret
That's
right
a
now.
justified,
They
question
use
mark frog.
TP.
Fair frog.
Fair frog.
Fair frog.
Play on.
Yep.
And now we're pushing top side as well.
Ruling on the rift.
But was like, I can do something right now.
Yeah,
Run around in
play on.
circles and get shot by Corky.
As planned. Whippo losing a lot of HP there. Those rockets from APA.
Yeah. The frog enraged him, and then he wanted to continue chasing. It just happened.
Are the rules for the
like a
Teemo
bull,
yawn
you know?
different than the Pepega frog? Everyone is has its own qualifications. Here's a look at the original play, but what I really loved was actually what TL did after their play here. Really nice counter.
I mean, he literally just gets chain CC'd to death. Never has a chance to push R.
So TL had brought everybody to counter this attempt from FlyQuest.
Yeah.
But then they also got so much out of it, being able to get this tower and then the other one. Of
Oh,
course,
the fact they missed
slow-mo
this
on
Q3 is
side
so
step there
sad.
from Whippo has in fact invested flash for it, and Whippo actually got to leave.
Whoa,
But
happy spawn.
It's wait a second.
Umti, I don't think Umti's going to be very happy about that one. Twisted advance. They'll be at soul point on an infernal map, but Core and
Twisted
APA are moving
advance.
closer to stop him. Inspired drops the ulti, just trying to lock up Core JJ, who can't escape. Quad's on a killing spree, and Yon has to flash out. APA still firing back at him. are moving into
Masu has no TP.
Inspired drops the ulti. Drake has spawned. FlyQuest already has the first two. If they secure this one, they'll be at soul point on an Inferno.
Try and push them out because they have TP and there's an Ezreal. Wait, where did Masu TP to? What? He TP's top, but Cassante has TP. I guess because ETB's top because they killed Umti.
And then of course, the slow-mo on the sidestep there.
How did that happen?
Invested flash for it, and Bwipo actually got to leave.
Whoa, happy spawn.
It's
Where you clapping now, Spawn? You clapping now? You getting clapped, more like. How's Umti randomly dying?
Tries to stay alive, but it ain't gonna work. The execution from Quad secures the kill.
Master TP's top, but he has no way to stop TP, so it's actually still just a 4v4 now because Impact has TP.
They'll be at soul point on an infernal map, but Core and APA are moving into
Masu has no TP.
Inspired drops the ulti, just trying to lock up Core JJ, who can't escape. Quad's on a killing spree, and Yon has to flash out.
Can't believe Inspired lives through that.
As Inspired limps away from the fight, the dragon is still standing, but another dragon is ready to continue pushing the fight forward for FlyQuest. Quad very powerful in this Aurelion Soul, and FlyQuest will maintain control over the Drake. APA trying to get a cheeky
off the in the game. The right
We're going to win for sure because they had the TP from Impact, and Masu had just used the TP to go up toward top lane, but they get that early kill on the core. Inspired barely gets out, has the bailout. Look at that health on Inspired. That is maybe 50 health, maybe 30 health on the Amumu as he actually limps out. And then Yon just gets pushed out the other side. They're completely split, so they can't re-enter the fight. FlyQuest winning out big time on that one. Move to Soul Point in a really pivotal game here.
How did Umti die?
Aurelion Soul. Remember the first words typed in this game. APA said, remember the last time we played this matchup. Well, it is looking a bit different because I think from here on out, the Aurelion Soul is going to be like the biggest problem. We'll see the super charged up ultimates on top of Amumu ultimates, on top of Renata ultimates. It's just such a wide area of control.
You know what I think is also a really big problem is the fact that Mikhails is now done for Busio. Their only real engage on the TL side is Maokai ultimate. You throw that out there, one person blocks it, he gets Mikhails. Even if TL want to try to pile in behind that, you can just throw out the hostile takeover at the same time to disincentivize that. And it's going to become really, really difficult because you have this really slippery carry in Masu and you have so much peel and counter engage to cover Quad. It's tough. If you full send it on him, you get a Mumu ulti, you get hostile takeover, Renekton's in your backline.
It's got to be Core JJ on his recon with his flash.
What is this? What is this emote supposed to be? Is this a drunk crocodile emote for Bwipo? Is that what this is? Is this drunk Renekton? In honor of Bwipo's playoff run?
At the same time to disincentivize that. And it's going to become really, really difficult because you
are the players being paid for their likenesses? Excellent question. Well, let me just ask that. Let me just ask that right now.
Send it on him, you get a Mumu ulti to get hostile takeover. Renekton's in your backline.
It's got to be Core JJ on his recon with his flash, getting in there quick to lock somebody down before they have a chance.
Still no turrets claimed on the map by FlyQuest, however. They've got total control over the Drake situation, but only the single
I asked.
No turrets to their name. Rift Herald also went the way of Team Liquid earlier. 1,500 gold lead now for TL.
It's called Brain Off.
That outer turret in mid lane is all three tier 1s now removed from the FlyQuest side. As we've got about 2.5 minutes before that pivotal dragon fight is going to happen.
Asked who? Who do you think I asked, Ferret? Who do you think I would ask about player likenesses?
Thinking about this dragon problem. I'm trying to come up with ways for them to actually.
Which one? The soul or the quad?
The quad. Okay. I think the quad dragon problem. Yeah, the other one is going to lead in, so they're kind of connected problems.
Okay.
But if he charges
player image rights,
he charges up his ultimate. Like, how do you get back there? He's got fully charged tier, so as soon as he has money, you know, it's going to be a Seraph's combination.
LCSPA, good guess.
It's got so much range, and they're really going to have to create some creative stuff there with Core JJ and Umti combining. Maybe Impact is able to get a deep teleport ward. They're putting a lot of deep wards, and if Cassante comes out of the correct angle here, maybe he can completely change the setup for one of those fights. Impact definitely has had some really good angles thus far.
I will say, Jan is really rich. You know, quietly he's over 2,000 gold ahead of where Masu is. But again, that problem remains. You know, can he actually get a full bullet time? Can he even get a bullet time that reaches onto the backline and is hitting quad? That is really my question, because he has been the benefit of so much tower gold, so much play.
Inspired
gold.
has
He's
to flash
stealing away jungle
aggressively,
camps,
though.
and he's getting really, really strong. When you get to your third item,
They need to wombo Yun.
That a full channel bullet time is an absolutely absurd amount of
4,000 damage.
Exactly. It can kill you like 3 times over. So
I am LRD. I am Lord, maybe. Thank you for Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate that.
if they can get it, then that's kind of how you can win the game. But
they
it's
never
such
paid
a
you for
big if,
Silco.
because
I
feel
know.
like
It's
FlyQuest gotta
outrageous.
know this is the main tool we need to stop, and they're always going to save something to try to interrupt it.
And
The subs purchase contributes to the prize pool. Yeah, it does. It does. They're matching it for the prize pool. But that's different than paying a licensing fee to use the player likenesses.
Still inspired quickly. They don't have to worry about going to the back line
You are Lord? You mean Brandy Marsh?
to try and catch this dragon. I mean, the ultimate coming down is going to be a problem, but Inspired, again, is all magic resist here. So you mentioned Misfortune, ultimate shredding. If they can lock up Inspired, lock up the Amumu as Amumu is looking for the engage, they definitely have the AD to burn through him.
Yeah, literally no armor at all. Merc Treads, Abyssal, Leandry, that's the same core build that we saw in the previous game. The live thread and the post-match discussion were definitely not.
Is anybody else amazed they haven't made Silco into a character in League of Legends yet?
Where it's like, oh,
Feels like they would have already done that by now.
Magic resistance, so Quad can turbo carry and just melt everybody. And if you play off the timings of your CC, you're just trying to play so they can't hit you. So you have a Mumu ultimate locking them up, they can't hit you. You have a Aurelion Soul ultimate, you have Renata ultimate. So if you play off of your CCs correctly, and you actually have the correct timing there, pixel perfect layering, then they don't actually like auto you very much.
Where I did question it a lot last game was there was 3 ADCs, you still didn't build tabbies, and then after the Abyssal, he was still going more MR. But I do think this is a really risky build, but I do think it's defensible, because it's not just about having magic resist, it's about being aggressive too.
Yeah.
Impact trying to get away there with a Pathmaker as he goes all out, and Inspired's going to be locked up here on the front line, but Impact is incredibly low.
Oh, Young got his ult canceled by Renato.
Magic resist, about being aggressive too.
Yeah.
Impact trying to get away there with a Pathmaker as he goes all out, and Inspired's going to be locked up here on the front line, but Impact is incredibly low. Umpty has to try to get away from Quad as CoreJ...
About being aggressive too.
Yeah.
Impact trying to get away there with a Pathmaker as he goes all out, and Inspired's going to be locked up here on the front line, but Impact is incredibly low. Umpty has to try
that's
to
a
get
lot.
away
There's
from
too much
Quad
damage
as
now.
CoreJ goes in for a big engage, but it's not on anybody valuable. Now he's burning away to the Leandries. Whipple's in the front line, but again, the Sterex Gauge saves the day. Somehow nobody on Team Liquid is dead, but they are all in a critical state. Impact and APA are still trying to escape. The Blast Cone might be their only chance, but Masu jumps back over the wall. The Mystic shots are flying, and Team Liquid is trying to get away. They will not do it. A shutdown from Masu as APA drops, and Impact is running towards the FlyQuest base. Masu just needs one more Mystic shot to put him.
Extra kills, and that was their engage on taking down the dragon. So FlyQuest are like, you know what? We're kind of happy to get so much gold, even though you did burn.
I mean, they're face checking this Impact gets hand shook back into the team. Then he actually drags Amumu forward. Amumu is then able to get 2-man ult down. They cancel the bullet time, which is the counter engage. It's a nice ult from Busio.
He did not see the hostile takeover coming. That was already used before he bullet times, gets interrupted immediately, and he just said, Kobe, APA wasn't there, so if the bullet time gets
Yeah,
stopped,
needed to
APA
wait.
there,
He
no
can't really
damage.
bullet
And
time
that's
until he knows where the
really
Renato
not
ult
the most
is.
threatening part of the kit.
He could have actually just cleansed Renato ult and then bullet timed.
For TL, they're like, create distraction so we could buy some time. But Masu getting the chase down, like that's a big shutdown plus another kill onto
Not very
Impact
well played
too.
by Yun.
So the Ezreal was already
MF sucks. MF
getting a lot
doesn't
of
suck.
extra money, but still has a long way to go as far as the Misfortune gold that she has accrued.
Man, FlyQuest
But they were
is
face checking to
looking
make sure the
good here
Baron
in
wasn't
this
being done, and they
second
weren't
one.
doing it, so it's just
2.5,
insta-turn.
closer to 3 minutes until they have another chance. Sneaked away by QS.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the hostile takeover, there's the Amumu ult, there's Renekton stun. QSS is an insane value in this game. TL again just going to be starting off the Baron, seeing if they can actually sneak something away, but this time you don't have the ability to secure this that fast.
Both top laners are on the other side of the rift right now. Impact interrupts the TP from Whippo. Inspired is in the pit.
Oh, buddies.
Team Liquid trying to get themselves away now. Another nice bandage toss coming out from Inspired. FlyQuest pull off the heist and they get everybody back away. Impact with a teleport in now. Remember, Bwipo cannot match. He's got to go around the long way. He wants to try to cut off Busio, but it ain't going to work. A flash away, and they steal.
Time you don't have the ability to secure this that
Bwipo
fast.
gets his TP interrupted. Impact actually saves this, by the way, guys.
On the other side of the rift right now.
Impact, look at Impact, by the way. I don't know if they show this later, but he's literally hiding in the brush waiting for the TP. And he goes in and he cancels. He surprise cancels Bwipo's TP.
Right now, Impact interrupts the TP from Bwipo. Inspired is in the pit, and he steals the Baron away from Team Liquid trying to get themselves away now. Another nice bandage toss coming out from Inspired. FlyQuest pull off the heist, and they get everybody back away. Impact with
And Impact actually manages to run away and get his own TP off.
He wants to try to cut off Busio, but it ain't going to work. A flash away from the FlyQuest support now puts Team Liquid in very dire straits.
Bwipo runs across the whole map to get into the back line as a big over pursuit by Team Liquid. Game should be over now.
Cut to pieces. Bullet time finds a little, but it won't find enough. A double kill back over to Bwipo. Only one left standing on Team Liquid.
FlyQuest take control of the entire game. Inspired. He slowly walks up and steals their Baron in the face of a Maokai that has a Q smite.
There wasn't even the soul was going to be a ways a while until it got up too.
Right now, Impact interrupts the TP from Bwipo. Inspired is in the pit.
Sneak something away, but this time you don't have the ability to secure this that fast.
The timing on Umpty's ult was also off. Plus, he gets McHale's by Busio.
Impact interrupts the TP from Bwipo. Inspired is in the pit, and he steals the Baron away from Team Liquid trying to get themselves away. Straights a killing spree from
trying.
It was going to be really hard for Team Liquid to win at this point anyway, though.
Actually pressing the Q for the Q smite. He just got that smite in that split second earlier, it looked like, and is able to finish it off, and that is massive for FlyQuest.
It's up the misfortune early to end.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little bit. Going after the soul. Umpty wants to try to contest it. He walks in and he steals it away. Nice moves from Umpty. Ulti there to get the pick on the enemy top laner, but it ain't going to work. FlyQuest still going after the soul. Umpty wants to try to contest it. He walks in and he steals it away. Nice moves from Umpty. But what about the rest of the fight? Bwipo's diving in after Yon, but he won't be able to find the distance here.
Yon has ult.
Now gets locked up.
There it goes.
Impact going all out, taking it back over the wall, but the Sterix Gage again doing so much heavy lifting.
Inspired still has ult.
Yon is trapped. There is no way out of that one. As Quad flashes back away and can continue slowing everyone down with a breath of light. It's 3 dead on TL. They might have stopped the Dragon Soul, but at what cost?
I think the real play here, I think the real play on the top side is that, strangely, I think this is the mistake that's made. Because if you start TPing earlier, you can actually take jungler out of pit with Cassante ult. But instead, they opt into interrupting this, so they want the 4 versus 4. But I think the 5 versus 5 is better for them than the 4 versus 4. And you could have actually TP'd faster.
Was actually pressing the Q for the Q smite.
So
he just got that smite in that split second earlier, it looked like.
I think you need the Cassante to mark their jungler to keep it out of pit.
For FlyQuest. It took what was feeling like, okay, this is FlyQuest favored, but it's within striking distance to that's probably the backbreaker there, and I think FlyQuest is going to win this game.
And I want to highlight Quad with the charge, and even with the misfortune ultimate end.
FlyQuest still going after the soul. Umpty wants to try to contest it. He walks in and he steals it away. Nice moves from Umpty. But what about the rest of the fight? Bwipo's diving in after Yon, but he won't be able to find the distance here just yet. Now gets locked up in the front. Impact going all out, taking it back over the wall, but the Sterix Gage again doing so much. Hell,
looking
forward undid.
In here, they actually get the win on this smite. It is ultimate into Umpty walking up, and wow,
I wonder why Inspired didn't ult.
Very low there. Deny another soul here. They
I think the play here is that you just queue in.
It is ultimate into Umpty walking up, and wow, that actually got down very
like
low.
surely he should be able to get a big ult off there if he walks forward.
Before he actually get in range, and they finally do get it. But again, it's the chase down anyway. You still get these extra kills, and so FlyQuest, with their straightforward comp now too, should be able to reset and go for so much more.
His health. It is going to be so no
Damage. Item flower.
Game now where Aurelion Sol has so much counterplay, it's just unfathomable how many things you can do about this champion at this game.
I will say, Seekers is pretty expensive, so it doesn't bother me the way Stopwatch did. Stopwatch was like, okay, it's too cheap. Everyone in the whole game is going to have a stopwatch. Seekers is like, okay, you had to invest pretty heavily into this.
Yeah, no, I was writing real-life physical letters. Like, you're Riot, please. But Whippo flashing over the wall, immediately engaging with the slice. APA has to disengage, but Whippo is just a massive threat onto everybody here on TL. Whippo's still alive for now, having to back away. Sterix gets popped. 15 seconds left on the Drake. No ulti, no flash for Whippo.
TL are just going to try to play through bot. Look at Yon and Impact. They're just going to say, okay, you're going over to Baron. We're going to try to play for objective bounties and maybe even try to open up the base here. Look
Cajun
for some
shrimp
sort
for
of
dinner?
play. Yon is not showing until
Ooh,
just
we could do some
now,
Cajun
and
dishes
then
maybe.
FlyQuest is going to get the news. Oh, this tower is actually going to die really fast. The AD carry is here. So now TL is really trying to play this hit and run style. They've got to look to escape.
Whippo is not tanky. Remember, no ulti, no Sterix. The ulti about to come back now because of the incredible amount of ability haste in the build. But all right, that bottom lane tier 3 turret taken out there because of some nice macro from Team Liquid. Baron is live on the map. Objective bounties off.
How long is this game?
Team Liquid on the approach. Got to be careful about this though. TP from Impact.
Better to split push. Actually take
Look at
mid
Whippo.
priority.
He's coming. He actually was pinging that he was looking for.
Oh,
a flank.
Lord, he's
Spotted.
coming.
Oh, inspired with for the bandage toss on APA, but it ends up getting cleansed by the QSS. Now Whippo versus Impact off to the side. Whippo with the ulti once again. Impact trying to get himself away. Core JJ trying to provide any sort of help that he can, but it ain't gonna matter. Quad's already on a rampage, and Impact is made out of paper. Whippo continues leading the charge. He's got the
Like, surely they just get Soul here and win the game, right? They have an 8,000 gold lead, and they're gonna get Soul, and then they can chain that into Baron because Impact is dead with no
And the
TP.
death timers are so long that you should be able to get Baron too. On boost.
Anything. The only way TL could get enough damage out is a full chain.
Okay,
of ulti on
movement ult
multiple
almost
critical
up.
targets. That would be the only way they
Okay,
could
we just let-
possibly win this game. FlyQuest is AK up and has Soul.
I would actually be very interested to see the total damage done to champions at the end of this game because I feel like Misfortunes is just going to be so small compared to what Team Liquid was hoping for. The draft diff feels really massive in this one for FlyQuest, being able to shut down one of those two huge threats on Team Liquid. As Busio, Recall is going to get interrupted there. The Baron's alive. No Elder Dragon here for 5 minutes. Team Liquid, all right, let's flip it.
Inspired.
I agree with TL. Like, you have to flip this. There's not really anything else you can do at this point.
Now, pushing forward into the river, looking to control that one for FlyQuest. Quad has the mega ulti ready to go on the Aurelion Sol. Whippo's ready to dive in. He's going to lead the charge once again. FlyQuest now going right back towards the Baron pit. They do this thing fast. Masu and Quad do a ton of damage to it.
Yeah, it's gonna.
No Western team will make it out of Swiss Stage of Worlds. They probably will because Swiss is a very shitty system. So somebody will fluke their way through. Will they deserve to get out? No. Will they get out? Probably.
Quad also has a massive ult that he can drop on this team fight, and now Team Liquid's ready to go in. Inspired in the middle of everybody, looking to lock him up.
Remember, it just takes 1 or 2 upsets for us to have like an NRG G2 winner goes to brackets like we did last year.
Tries to kite off to the side, but Masu's already dominating, and APA's already dead. Hostile takeover over the top. Everybody on Team Liquid's going home in body bags. The graveyard up as Busio tries to kite off to the side, but Masu's
Yeah, this MF wasn't it, dude. There's too many backline threats for the MF to actually do anything.
Home in body bags. The graveyard is packed tonight.
But Masu handles him easily.
Quad and Masu taking over. FlyQuest hit back 1-1.
FlyQuest 20-3, 11,000 gold ahead.
This is some sloppy games, guys. Sloppy. All right, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute.
That they've often been in. They've just been
All right, we're back. Did my fantasy football draft this morning, guys. Doa and Degon are in my league. I feel mid about my team.
Outplaying teams in this league so heavily that they've been able to kind of just do their own thing and run teams over.
All right, let's see what Spawn's got cooking. I was reading
community
the discussions between the end of the last game and the start of
Rumble.
We'll shout out to the Zeus family. What's up, guys? As the Smolder and the Lilia.
There's our producer Zeus with his kids, Lucas and Isla, excuse me.
Shout out to the Zeus.
Good. I was afraid he was Ayla's dad.
What's up, guys?
Zeus is definitely an MVP here at the LCS. So if you're an LCS fan, you love Zeus.
Oh, I see we have some FlyQuest bias, actually, as well, in the family.
Oh, curious.
Young Lucas here is a budding FlyQuest fan.
Yep. All right. I do love me some.
I got Lamar and CMC. Wow, nice. I'll show you my guys' draft. Hold up. I was 8th pick in a 12-person league, though, so it's kind of unfortunate. I was 8th pick. Here guys go. Jalen Hurts, Williams, Rams running back, Mixon, AJ Brown, Pittman, Ferguson, Rashee Rice from Kansas City. Taysom Hill was my 14th round pick as a meme. Jaleel McLaughlin, Gus Edwards. I have both of the Chargers running backs. Polk, Cortland Sutton, Williams from the Detroit. So I thought it was all right for an 8th pick, guys. What do you guys think? It's all right for 8th.
Fandom, boys. I do love me some fandom, but we have the Nasus also banned out by TL. Already went over the first couple.
Seems pretty mid. Well, what do you want? I was 8th pick. No kickers? Nah, I'll just get one. I'll stream it. Do you guys not pick defenses? I didn't.
As Ivern, Ziggs, and
I'll just stream defenses and kickers.
And Team Liquid, once again, Corki is up, Corki is locked in. Like clockwork.
I mean, that has been the go-to for APA for quite a while. Really just living in this meta.
Yeah, Rashee Rice, I got a good value on. I was 9th pick in a 10-team draft, and you got Breece Hall. What the fuck? Dude, you play with some idiots.
Let's see about FlyQuest, though, because honestly, I really
Breece was taken
answers.
2nd in our draft.
Probably this time around, we'll adjust a little bit of gameplay issue. Yeah, you see him, he's so shocked. So there's a surprised Whippo face.
And did you see he has his emotional support shark, as he calls it, on stage there with him that he was playing with? Which
super flex, 2 QBs, so QBs go in the first round. Yeah, I mean, still.
Now, I want to say, is it he?
Still.
4 straight last week, so this is 6 straight Renekton in playoffs, I do believe. Has been looking really good on it.
All right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I guess he's just Corky first. It's literally why do I have to watch the same game 3 times in a row? Bring me fearless. Bring me fearless. Why are we picking this over Maokai? This is not better than Maokai. Why do we think in NA that Amumu is better than Maokai? Why?
LCS meta here. Amumu, the king of teamfight frontline CC, still remains.
Renekton and Amumu are like Egyptian buddies, right? Because Amumu is a mummy. Which
I'm looking at the splashes. That looks pretty Shuriman. You know, some sand in the background.
Renekton's inspired by like...
But it doesn't matter where Amumu's from because he has no friends. His whole lore is that he has no...
You guys one guess. What goes on the other side?
That's a good drawing. I respect.
Yeah.
The Nasus, stop banning it. We saw it look good yesterday.
Another Shuriman champion. I think he's related to Renekton.
They're brothers.
Yeah. I don't know any
related.
lore.
Yeah.
The only lore I know is lore that I've accidentally learned.
I'm pretty sure.
Here you got some more now.
Look, Maokai was free. Why is Maokai lower prio than a Mumu?
Nasus is the nice one and Renekton's the mean one, and they're brothers.
That checks out.
I know.
It's just an Aurelion Soul dry. Good dear sweet Jesus. Why is Aurelion Soul somehow a contested pick?
Playing flex here with the boys. Someone lost to go. Smolder, obviously, mostly been playing solo lanes, but all.
Yeah, they take Ezreal. What a shocker. What are we playing now that all the ADCs are banned? We're playing Callista again. Fine. Please play Renata. Please don't play Senna. Yes! Yes! Do that! Thank you. For fuck's sake.
Steal away the Renata. Nice. Another one. Here.
Dominate
Santino
bot
with
lane.
the
Stack
little
Drakes. Let's
adjustments.
go.
And
Liquid.
I think this one will be an impactful one.
Plus, Callista paired with Renata is one of the all-time
Never mind. We're just going to have a war of poke in the bot lane. Karma Ezreal. Probably the strongest lane.
Here, the double poke
Meta lane.
is going to be priority.
Does have speed boost. All right. All right. I don't hate it from FlyQuest.
In the bot lane, you know, a lot of her strength is about playing against these melee champions.
And get a Mumu and Renekton into position with Karma as well. Karma falls off super hard though. The problem is that the running at them strategy into Renata Maokai is going to be pretty torturous, I think.
And we'll see how well they can do, because this is just so much. I mean, for lack of a better term, it's hit or miss, right? You know, you hit your skill shots.
Is Karma as better than Kate Ash in lane? It outpokes and pushes harder, yeah. Kate Ash? Oh, Kate Ash. I thought you meant Kate Lux. Kate Ash isn't really that much of a lane anymore.
All skill shots for that bottom lane. I want to see junglers, because when you see a bottom lane matchup like this, you expect junglers to get in the mix and actually try and punish.
Is that what we're expecting? Is a lot of jungle attention around
Focus bottom.
Trying to help Whippo get him into a better spot than he was in game one. They were successful in that.
just controlling the game so well.
Aurelion Soul pick.
So now we just clear out vision so that we can make sure we get Prio and bot side and continue pushing. All right, what do you got to say, Jake? Jake Tiberi?
You just after this was the first loss that you guys had in the playoffs
Whoa, Raz is traveling back in time.
thus far. Just kind of the yeah, first reactions to it, but also just the takeaway that you had coming in the environment and all that in the back.
Not much of a takeaway, to be honest. I think we just didn't fight third dragon when we should have. Put us in a little bit of a time bomb. They're just picking ultra scaling in every lane. So, you know, we got to play a little bit better. So that's what I said to the guys. Just go out there, take it to them. We're the top dog. Like, fight them.
Okay, I mean, that's pretty question. Basically, they're going back to the Aurelion Soul. Any kind of thoughts on what you want to do differently, specifically going into this game against that pick?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ian is a really good Aurelion Soul as well. We know the strengths and the weaknesses of the champion. I feel like we need to dictate the terms of the game. We can't trade against our team comp, so, you know, we'll look to push them out and just play a little bit more aggressive, I hope.
Love the answers, and I'll go straight to the casters for that.
Happy Father's
Love the answers, and I'll go straight to the casters for that.
Happy Father's
Happy Fathers? What was he saying?
Oh, the mic cut out for the shout out.
Since I heard Australia.
I want to say Happy Mother's Day for Australia or something. Happy something day.
I think he said Happy Father's Day for Australia. What is Father's Day Australia? September 1st. Yeah. All right. That's what he said. He said Happy Father's Day Australia. That's what he said.
Hell yeah, Australia. Let's go.
Something good's happening in Australia.
Yeah. Let's go, Australia.
Australian holidays. What a fucking meme, guys.
Sorry, Spawn, we're trying.
Personally, I really like the angle he's going for as far as don't trade them anything. You want to.
Why do Australians need their own Father's Day?
Scaling, you want to get those trades, but TL, if Spawn is to be believed, they're going to fight them off of everything and not give them the options for the cross maps and for the trades.
Something that also has been really interesting about this series is the fact that we've had no lane swaps, right? Lane swaps have been such a big
Australia, you don't get your own holidays. You should still be on the British holidays. New Zealand, is it actually a British holiday? UK Father's Day. No, it's June 15th, like God intended. What's wrong with you, Australia? Third Sunday of June. Third Sunday of June in Canada. Third Sunday of June in America. What happened, Australia? How did you end up with your own Father's Day?
Discussion in the LCS. This is the percentage of games with a lane swap for these two teams. Number 1, number 2, and everyone has been talking about Impact, Core JJ. They just run the game in a lane swap. You can't stop Liquid in a lane swap. They're so hard to play against, from pros to
why do you guys have a different
lane swap? So it is
Father's Day than your
I do think
English-speaking brethren?
Again, we might see a pivot in strategy, and that might push us into that lane swap territory.
All right, early on here. Nothing too crazy just yet as Umty's ready to make his entry into the bottom lane. Flash for the twisted advance. Busio is just getting juggled around and knocked back, but he can flash away to safety to survive.
Don't get that in lane.
All right, this is a 1 quadrant clear into gank, guys. This is purely to relieve pressure bot side.
With a percentage of games with a lane swap,
You want to get those.
Like this is a level 3 gank. This is gonna actually cripple Umty's pathing a little bit, but it does relieve pressure.
Baby, that's a standard gank. Get that Maokai in there at level 3. Actually, just the bottom quadrant.
Maybe the Emus got to pick Father's Day because they became the Australian people's daddy after they won the war.
Champion select. Number 1 thing.
Go bottom.
Go bottom. Junglers get in there. So happy to see that vindicated. And they do get the double sums out of Busio. It's a very targeted use of time. You know that you want to take away the safety from the double poke lane because they are so squishy. Now Busio and Masu have to play so much more respectful of the Kalista Renata that can all in you. Of course, Core JJ did use his flash to set that up, as did Umty. And so there were resources invested, but you're specifically targeting that karma, setting up your kill target for the early game.
But look at the Mumu heading down towards bot. It's like, yeah, let him push in.
He had to walk all the way across the map to get back to farming. He's going to be pretty far behind. He actually gets... This is a good play here by Bwipo. He's actually going to see the Maokai, I believe, using the Scryer's Bloom.
Core has no flash. This could
Does he see him?
That second gang being the deadly.
I don't know if he saw him or not.
Core's playing pretty far back. Knows that this is a possibility.
He's looking for him, though. He's pushing up. He's looking.
We'll see if they do walk up.
Yeah,
if they
he's going to know he's there now.
Chance.
Gets the ward in. Oh, no!
Ooh, Bwipo almost stole away that Gromp with the call to Meek, but now the 3v2 here in the bottom lane. They just might kill Busio first. It's first blood over to Yon as Core JJ is traded back.
And what was it all for in the end, guys? What was it? We still lose bot lane. What was it all for?
Most of it inspired down to 200 HP, but he doesn't have to flash to escape the turret. Meanwhile, back in the top side, that 1v1 is going to come to life, but there's really not a whole lot more life to find unless Renekton goes too close to the turret again. So nothing more to say. 1-1, 4.5 minutes into the game.
Yep, still getting the first blood here. Core JJ walks up, he goes immediately for that kill target that they set up. He made the call, Busio's got no summoner spells, you walk right at him, even with the Amumu there on top of you, he focuses, Busio goes down first, so first blood, extra bonus gold to the side of Team Liquid, into the hands of Yon with the Rend, and then he also tried to do a little barrier bait under tower, a little bit more, and they might have been able to squeeze something else out, but really nice kind of reaction there. And this is all afforded to, as you're saying, he's coming in for a lane gank, so it's a good timer from Inspired. TL, they use all their resources to check the vision coming from traditional gank path, but during that time, Inspired did the lane gank through that, fog of war.
Wow, they got first blood.
Good heads up from Core JJ
but they had to pay for it by dying themselves and using Yun's flash.
Yep, I'm the Guardian and the Bailout.
I'm not about this. I'm not about this pathing, but it doesn't matter because they still get the 5-minute Drake. They still get the 5-minute Drake, guys. It doesn't matter because we still get to use Kalista to stack Drakes.
The lane gank through that, fog of war. I just think that is a good heads up from Core JJ to immediately recognize
because you're able to recall and then head straight to Drake.
Yep, I'm the Guardian and the Bailout bought enough time, right? That they were able to get the first blood. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Kalista gets the first blood. Unfortunately for TL, Ezreal also got a kill, so things pretty even in that regard, but it's well played by the TL 2v2 to be able to find that outplay in a 2v3.
The other thing that you're afforded is with Amumu showing later, then the Maokai gets the full catch.
Do I read YouTube chat? Yes.
We saw like the invade from Bwipo trying to stop him on Gromp and trying to mess with his jungle clear. That allowed Maokai to go then compensate for the camps that he skipped in going for the initial gank and then still get Dragon, which is paramount for this TL as Busio wraps.
Yeah, Busio's coming around from the side. This could turn into a 3v3. Umty's coming around, but he's still trying to finish off the Krugs. Core JJ
still
He got
get
hand
dragging,
shook. He got
which is
hand shook into the
paramount for
turret,
this TL
guys.
As Busio wraps.
Yeah, Busio's coming around.
Flash Q.
Into a 3v3.
Wow, it's a good play by
Paramount
Core,
for this
actually.
TL as Busio wraps.
Yeah, Busio's coming around from the side.
He literally grabs him mid-flight and yeets him under the turret, bails himself out. Ooh, it's actually a really good play by Core.
He barely survives until the Mystic Shot connects. Finally getting into the mix, but Yawn is too low to continue the fight. Another one-for-one trade bottom lane.
Yeah, the targets were split there by FlyQuest. Inspired wanted to go for Yawn, but everyone else was going
Yawn.
for Core, so he flashed past and the damage got split. That allowed the time for TL to actually get that kill first.
Another 2v3 counter kill from TL. Even though they drop one, they get another. This one, though, the kill credit actually going to Core JJ, whereas Ezreal got the kill credit on the side here for Masu. So that kind of makes up for that earlier first blood bonus that went their way, as far as the AD carries are concerned, at least. Also, now you get the flip side, where Inspired's first here up to the Grubs. So since Team Liquid got their first Hex Dragon, it's on Impact here, coming down to confirm, yep, they are just trading. They are.
Did I miss my
finishing off
T1
those
versus
Grubs,
TK review? No, I watched
and
that series
it will
live yesterday.
Compared to guys, just look over.
If you want to hear about it, watch the Monty and Wolf show.
Oh, that's a good point.
They like
I already talked about it today.
FlyQuest fans.
You're out of pocket, but you're not wrong.
They're happy to see Whippo doing fine up there in the top lane. Couple hundred gold lead for him. Couple hundred gold lead for Inspired in the jungle as well. Let's see. Mid lane, as Quad just wants to finish up farming the wave here. He knows that APA can't kill him or even interrupt the flight as he just continues falling back. He's going to take
this game. I just want to revel in the fact that we are once again in this LCS meta where our top two AD carries are North American talent, and very young North American talent that the organizations themselves have invested so heavily in. Yawn, we talked about so much during the rise of Team Liquid, during playoffs and their MSI performance, all their internationals, as well as at Worlds. But also on the side of FlyQuest, they too invested in their younger talent, and we're really seeing them thrive on the LCS stage.
Yeah, I mean, it has paid off big time, right? Yawn was the Rookie of the Year last year. Masu's the Rookie of the Year this year. And they have been doing...
Why is Masu wearing a
good
bowling
job for
shirt
these
from the
teams.
1970s?
Oh, almost got Core. That potion.
I think if Core JJ would have been just slightly slower getting out of the way, he would have got hit by the aftershock of the Enchanted Inner Flame, and that would have taken him down. So barely getting away from that one. As Yawn has Umpty hanging around nearby, maybe they're going to try to bait Masu and Busio in here, but Inspired is also ready to reinforce.
Yeah, junglers, I think, will continue to focus on this lane. Inspired has ult, but no flash, and Umpty is doing the wraparound ult early.
Okay. Inspired knows he's going to have to try to help here.
Yep. Good job just pushing the abort button there.
Has ult, but no flash, and Umpty is doing the wraparound ult early.
Okay. Inspired knows he's going to have to try to help here as...
They see him.
Yeah, they do not want to overcommit for this one. 2v3 is a fool's errand here.
Why is Busio Charlie Sheen?
And that would have taken him
What? He doesn't look like Charlie
down,
Sheen.
so barely getting away from that one. As Yawn has Umpty hanging around nearby, maybe they're going to try to bait Masu and Busio in here, but Inspired is also ready to reinforce.
Yeah, junglers, I think, will continue to focus on this lane. Inspired has ult, but no flash, and Umpty is doing the wraparound ult early.
Okay. Inspired knows he's going to have to try to help here as...
They see him.
Yeah, they do not want to overcommit for this one.
Oh, the bowling shirts Sheen wore in 2.5 Men. Yeah, that's fair.
Here for Team Liquid, so FlyQuest can get everybody away.
Yeah, it's a smart disengage. Inspired showed, all right, we can't go for it.
I miss Charlie Sheen. He was
Inspired, you're just
he was entertainingly insane.
And Core was too far away. He was still walking back from base. He did get those tier 2 boots to try to get back here a little bit faster, but of course was not there in time to support the play. But a small win for them is that Masu did have to go back to base knowing Core was going to arrive. He was low on health, so it's at least some of the CS denied from him.
Yeah.
Inspired will pick it up, but it is nice to slow down that Ezreal a little bit.
Was he a lolcow? Of course he was. He's got tiger blood, bro.
Is constantly pushed under
and he's
tower,
winning.
But is still stacking pretty
and he
well
was banging
for early
7-gram
assault,
rocks.
and doing quite nice for himself. Nice defensive ward here. Does see the ward placement. I love when you're able to place the ward during the support roam timer. So even though you know Core JJ is getting deep vision, now your team could actually
by winning.
actually use it against
Yes,
them,
one gear
because
gun.
you know where it
Dude,
was
the
placed.
Saga
And that,
fight about
ward
Charlie
that they
Sheen
got
is
down,
still
that
one of the
extra
funniest
vision,
things
seeing
ever.
The ward placement from Core could be big.
And I'm
By
expecting
winning is
TL, both
definitely-
given the draft, but also given the interview from Spawn,
We should use
to
that
keep
more
showing
for
up
when
to
teams win
every
on both
single
sides of the
dragon
map
here and
simultaneously.
trying to force the hand of FlyQuest. He said, we just needed to be confident. We need to fight. We need to be the team that is saying, you can't sit back and scale. You can't just trade. We're going to fight you. We're going to take things from you. And trying to push the pace by forcing an early soul is great, especially when you have Callista.
I mean, hey, if we're talking about fighting over objectives, the Dragon just spawned for the second time this game. Second pot of Grub's about to spawn here in 10 seconds. With both objectives up, we'll see if that ends up just being a trade again, or if we're going to have battles for both.
He's a freaking rock star from Mars.
Jan and Core JJ rotate over to him.
Quad just went for his reset too, so full purchase there for Quad, but we have APA actually hitting turret, and it's now 2 turret plates mid for APA with all that constant pressure. Quad will get back, but APA goes for the reset now. He's got teleport.
I don't think he's been spotted just yet.
There is that ward on top of the Drake.
It was a simpler time, guys. You know what? If Charlie Sheen said all that shit now, I don't think he would lose his job.
Fast or slow, Umpty is doing this objective. Busio gonna hasten.
It was a simple time when people had dignity.
As FlyQuest is ready to make their approach, Dragon still at about 2/3 here. Jan and Core moving over towards it. Teleport from Impact is only going back into the top lane now. Core JJ continuing to just try to distract the bottom lane duo of FlyQuest. The Dragon's down to about 1,400 HP. I don't think FlyQuest can do anything about it. No, sir. Team Liquid take the second drain.
And I have to say that I'm so focused on mid lane because APA with his pressure mid, him them being in Fog of War, and him going back for his early Trinity Force here. It's like there's so much.
Would Mel Gibson still be canceled?
Force Corki is way
Yes.
more impactful. And so
Yes,
really
he
nice
would.
setup there. TL, they force it. Of course, they also have Callista for the security.
Any
They also have
plans
the
to review
extra,
LEC's finals?
CC
Yeah, we'll do it
here,
tomorrow.
that allows them to go for it, but it's a nice movement up to the top side afterwards. What did FlyQuest get during that? Was there a trade? No, there was not. It was a pure stare down. So TL, true to their call, are not giving you the trades on the other side, although Inspired is
looking for it.
Okay, Impact face checking the brush here. Finds Whipple and Inspired waiting for him. Flashes away, wants to try to survive as APA is ready to back him up. Inspired eats a couple of shots, couple of rockets.
I feel like there's a difference between
Impact face checking the brush
Charlie
here.
Sheen being a delusional drug-using egomaniac and Mel Gibson drunk driving, calling a cop sugar tits, and then saying that Jews caused all the wars in the world. I feel like that's more extreme.
As APA is ready to back him up. Inspired eats a couple of shots, couple of rockets. Third and Tofo strike does not hit Whippo. He's still trying to make his way back into the brushes as Inspired one flashes away, wants to try to survive as APA is ready to back him up. Inspired eats a couple of shots, couple of rockets. Third and Tofo strike does not hit Whippo. He's still trying to finds Whippo and Inspired waiting for him.
All right, they're chasing here. Umpty gets a long-range ult off. Busio's coming. They have TB, so they go back in. He gets rooted on the Q engage, though. Inspired uses ult. Oh, boy. Big ult. Big ult from Core. Oh, man, Impact's missing some pretty critical Q3s.
They lose one, but they could have lost so much more.
This got so scrappy. All 4 members from both sides fighting in top lane, and the Ezreal and the Callista were both trying to move up, and they even met and started scrapping in the jungle.
Was he drunk while saying all the stuff about the Jews? Oh, he was drunk driving, and he was pulled over by a police officer,
TL,
and then he said all that
They're
stuff.
the ones coming in on top. They're going to get at least 2 plates here, very likely. And FlyQuest can do nothing about it. They have to give up the wave,
truly
give
insane.
up 2 to maybe even 3 plates because Bubo has no TP and they know it, and Quad has no TP and they know it. So there's no real response to this play.
And we also got the answer to the question I posed earlier. What about these neutral objectives spawning almost in sync? Not only does Team Liquid get the Dragon, they get that second set of grubs. Both teams are going to be tied
the entire tower. This wasn't even hit yet. They got all 5 plates and the tower. That is so much gold going TL's way.
Game successfully accelerated.
It's so cool to see the small things too. With APA's hard work to get his 2 turret plates off mid lane being the difference of second.
They over pursue. Like Impact gets out of here. They don't know where Maokai is, so Maokai comes in, gets the max range basically R.
From quad coming
Gives
in,
you a long
making
route
the
there
call
on into
for the
Inspired, but
Mumu
really
re-engage.
Core JJ makes the play here.
Quad arrives, the Ezreal all came in. You can see on the minimap, both the 80
His
carries
Core's angle on the ult, handshake into flash ult.
Ooh.
That's a pretty ult, by the way. Bwipo's actually super lucky he didn't walk backwards there.
Both the 80 carries were skirmishing, and it's just Impact getting into the backline, but can't quite finish them off.
Like, if you look at this, I think Bwipo's quite lucky he doesn't actually end up doubling back.
The hostile takeover buys the time there, though.
Super good play by Core.
There's no ability to actually re-engage. It could have been so much worse for FlyQuest, though. There's an auto or two away from that being 4 kills instead of 1.
And even there, if you saw a Mumu flashed just out of the Renata ultimate, and because he flashed to the other side, even though Renekton got tagged by it and went berserk, Renekton went towards the Amumu, towards the tower.
Yeah,
if Inspired had not flashed, then Renekton would have also been back in, and it would have collected all of them. So that flash actually saved
It's a good point by Kobe. Good eye.
By aggroing him towards the safe side too, so it's even closer to just getting all of them. Massive stuff from Core JJ. The Renata pick 2 games in a row now has been so big.
And Team Liquid, with this over 2,000 gold lead now, is just continuing once more to go after every single possible objective.
Do you think Maokai is a bit over-prioritized? No, Maokai is extremely strong. Maokai controls vision that is unclearable unless you walk into it and take damage, and he has the best ult in League of Legends. And he has targeted CC, and he has non-committal engage, so no.
The tiny Krugs and Quad and Inspired, they're not going to be able to stop a whole lot of anything. Another objective goes over to TF.
No, he's incredibly
He's
good.
been on a mission, just making gold. He is #1 gold maker. Look at that lead. It is massive. Yes, he did get the solo, tower on the top side and all that, but even beforehand,
Isn't that enough for him, Kobe? What is he, Scrooge McDuck?
Yeah, he is.
Core is so solid. Would you call him hardcore?
And you should be in league. You should be greedy as hell, especially if you're a mid laner.
Fair, okay.
And because he did his own hard work, like getting the turret place early, you actually are awarded for your early investment.
I deserve this.
Yeah,
This is my gold.
It's not old money, he got in there.
Yeah.
He created his own company.
He's a self-made man.
Then he got a little help later.
Who gave him that airplane? You know?
True.
Where's that airplane from?
We spawned in with the airplane.
Spawned in with the airplane. Seems like that's probably Grandpa's money.
Scrooge McYap is running the show here in mid lane. And now Impact might find himself in a 1v2 yet again. Whippo popping the Dominus.
Ooh.
That's a Papega Frog Dominus. Scrooge McYap is running the show here in mid lane. And now Impact might find himself in a 1v2.
Impact just runs away and he's not in range of the W.
Seems like that's probably Grandpa's money.
Scrooge McYap.
Because there's his E right there and he doesn't hit it. So he actually just doesn't have a second E. Oh, he did hit it. So there's a second E. He doesn't have E, so Impact just walks away and Whippo doesn't want to flash W him.
That's a Papega Frog Dominus.
Yeah. Impact had the read. I gotta give credit. Impact had the read. He went backwards with the Pathmaker. Whippo clearly expecting him to go forwards into that gank. He says, I don't know where your jungler is. No one's responding to play mid lane. I think he might be here.
It's got to be happening.
He went backwards with the Pathmaker.
Meanwhile, we committed 2 players to the non-play. So now it's just free Herald time in mid.
I think he might be here.
It's got to be happening, right? Well, that Herald's going to find the charge under the tier 2 back in mid lane. Now Impact getting caught out, but he's going to go all out.
He just takes Whippo on a ride, man.
He's coming in to help him to turn this into a 2v2, make it a 2v1, make it a beatdown as Whippo can't do anything but try to get away from Cassante. That true shot barrage was coming from Whippo's own team. It's not like it was going to do a whole lot to stop Impact. Whippo still trying to get away here. At least forces Impact to flash to
Why did we Maokai ult?
True shot barrage was coming from Whippo's own team. It's not like it was going to do a whole
What the
lot to
fuck,
stop
guys? Why did we Maokai ult if we were flashing for that? Boo this team.
But man, if that's the only thing you can look forward to, at least I died slightly better.
Yeah.
Not going great.
Impact just really showing great top lane instincts, backs off in the initial play, then in the 1v2, finds the angle, gets the kill and the outplay.
Was there any doubt that he is the top lane GOAT for the LCS?
sir.
Actually, zero doubt and confirmed yet again.
And according to Impact, there's no doubt that he's the MVP. He said it in an interview on stage.
There is no doubt that he's
normally,
MVP.
There's a lot of tension. It's kind of exciting to find out who's going to be the MVP. This year, it could only be me.
True, he's got my vote already.
I agree. Impact for MVP. I'm on the campaign trail. But hey, FlyQuest at least got something back right there. They get the third Drake of the game. They stop TL from getting to Soul Point. They'll at least put the brakes on that a little bit, but it's still a 3,000 gold lead for Team Liquid. Things are still going their way. We are not seeing this FlyQuest comp be able to accomplish what it did in the previous game.
And we're seeing again the continuation of this Mikhail's Rush meta. Because we've seen Amumu over and over, the knock-on effects of the changes here I do like, and the reactions. The importance of getting someone out of that CC obviously is paramount.
I mean, it's just massive, especially when Kalista's playing Barrier, right? This is not going to be that cleanse Kalista, so you need to have someone buying it. It makes more sense the support spends the money on a Mikhail's than Jan spends money on a QSS. It's better for him to just accelerate his itemization.
Especially with an AD carry like Kalista. You don't look at Kalista and think of, oh yeah, we're going to scale all the way to the end game. You want to be aggressive. You want to be scrappy. You always want to be ahead of the curve of the game. APA just going to continue pushing out the side lane now. Remember, there is that big ulti available for Quad. That is also an X factor that could change one of these team fights. The skies descend. The AoE is the whole map. Might be able to cause some sort of a difference here, but APA is just going to continue padding those pockets.
And while the game is looking really good for TL right now, I will say that Dragon was still pretty important because it buys FlyQuest a lot more time to scale. Both junglers hanging around, they're going to go.
Yeah, Core JJ is the bait as Umpty brings in the firepower.
Dude, the Maokai Renata ult combo is just so nasty.
Inspired tries to escape, but Umpty does a nice job there with a Bramble Smash to set it up, so Inspired drops two. Another clean 2-0 trade over to Team Liquid.
That's a Maokai master right there. I like that little bump. Able to make sure they do get that
I heard
kill.
you there. You're like, oh! Like, I need to do that.
The tank junglers need some oohs and ahs, okay?
Yeah,
so when you get
respect.
one of those,
Respect.
I got your back, Umpty.
Yeah. Look at that cue. You go, Umpty.
With the flash, okay. With the very flashy play. I like it.
Respect.
Obviously, I mean, the third team All-Pro is a little bit of a sting, so happy to shout him out. And we're going to get another look at it, I believe, in the chase down on the replay. He also had a really good ult on his, or angle on his ult, which went into Core JJ's.
I always love Maokai plus the Renata. Oh, APA maybe caught out.
APA flashing to the other side of the blast cone. Yeah, he wanted to make sure that he got on the other side of the blast cone so Busio couldn't stop that escape route.
Yeah, and Busio drops the ward right on the blast cone, hoping he would misclick to hit that, and then he could have maybe got cut up too. But Renata plus Maokai is so powerful. What's the counter to Maokai ult? You all stack up and one guy tanks it. What's the counter to Renata ult? Well, you all got to spread out. You can't do both at once, and that's the thing that makes it really, really difficult. You throw out the Maokai ult, they all have to group behind someone. Renata ult comes to the top, and it just creates chaos. Like, it's very slow moving, so yeah, your carries can just run away and avoid it, but they're not doing anything during that time, and your front line is getting destroyed.
They also have Mikhail's now to prevent any kind of Amumu engage on valuable targets.
Oh no, we have to spread. How do we deal with the problem?
River control, a flash over the wall to get away there. Quad threatening to lock him up. He still does not have the Ryla.
Work, or how does it feel?
What brand was it?
I would say it works, because look at the adjustments. The adjustments were so small in draft coming into this game, but so big in play. Massive.
Wonder if Maokai or Amumu is a better jungler, guys, right now.
The dragons controlled. Also,
and then some more turret plates, and then some more towers.
What do you think? There's probably no way to know.
Gold to complete rapid fire when he goes back to base.
Probably no way to know.
Quads.
After they do the successful play on top side, everybody clear out. That's APA's money. He gets that tower. You saw the play on the bottom side.
It's all concentrated in one spot, and that spot is spelled AP. Impact won't be able to stop that.
Yep, and he would have objective bounty, which is a nice little chunk of gold there for FlyQuest.
Okay, so they
could all be still fire that you can get the 3 items somehow, and
they're trying to trade it for gold because they're at a deficit, but now we're on Cloud Soul Point. Cloud Soul gonna be pretty good on Renata Maokai and Kalista.
That one was just so you know.
Just sending a message. As a team,
stay out.
Send another message by continuing to control all of the neutral objectives, even the small ones, like the crab. Goodbye, Mr. Crab. Umpty just going to pick that one up for himself. We do have the Leandries completed for the Maokai, so those annoying saplings that sit in the brushes are just going to be that much
Leandry's
more
been done for a long time for the Maokai.
The other teams in playoffs so
now building Warmogs.
But yeah, even in the first
Does
game,
Rookie still have a chance to make it to Worlds this year?
The Maokai first, then they respond also. Even when FlyQuest pick up the Amumu early, they're very happy to have this Maokai and have that extra vision tool for later in the game when you do get to these objective stands.
Yet one more auto attack from Jan might do it. Nope, still scrambling to get that gold in their pockets as Team Liquid heads.
Early Baron to commit to.
I'm just a liar.
Yeah,
They are
and
doing
Umpty
it.
are off to the side, though. They're going to fire off the Maokai ulti. Now,
Whippo?
Whippo. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. I was a little bit worried there for a second. As
Is he
Monster and
fine?
Busio trying to fire back at AP and Umpty. Get him out of the jungle.
There's
All right,
yeah,
Jan's
there's
going
Callisto
bowling.
ult. That's
Throws
fine.
Core JJ right on in there, but a TP about to arrive.
It's fine. Just
from
force their
Quad
TP.
as FlyQuest
This is
ready
good.
to take
This
the
is
fight, but
good.
They got to be careful because Masu's already down to 20% HP. Quad has the sky's descent. He might look to drop it right here.
Nice handshake. Of course, handshakes this game. Whippo? Whippo? No, that doesn't work. There's a McHale's. That don't work. There's a McHale's in this game. Oh my god, but they kill Impact, so I guess they got that going for him.
Yeah, they got separated there by the Aso ulti. The hostile takeover was nice, but the Aso ulti was coming in at the same time. So TL couldn't really move forward to back up Impact to capitalize on that. Impact ends up started off very well by Impact. Notice how he just pushes Inspired away, keeping space. But the problem here is TL are very separated.
Yeah.
FlyQuest are able to just attack the TL bot lane, even though the great handshake is there to actually disrupt the initial play. They get in, they force their hand, and APA is not here until just now.
And I want to point out that cleanse that they used onto the Aurelion Soul to allow him to immediately drop that ultimate. They were able to get it off.
And APA is TL are very separated.
Yeah.
FlyQuest are able to just attack the TL bot lane, even though the great handshake is there to actually disrupt the initial play. They get in, they force their hand, and APA is not here until just now.
And I want to
Was
point
it good
out
McHale's
that
onto Aurelion
cleanse
Soul?
that they used onto the Aurelion Soul to allow him to immediately drop that ultimate. They were able to get it off, and they were able to get him out of that Renata ultimate, the Aurelion Soul.
You saw that thing, it covers the...
And when Quad is playing it.
Yeah.
That also helps.
Or JJ having a very good game.
Going to be a soul. Look at the actual completed items, right? They couldn't get towards 3 items. You have to kind of make your decision. Do you give up soul, or do you draw your line in the sand and say, nope, we just have to fight it out now and decide the game?
Saplings being applied to brushes as Team Liquid makes their way to the Drake pit. They're taking it slow, setting up some of those control wards, seeing if FlyQuest
Thing is, again, this is what they should have done in the last game. You only need Callisto there. I'm taking ult, please. Ult, please. Ult. Oh, he's not even gonna do it. They're not even close. All right.
FlyQuest still moving forward, chasing after.
Why are they chasing this? Why are they chasing this? Why are they chasing this?
With the Aurelion Soul ultimate,
but it's dead.
The big one. Now Whippo's coming around from the side, but it's just the alligator delivery.
Okay, they still have Renata ult. There it is. Well, they just committed suicide. Very good.
Make it a quadra. This might
Penta?
just be what APA's looking for. He goes in. Penta kill.
Too easy, man. Why are we engaging after the Drake is already done? Like, they... Okay. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Okay, so we don't contest Cloud Soul. We don't contest Cloud Soul. What does Cloud Soul do? Gives us movement speed. Have we used any ults? No. No, we've used no ults. So we're literally fighting them when they're at their maximum strength versus Cloud Soul. And we're running in, we're running in, we're running in. Maokai gets speed boost. Maokai flanks around the side. Inspired is, again, not very tanky to the double AD composition that they have because he only has the chain vest for armor. He gets hooked in and then immediately rooted and destroyed. And then we're able, of course, just to kite this out very quickly because we have Cloud Soul. We have fucking Cloud Soul. And Callisto just uses ult. There it is. Look at that. Look how fast Callisto is.
But it's just the alligator delivery system. APA's happy to accept the package. It's a triple kill back for the Corki. Make it a quadra. This might just
It's really a disastrous concept. And we just win the game.
And even though he's the one to collect and get the pentakill, you know, the biggest DPS on the team.
The championship weekend, round 1, I guess. I don't know exactly what to call that game.
Oh, no.
I don't want to call it a loser final.
Zeus's son swapped sides.
Oh, true.
TL go Liquid. Now that he wants to be on the
We're getting court.
Why is it the same every game? Surely we don't just give them Maokai again, right? Oh, they did it. They took away the Maokai. My God.
But I think that image coming through again.
No, why is Callisto Senna like good? What am I missing here? Is this actually good?
we already
Maybe
have
I'm
a
wrong.
Senna, and you know for sure we're gonna need some frontline and engage from Umti. Sejuani is a very clear one.
How does Cloud Soul work with Corky Rockets?
I
it
wonder what
procs.
he's gonna go to once
It
that's
procs
done.
the first time you use a
Maybe
Corky
the
Rocket,
Fly-
and then it goes on
Right.
cooldown for
Yeah,
like
I would
30
say
seconds.
Maybe FlyQuest
would hate
end
it.
up.
Only because you're going up against Renekton and Maokai, and that's just your first 2 picks. I think Vi is pretty.
Are you still
easy
going to stream
handle, but
T1DK? No.
It's gonna be tough.
Go listen to Monty
I really
Wolf
like
show.
the Senna into the Maokai. I feel like those engages are...
It's gonna be tough.
I really like the Senna into the Maokai. I feel like those engages are so telegraphed that you're
What
going
am
to
I
be able to see when
slurping on?
Shield and stuff
It's
to avoid it.
Borichides.
I also
It's
do like the
chilled
add into the Callista for what
barley
it's worth.
tea.
If FlyQuest still holds their counter pick for Busio like they have the entire series.
This is another big one because we've talked about how every single game has been Renekton, but it's also been impact on the Cassante, right?
Sure.
So we're removing that off the table. Taking
Well, I
out the
review G2 versus
Seraphine,
Fnatic
which
tomorrow.
Has been paired really well with
Tomorrow.
Ash. Not yet seen.
Is it
in
like chai?
LCS,
No, it's
but seen
unsweetened.
in other regions.
What
It's
do you think he's gonna go to
barley
now that
tea.
he's lost both Cassante and Rumble?
It tastes like barley.
You
It's
think?
very
I
nice.
think an Orn
Actually,
angle is real.
Yeah, Orn also partners really well with.
It would require a little more aggressive jungler from...
So they see the Ashe,
Umti.
and we
If
have
he
to
goes
remove the
Sejuani,
CEO
then I would
of
say
NA,
Important
Seraphine,
for
from the
both teams,
pool.
obviously, but for FlyQuest, be able to narrow.
It was FlyQuest who last
We're taking
weekend
Leona
even won
Ashe.
Or
Leona.
Like, I just feel like the Senna Callista, doesn't that just split the difference on why Callista is good? Maybe it is good now. Maybe it is good after Senna changes, guys. I don't know.
I think it's safe to say we're going cleanse this game. I think Maokai, Ashe, Leona, like you want to throw in a Renekton W in there. I think it's safe to say we're going cleanse.
Ooh. Skarner.
Jungle Skarner?
No.
Jungle
It's
Sejuani.
Sejuani.
Correct.
Okay, so this is something that obviously Carrier played the other
Top
day.
Shen.
However,
Impact back
it's been
on
used as a
Shen
counter
duty,
pick,
the dream. Because they
into
banned
Leona,
Cassante.
but
He's not allowed to have it
Leona
anymore.
support,
Nope, we're just going back to Orn.
obviously.
Front to back
This
team
time
fighting.
Lou's on top. I just wanted to shout
Very
that out.
low
Because
AP damage.
We had the fun
And we
peppers
picked
from
Zeri
Umti. No,
mid.
he's just
Wow.
gonna go the
Well, very
Sejuani.
meta compositions for both
And
teams.
that's it, Team Liquid. That's some late game scaling front to back of every...
Huge amount of non-committal engage now in FlyQuest. There are 3 ults here that are all really good non-committal engage. 2 on this side. Non-committal engage, just king now. I mean, this is pretty even in terms of compositions. Maybe there's an advantage to TL in terms of scaling because of Senna and Ornn.
Take us away. Specifically, Flowers.
Flowers, analyze this.
Where can we find the Monty and Wolf show?
There is too much AD carries. At least I think so, but Liquid does not. They're locking in with 3 of them.
Here you go.
Remember what's on the line here in this one. If you win this, you are guaranteed to be in the finals next weekend. You are
It'll be there.
guaranteed to
It's
also
also
not have to go
on
through
in the
play-ins at
videos
Worlds.
tab
Feels
here.
good, man.
You don't watch it now.
Certainly does, and I think both of these teams feel like that is a very reachable goal. Even FlyQuest on elimination match right
Should be
now,
right
on
there.
elimination game from the
Because we
upper
streamed it
bracket,
earlier today.
It does feel within
Yeah,
reach.
it's there.
They did show already this series. They do have what it takes to take down Team Liquid. So some small adjustments here.
I mean, we saw honestly a very back and forth game 1, a pretty dominant game 2 from FlyQuest, and a pretty dominant game 3
These NA
from
teams have any
TL.
shot at
So
Worlds? What do you mean? I think
overall,
TL
it
might
has
be able to
been
make
a
quarters
pretty
with the right
close
Swiss
series,
stage.
And we'll see if FlyQuest can push us all the way, can send us the distance here. As we are in the
One
upper
thing that's going to
bracket
hurt, guys,
finals.
that people aren't
The
talking
loser
about
of this
is
obviously
that
would still be
boot
at
camping for
finals weekend,
teams
but
is
they
not
would
going to
play
be very
first on the
easy,
Friday, and
right?
they would be
Because
awaiting the winner
World
of
starts, guys, I don't know if you know this, play-in starts September 25th. It's super early this year, right? So LCS doesn't actually end until the 9th. So there is no chance to go to Korea to boot camp. There is no chance to boot camp between the 9th and the 25th. So they're going to have to go straight to Europe, and probably TL would go anyway because TL as a team, they have a facility in the Netherlands, right? They have a facility. That's where their CS team plays from. So they probably just go straight to Europe. But that means no Korean boot camp, and that probably is going to hurt because the Asian teams are not going to fly over early. They're just going to train in Asia. So you guys tell me whether it's going to be possible for LCS teams to get better by playing LEC
At
teams.
LCS finals weekend, as well as the final.
You can't boot camp in that span? No, because of jet lag. You'd have to get jet lag going to Korea, then get set up, then do your training, and then you'd have to fly back. Get jet lagged on your way to Germany. It's just not worth it. It's horrible.
Ticket here to Worlds. But something I wanted to talk about is going to get the classic APA banter a little bit early on, is just how good Impact has been and how good he has been in this series. You know, Bwipo had a quote on him, which I thought was pretty cool to hear, like how much respect he had. And he was just talking about how Impact really is the benchmark for greatness. And he's really excited on the Shy. Can I take on Bin? Can I take on whoever? And he said when he's playing against Impact, that gives.
So NA and EU are going to boot camp together and they get shit on by China and Korea again. Dude, they were going to get shit on by China and Korea regardless, but it's probably going to be worse this time.
Guys, that's the kind of level that he puts them on. Some of the best players in the world.
Already scrapping a little bit up there in that top side. Impact stealing away a couple of grasp procs. You can see Core JJ now at 249 wins, 11th all-time in the LCS. The dude has played a lot of LCS League of Legends.
Also, is worth saying that TL as an organization, with the wins already previously in this series, have surpassed TSM as second all-time wins in the LCS for any organization, which is huge. You know, considering how long TSM was in the league, and very impressive stuff, because I think Team Liquid are going to keep winning games.
They're looking like it. I agree.
They are continuing their winning ways.
And I mean, especially if you're a new fan, you may be like, well, why is that crazy? Because TSM at the end wasn't, the same TSM we saw earlier, where they were so dominant. They made, I want to say it was 10 straight finals for LCS. Yeah. Like, it was a ridiculous.
What was you said the over/under for Western teams in quarters?
So
at one.
Passing them, obviously, TL has had a lot of success.
One.
Yeah. The TSM Glory days, they were always coming in first. The main question was, all right, who's taking the silver medal, right? And Team Liquid, they had their Glory days.
I think we'll get one. I just don't think we'll get two.
Back-to-back titles. All right, Kobe, what do you got?
I got a Maokai here, Flowers. I'm always looking out for these ganks, and Inspired has snuck here and been waiting patiently for quite a long time for his moment, but has to retreat. And so they aren't going to be able to hit the snare, but a little bit of a chase out here as Umpty had come over.
Yeah, Core JJ just does not care. He knows that they're about to crash this wave into the turret. He's just going to harass Inspired a little bit while Umpty steals away the blue.
Yeah, exactly. And it may end up being a bit of this 2v2 in the jungle. And look where Yon is positioning. So if a fight breaks out, it's going to be that extra man coming much faster. Masu is further back. So TL cover that, allowing Umpty to take that blue buff away. And now he's going to cross mid lane and go up towards enemy Raptors and steal away even more of these camps. This is just great, utilizing that bot lane prio.
But it's because he has to. Because Inspired got the sneak.
Inspired
is red quadrant, and so it's really forced.
Nice lockup on
Got no E
there.
This is dangerous.
Knocks him down to half HP, but Bwipo has made a rotation over to join this fight. Inspired is ready to tip the odds in FlyQuest's favor.
Got no E there. Great, utilizing that bot lane prio. Allowing Umpty to take that blue buff away, and now he's going to cross mid lane and go up towards
this
enemy
was a bridge too far.
Even more of these camps. This is
he gets so greedy here because he knows where the Maokai is, but there's a difference between having the prio and bot and then not having this. Use his Q right here as well.
Got no E.
But he has no cooldowns left. He used all his cooldowns.
Rotation over to join this fight. Inspired is ready to tip the
and
odds
so
in FlyQuest's favor. Umpty can't get away from that
one thing I will say about Bwipo is that Bwipo uses lane priority super well to do jungle invades or roam. I mean, this is really where Bwipo shines, I think, is like he does have a win more mentality.
Still being chased around as we have seen some AD carry 1v1 deaths in the mid lane under less duress than that. So happy to see no actual dead bodies after that one, but still, back to the jungle.
That was grim. That was grim.
Back to the jungle.
You can see his barriers on cooldown. He has 15 CS when he had to
We
go
didn't
back
have to be
base,
that
so
greedy.
He didn't get a good buy. He will be able to come back and collect some of this, and even the
What happened in bot lane early? How did it go so south and bot side?
The TSM Glory days
for LCS, like it was a ridiculous run. This team was always at the top. So to see someone passing them, obviously, TL has had a lot of success.
Maybe I'm wrong about the
TSM
Callista
Glory
Senna
days,
right now, guys. I accept that I might be wrong about this.
Taking the silver medal, right? And Team Liquid, they had their glory days. They had their huge sprint where it was, the back-to-back titles. All right, Kobe, what do you got?
I got a Maokai treat, and so they aren't going to be able to hit the snare, but a little bit of a chase out here as Umpty
bit of the blue buff away, and now he's going to cross mid lane and go up towards enemy Raptors and steal away even more of these camps. This is just great.
That one thing,
Look at Moss a little bit, but that's already a 500
they did zone them off the wave very effectively. I don't really know how that happened because it was already happening by the time we got the tri-lane view.
Whippo jumps in after Impact and Umpty. Only 3 stacks on the Sejuani stun though, so nothing else is really going to happen. You could see that Inspired did make his way over just in case TL wanted to commit to this. It would have been a fair 2v2, but no such thing.
Yeah, and Inspired can keep up his pace here on the Maokai, so goes back for his recall. It is going to be extra ability haste over just the Ruby Crystal start for the Sejuani, as we have an Ignite.
Yeah, Yon is very low. Forced to use the cleanse to get away there as Busio and Masu try to keep the pressure on.
This is actually critical because they stopped the base. So Jan had this additional gold that I was talking about from the CS lead. They stopped the base, which is going to mean he's going to lose some farm on the bounce, and he hadn't bought yet. Imagine if he had Berserker Greaves for that fight. It looks completely different. So they know that they can force in that timing before Jan went back and spent that gold.
All right, Core JJ's job is just to soak whatever he can underneath the turret. Recall from Busio, who did lose most of his health in that engage. As, meanwhile, the replay showing what went down earlier when Umpty ended up getting caught. It's just the power of the extra man for FlyQuest.
Yeah, nice job with the jungle start and then chasing him around. And the kill actually going into Whippo will be interesting. This Renekton has been a hot topic, especially for this team, as far as the priority continuing. This game, though, Whippo starting out with a big gold lead. You know, Renekton with Conqueror into the Ornn for Impact should be a pretty good chance for him to actually reach up to that big bench.
When are you going to do the Roman era? It's not Roman era. It's the Sword and Sandals movie series with people from Foreplay in November. It'll be before Gladiator 2 comes out. Probably do
yeah, you know, we heard Swan
the Troy
about how he wanted his team to
director's cut, Spartacus,
like
and the original Ben-Hur.
In this game, when I look over at Ashe Zarya as your main damage, Sejuani and
Gladiator 1 and 2
by Ascena is going to be so hard to punch through. You are full physical against 2 people who can stack infinite armor.
Well, FlyQuest is coming in to try to stop the Drake take from Team Liquid. Umpty still hanging around to at least try to smite fight, try to contest for this. But FlyQuest just have the manpower. Flash in from Busio, going after Umpty, who uses the Arctic Assault to get away and drag Busio with them. Team Liquid clears the gap, makes sure that they are not going to lose anybody there in that scrap, but it's still Dragon secured by FlyQuest.
And during that whole thing, APA pushing mid, focusing on the minions as diligently as ever. Quad made his way over, so Zeri comes and they say thank you for the leash. Then at the end, of course, you know, Umpty is always watching for the engage, ready with the Arctic Assault. Still, as watching for it, it was good timing there to even with Busio's. And they
stop the Drake take
by Ascena is going to be so hard to
punch.
What
if we just get pushed off here?
People who can stack infinite armor.
Well,
we just get pushed off because they have Prio and we're so scared of the Ashe and Leona.
Umpty still hanging around to at least try to smite fight, try to contest for this.
It's dangerous too because Quad has ult.
FlyQuest just have the manpower. Flash in from Busio, going after Umpty, who uses the Arctic Assault to get away and drag Busio with them. Team Liquid clears the gap, makes sure that they are not going to.
Made his way over, so Zeri comes and they say thank you for the leash. Flash.
FlyQuest has here gold, so much turret plate gold, so much.
And he was really pushing from the very beginning in the individual matchup and then into the side lanes, which people always talk about for TL, as them funneling him into those side lanes and really concentrating gold on the full offense, kind of best carrier of gold that Corki is.
Yeah, I mean, this is second plate going down here already. Only 8 minutes in there for APA. Obviously, Quad was moving down towards that Dragon, so he's going to be feeling good about the advantages that he's created for himself.
We got to get him in like a rich Ziggs emote with some gold coins sprinkling around or something.
Money bags.
Yeah, exactly. Some Scrooge McDuck.
It fits with the old TL memes too, with the paid by Steam.
Yeah.
Bring that back.
True. Well, Umpty maybe paid by bottom lane. Bottom lane have paid their junglers well, constantly visiting. He does have ult.
Yeah.
I mean, Masu's got flash and barrier, so maybe go Busio.
Yeah, Busio's decided to engage. Both junglers going to show up, but it's Umpty arriving first. Yon popping the clans, trying to get back away as the Solar Flare forces the flash out as well. No summoners for the Team Liquid carry as Busio is low, but that's the Leona. That focus ain't going to be the answer Team Liquid wants. Inspired continues chasing. Masu with one more shot, and it's right through Jan's heart. FlyQuest 1-0 in the scrap.
Another lane gank from Inspired. Lane ganks are the way. Always coming through. This time on the Maokai, you get to start that ultimate, and as TLC, you know, again, the jungler's constant focus bottom lane actually paying off for FlyQuest this time around.
Leona is just so ridiculously tanky in these early skirmishes here. You have Aftershock, you have your W up, so sure, they're actually putting a lot of damage down onto Busio, but they can kind of just tank it through. The early cleanse on that ulti from, you know, Masu that came out onto Jan, but then the Ignite immediately goes down, he's getting chunked out, Core is getting chunked out, and Inspired finds a really good angle to flash in the backline and Bramble smash Jan down. Slows him down enough that Masu can get the chase down.
Exactly, that's the key, the focus target. Because they see the early cleanse and flash invested from Jan, due to the Maokai ultimate, you know, he's getting out of the range. Inspired knows he can flash follow up on that range, bump him backwards, get that kill. And bottom lane has been such a big tipper as far as the objectives control goes. So Dragon number 1 went to play with FlyQuest. Looks like they are actually swapping up for those Void Grubs as well. So should be able to get Dragon plus the Void Grubs since lanes on bottom side. TL have kept their bottom lane there, and Umpty's also even there. So Bwipo decides to ult in the face of 4.
Yeah, Bwipo's going to try to survive this one. Let's see how well that goes. Trying to flash away now. Team Liquid with the 4-man dive.
Impact does a really good job of tanking that for the max amount of time.
So 4.
Watch Impact here. He comes in, gets aggro, and he stands there. He's literally standing at max range to keep turret aggro while still hitting his R2.
4-man dive. Impact nearly dying.
And then he walks out right at the last part. It's very good turret aggro hold there by Impact.
Are claimed by Inspired on the other side of the map.
Cost them quite a bit to get it done, but they did do it. They didn't lose anyone, and they likely will win this race here down on the bottom side because it's just Masu hitting that tower up on top lane. It's going to cost them the grubs as well, but we'll see.
Late that we're not even going to get to see the second set, right? 14 minutes is going to occur before that timer would happen, so it'll just be Rift Herald.
And Bwipo, you could see what he did there immediately. He went for the minion wave. He knows, yeah, it's 4 people. Yeah, I'm going to die. He assassinated the minion wave. the rare minion wave assassination at the cost of his own life, and then teleports back to the tower here to keep on trying to farm, keep that gold up for himself. He is still 1.3k individually ahead. So he goes for the ult, charges up his rage, and even as the teleport's coming in, goes right for it, starts on the cannon, finishes off the cannon. Then he flashed as well, but maybe he thought there was an angle to actually get out, but TL Impact, you know, tanking tower,
Exactly.
It was fine. They have 4 people to pull it off, plus a Senna ult.
I mean, that's what makes it so hard, right? Like, generally, you only get the kills back in these situations when you're in a tower if you can get onto the person who is tanking the tower, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's where it usually goes wrong, but Impact was on the very edge of turret range, takes all those shots, you know, just buys so much time for TL to finish it off.
Yeah, it does like delay the enemy team, so the tempo, quote unquote, play is kind of there. It's just the extra flash at the end. You know, if you're going for the minion wave, maybe like resign yourself to the death. Still, though, FlyQuest keep up their neutral objectives. That is both dragons plus the first Void Grubs for themselves, so they do keep that pace up. And if you're looking at the next spawn on the top side of the map, they already have their deep wards through the blue quadrant of Team Liquid's jungle, leading over to the second spawn of Void Grubs in just over a minute.
There isn't going to be a second spawn of Void Grubs.
Said,
It's
the goal
Herald.
is still very close, so as long as TL set up well, put
Oh
trouble.
boy. Here goes that crocodile once again. Bwipo with a nice heal to keep himself alive. Might just walk away from it. Well played for the FlyQuest top laner.
Yeah, not enough damage to finish him off. Bwipo gets out. He's cashed out the
Is that a strange item rush for Sedge? Nah, Zeke's is very high value because it gives you armor.
Yeah. Just face checks
Armor
right
and
across,
MR,
tons of
so it gives you
CC
mixed
comes down, even to the
resistances,
Dawn
and it's very
Shadow.
cheap.
Umpty just eats so much damage as the arrow arrives from all the way away. Masu even just face checks right into the barrage. Tons of CC comes down, even through the dawning.
He's cashed out the call. He's on one item, and maybe FlyQuest.
Umpty's just seen this entire time.
They're setting up.
So he thinks that Bwipo's going in there, but he actually just finds an entire brush full of people.
Comes down, even through the dawning shadow.
It's a good bait.
Umpty just eats so much damage as the arrow arrives from all the way away. Masu even getting involved in it. FlyQuest 3-1.
Huge counter, and then into their own trap that they set. FlyQuest They want a game 5. They're looking like they're going to push us there, too. Really nicely done as far as the early control.
This is the best game FlyQuest has played so far, though.
Really good play there. Now opening up a decent gold lead, 1.5k. If TL can stay
It's amazing what happens when you can do with a non-Amumu jungler.
Make their stand at this next dragon. You know, do they risk waiting till the 4th?
What do you think about the Kalista priority? I'm just not sold on Kalista Senna. There's something I'm missing about why this is good. I'll ask Spawn.
You know, you don't do any damage with this sort of build, so it's really all on Yon to be able to kill him off. And this is a fully completed item for Bwipo.
I'm not sure if it's good since the Senna changes. I'm just curious about the logic to it.
And then just back, stuns up core, slice and dice.
Like I think Kalista Renata is still incredibly strong.
This guy's a living emote, man. Everything is emotable, as you can see here. Sejuani's tanky. Glacial armor is great. You can face check a lot, but you can't face check that. Now Bwipo going in 1v2. He knows he's got backup coming. Quad arrives, ready with a lightning crash, and Umpty Sejuani is suffering in this game 4.
Another counter from FlyQuest. Again, they're so ready for Team Liquid, and every play that they start this time around really feels like they have been one step ahead. But back to that reaction. I want the slowed down reaction from Bwipo. It reminded me of, you know that sloth emote? Where it's the animal. It's the animal movie, but that thing slowed down. I can't remember what. I can't.
Zootopia.
That's my favorite movie. I love the animal.
Don't you just love animals?
I knew you weren't gonna let me get away with it.
To be fair, in Zootopia, that sloth scene is hilarious.
It was Zootopia, wasn't it? I think Zootopia.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's an animal movie.
Animal movie.
That was an animal movie. You're close enough. You could have been more disturbed. You could be like the animal movie where they're in the cage.
Well, one
was a second monitor experience.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He looked over and it was in a movie theater. Okay. Well, you said let's move on, and then you just dragged it back.
You could have just let him. Okay. Let's go into the Rift Herald fight now. As Inspired and FlyQuest do not want to let Team Liquid get this. When FlyQuest are currently the ones with the lead, the Herald is going to be secured by Umpty here from the front line with the Dawning Shadow looking to keep him alive as Inspired dives in. APA needs the damage, and the Ornhorn set.
Oh my god, they're all stacked on the wall. Impact is so huge. Why did Quad go in, dude? Quad can't win this. Oh my god, he's spacing so well. Alright, we had to flash on him. Oh, he still had Callisto. Wow. Huge plays by Impact there.
Holy cow, what a fight!
It's an absolute bloodbath in the top river there between TL and Fly. And so much of the difference is just that Quad was not there at the start. He used the E to actually go up to farm the wave in top. TL see that. They are more than happy to accept this fight.
Yeah, right up the river. And then
there's just not a lot of follow-up off of the initial ult. Poor JJ did look like he hit match with the Senna ult.
Happy to accept this fight.
Yeah, right up the river. And then we have the Senna ult.
I guess he got some shields down. I mean, look at Impact though. He actually, it was a bit of a late CB, but he dodges the Maokai ult as a result. Immediately starts getting this, and then he R2s, doesn't get stunned, then he double knocks up.
They do at least get that objective. TL though, this part was so cool to watch.
Quad should not have gone in there.
Ready to die for the re-engage from Bwipo and Masu. Look at this. He goes up on the Zeri. Masu's going to step forward, and Bwipo coming over the back. They almost are able to do it. It's just that the ultimate here from Kalista, giving them the extra CC, and then constant heals from that core JJ Senna.
I gotta say though, it does speak to a bit of miscommunication.
When they did start too early though. The Maokai ult came in too early.
Inspired is engaging in the river, so it made him so much later because he couldn't actually just electric slide over the wall into the fight early on. And as a result, even with all the damage from Masu, FlyQuest still loses out, and now it's a slight gold lead for TL as we fight for this third dragon here.
All right, the Herald that Team Liquid earned in the previous fight is just going to be used as a distraction in mid.
Can Bwipo stun the Ornn ult there before R2? I mean, he definitely can.
Q from Sejuani brings Inspired back.
He Qs instead, though. He could have. He had time. He had time to do it. I think he was trying to get his rage up. He was trying to get his rage up, and his rage built too slowly. That's my guess. He was trying to get his rage up. But him hitting that ult, I don't think was super impactful. Because Yeah, the Maokai dies there regardless of whether he's knocked up or not.
Eyeball before dying, so they do at least get that objective. Step forward, and Whippo coming over the back. They all.
The real problem here is at the start of this fight, like Zeri is in the top side. You know?
Yeah, right up the river, and then we have this.
So you don't actually get a good angle for the Zeri, and then the Zeri has to wall right in super late.
Before dying, so they do at least get that.
I mean, Quad's like shoots 2 Qs and then he wall right ults in.
This part was so cool to watch because Quad, he's ready to die for the re-engage from.
That's just a messy engage by FlyQuest.
On the Zeri, Masu and constant.
Hit him slight gold lead for
Quest has already claimed the first.
third dragon here.
All right, the Herald that Team Liquid earned in the previous fight is just going to be used as a distraction in mid lane while TL begins.
Here we go. Look at Whippo.
FlyQuest has already claimed the first 2. Whippo looking to come around from the side, but APA is very strong. Tries to back away, but stunned up. Moss begins.
Here we go. Look at Whippo.
FlyQuest has already
APA has to keep his distance here.
Whippo look.
He gets too close. He gets too close. He doesn't space properly, and so he gets EW'd and then arrowed.
But stunned up. Masu with the clutch ulti, and now Whippo can keep pressing forward. Team Liquid collapses. Impact's in the middle of no man's land. FlyQuest just hit a crit on the whole mid game.
He got way too close there.
The Ash Arrow over the wall, the jump forward from Quad. They follow up, they get their kill, they take down the Corki, they take down the Dragon, they'll get the mid lane turret, and their rampage to push us to that game 5 continues. Masu does get engaged upon, but it's just gonna, so they do stop the meme.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just APA playing a little bit too aggressive here. He knows.
I mean, hitting the R is fine and like autoing, but you have to make sure that you're clicking backwards.
No flash on him, and when you get tagged by the slice,
in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, this
because
is
you can't get hit by E1, right?
Aggressive here. He knows there's no flash on Cork.
You can't get hit by E1, and neither of you have flash. So you have to space in a way and hit Valk when he E1's in, because otherwise he gets E2 and he closes the gap after Valk.
Over the wall. Quad is there. Everyone on FlyQuest engages at the exact same time, and they crush this fight.
You mentioned a difference in comms and timing and coordination. This time around, it was CC into CC, right out of the Renekton stun, into the Ash Arrow. Beautiful follow-up there, and instantly killing the
Masu's awareness for Ash Arrows has been really good in playoffs. Masu's Ash has been really good.
He got that early first blood onto
The number of long-distance arrows he's seen, he's really been on point with.
Lucio going in for the Zenith Blade. Solar Flare ain't gonna find anybody, but Whippo is once again here on the
It's pretty good, actually, right here, because Solar Flare missed and arrow is down. There might be a chance to turn this. Nope, never mind. Impact's not going to get hold off.
Very tanky. Couple
Whoops.
more auto attacks get it done, and going in for the Zenith Blade. Solar Flare ain't going to find anybody, but Whippo is once again.
It's a good callback and good kite back to just get to the Ornn. I mean, the Ornn's TP is useless.
Get it done, and Whippo's claiming a kill. FlyQuest ain't done yet. Team Liquid continually getting pushed back. Umpty and Impact, the front line, the tanks, the meatballs on Team Liquid are not withstanding the damage.
Looks like they are going to go for the reset afterwards. They don't actually just going to go base.
Area 2, they're on the best in the game at utilizing that. Here it is one more time. Impact TP's in, but he is just paper. He's on 1 item right now. Whippo's on full 2. So they just turn on the Ornn. This guy with only the Thornmail, no HP really, in the kit to back it up. Obviously, there's a little bit on Thornmail, but he's just so squishy.
Yeah, you actually don't want your Ornn.
Oh, there's like 1,000 HP on the Thornmail.
If he teleports that far
forward, quite a bit of HP for an item.
You can see his cooldown still up afterwards. They need like frontline Umpty up there so you can actually have the time to utilize your Ornn ult.
It's very difficult. We'll see if they're going to be able to set up these team fights properly. Those are 2 really strong members right now on FlyQuest.
Yeah, Quad is also super rich, and he has been jumping forward on this Zeri, really taking advantage of like the small movements here. FlyQuest though, let's see. They've got him currently pushing bottom lane. Quad does have his teleport. As well as his flash. So the Zeri in the side lane with a static shiv just deletes the minion wave and then allows you the extra push here so they can come join and contest Team Liquid at this Vision game. I don't think Team Liquid is anywhere near starting up a Baron. They're just trying to get some Vision to play with.
Man, the thing I'm so worried about if I'm Team Liquid right now, you got 90 seconds, just a little bit more than that, until this Cloud Soul spawns for FlyQuest. Cloud Soul for Zeri and Renekton, who are already extremely fed? This is This is a problem. This is not the kind of champions where you're like, oh, okay, Cloud's all right. Both of them are incredible with that extra buff.
And I want to point out the Immortal Reminder for Quad. Third item is a big one because the Senna healing is so big. He is going to shut that down. It really helps when the Zeri is ahead of the pace.
All right, Inspired's just going to use the ulti to set up this tier 1 turret potential dive, but Whippo is stuck underneath the tower range. He has to flash away just to survive that one. Steric's Gage keeping him healthy enough. FlyQuest are forced back.
That is potentially problematic. Now no flash. Renekton definitely a lot weaker for this next team fight. And FlyQuest really wants to win that one, secure the soul, and really take control of this game. Ash Arrow.
Oh, nice. Ash Arrow forcing out the cleanse from Yawn. FlyQuest getting a summoner spell off the back of Whippo being forced away. Whippo's waiting back at the base. He has the TP. If this turns into anything more, Impact has one of his own, but
Raptor Pit
weak tower
really helps when the Zeri is ahead of the pace.
All right, Inspired's just going to use the
Soren fell pretty far behind, unfortunately, in terms of CS.
Ash Arrow forcing out the cleanse from Yawn. Threat.
The missing cleanse also a problem now for TL because you could have a flash play from Inspired potentially at this next dragon. These are tools that won't be back.
Whippo's looking at the teleport.
Yeah, Inspired doesn't have ult though.
Right now. You can see him in base.
It is empty.
There he goes. He's ready to go. Umpty's going to be your target here at the very beginning.
It's gonna be a huge Ornn ult, man. 3-man Ornn ult straight into knockup. Force 2 flash. Great play by Impact.
Team Liquid's running him over. Impact got the kill on Buzio. It's 3 dead and FlyQuest jerseys.
Surely that's just the game, right?
With a tidal wave in the mid game to bring it all back.
Impact put him into the bouncy house there.
Why are we 5-manning Drake?
Charging into the wall, getting so
Why are we 5-manning Drake? Go send people to fucking Baron. You do not need 5 people on the Drake.
Before they lost the fight, and they might lose the Baron off the back of this. Let's watch it one more time, Kobe.
Teleport channel time is 4 seconds long. Let's count them because the fight is almost over before those 4 seconds are up. Instantly.
Triple root, triple knockup, charge
is 4 seconds long. Let's count them because the fight is almost over before those 4 seconds are up. Instantly.
Triple root, triple knockup, charge into the wall, triple knockup, well, excuse me, 1 knockup and forces 2 flashes. That was huge.
Choo-choo! The trade is here. Oh my.
We could, guys. If we had left 2 people, Callista and one other, and Senna, let's just say, on Drake, and started Baron with the rest of our team, we would have gotten both objectives.
Now FlyQuest is coming in yet again with the Maokai looking to lead the way. Impact on the front line, soaking up some of the damage, but immediately Buzio drops. Inspired and half HP trying to get away now too. Whippo has to be the X factor here. Team Liquid still in the Baron, still trying to bring it a little bit lower. Inspired coming around from the side looking for maybe a flank. Masu peppering them with damage, but it doesn't do a lot. Whippo jumps into the middle, survives with Steric's Gage. Impact is about to die to Masu.
Oh god, Quad.
Team Liquid is aced. FlyQuest, massive play.
Quad with the triple. They evaporate Team Liquid and will take the Baron. FlyQuest looking at silver scrapes. Look at this fight.
Oh my god, man. I thought FlyQuest was screwed from this spot, but Whippo goes in.
He actually gets a good heal there, Whippo. Dude, the Runin's Zeri just destroys them.
So many members.
Look at that AoE.
Let's call it a quadra kill. He was popping off in this fight.
The Hurricane here, plus the Zeri chains, absolutely dumping. He's hitting him.
I thought for sure.
But they could have actually, I think, gotten both objectives had they actually split up properly. I don't know why we needed 5 people to do Drake. Why do we need 5 people to do Drake?
I gotta touch on it again. It will be so powerful if Team Liquid can't stop it.
Worth touching on, the ornaments have started to come through. You can see that first one is there for Impact. He needs the additional experience, and then those upgrades are going to come through. You know, they're going to start to make that gold lead lie to you a little bit because it is a lot of additional stats.
And he needs those levels. He's 2 levels, full levels behind Whippo here. The Crocodile was a...
Yeah, Aaron at about 9 back. Whippo checking into the brush. Does not want to go any further in.
Yeah, not going to push out that wave, so not getting any stronger just yet. Because there's no Mikhails on the other side. APA has been can you do it with FlyQuest coming towards you after?
Umpty stepping up there. They're kind of fishing for an opening.
Yeah, we're on a knife's head. Let's see. Inspired. Still looking. Where's the angle for the twisted advance?
Also kind of cool to note, the Knight's Vow that inspired Purchase is actually on Whippo, the front line here for the beginning of the fight. You can track to see if he
Quad.
changes
He's trying to
it.
find an angle.
They're looking for this. Inspired and Whippo taking a little bit of damage. Now it's Inspired jumps into the back line, going after Yon, but he's going to be protected for now. Whippo still looking for some of the damage, goes after Impact. A nice ulti coming through for the Ornn, but it ain't going to be enough. Quad's already on a rampage, and Team Liquid can't get away. FlyQuest wants Silver Scrapes. FlyQuest wants Game 5, and they are marching down mid lane.
It's Quad with the Quadra.
Am I doing a live watch party for Worlds? Now just do VOD reviews. There's no point in doing watch parties because I can't compete with co-streamers.
Trying to make sure he doesn't get an easy
I'd rather just do the VOD reviews, keep on doing what we've been doing.
Look at the death timers. 20 seconds or more for LCS wants Game for the Ornn, but it ain't. Inspired and Whippo taking a little bit of damage. Now it's Inspired jumps into the back line, going after Yon, but he's going to be protected for now. Whippo still looking for some of the damage.
I can't believe that Impact got that R2 off after being stunned by Renekton.
A nice ulti coming through for the Ornn, but it ain't going to be enough. Quad's already on a rampage.
This area's going crazy though.
Can't get away. FlyQuest wants Silver Scrapes. FlyQuest wants Game 5.
Zeri just so ridiculous. I feel like Team Liquid should have won this game.
With the Quadra, Zeri Gaming, baby. He is taking over this one.
You got Leona here chasing.
Yeah, Callisto's not going to do any damage in the late game.
Make sure he doesn't get an easy recall while the rest of the team goes mid.
Exactly. Look at the death timers. 20 seconds or more for everybody on team. They're just going to leave it up.
It is a level beyond, but it just doesn't. We got to go back to live here.
Going to do a whole lot here.
Pivotal.
Whippo leading the charge. Here he goes. The Dominus ready. Umpty's the target. FlyQuest have found the trap. They do not care. They will send us to Silver Scrapes. Do it. The defense would
Pop the all quad.
Wait.
And they say, you know what? Let's not risk it. Let's back.
Can they steal with something crazy here?
late.
There's no way.
Team Liquid is trying to at least get something off the back of the
I mean, this is a good play by Team Liquid. Just a Hail Mary play.
He's got ulti.
Impact has ult. Okay, here it goes.
Summons up the Ornhorn, wants to make sure he doesn't get interrupted and can still find the second half of the cast as Busio forces Impact away. FlyQuest.
Good Maokai ult to cover the retreat.
There's space in that circle.
Level 14.
3 leads and some tank items to follow it up.
3 TL.
Under there.
That's crazy though. Full build now. True full build.
Okay, now they actually have ult. I mean, the Cloud Soul really does help Maokai. No, it helps Zeri a ton too. Helps Renekton. Very good ult for Renekton. Very good soul, rather, for Renekton.
A little bit further forward, creating another point of pressure against FlyQuest.
Yeah, someone's going to have to go answer it, and then they're going to have to give up the tier 2 at the same time, pretty much guaranteed. Impact did hit 15, Inspired looking to go.
Yeah, Inspired's using the ult. That's your go button for FlyQuest.
Okay, good job just waiting the supers they shepherded the supers in with Renekton, then they zoned out of tier 2.
Elder Dragon fight.
Okay, we're going for Elder now.
Some sort of position here in the mid lane. FlyQuest are stepping up though. Look at Quad. He's ready for the flank, but he's got to pick his moment wisely.
I think the issue is like Callista just doesn't scale very well in a lot of these team fights, and so sure the Senna does, but you don't actually bully lanes as hard. It appears to me with the Senna Callista combo.
We're past the point in the game where Callista's going to chew through health bars.
Yeah, it's just this poke isn't that meaningful from FlyQuest because Core is healing them up constantly, so it's going to be, you know, all in 100-0 fight. You can see Quad.
Would Riot give me co-stream privileges? Probably not, but maybe. But I'm not going to make the deal with them where I can't talk about Riot or anything. So it's a moot point. I'm not willing to make the trade. I'm not going to do their. I'm not going to just not say things so they can have good PR. You know what I mean?
But he's got to be careful because he's isolated from the rest of FlyQuest. They nearly kill him. APA's all the way back in the very back lines as Whippo soaks a ton of damage here in the front. Arrow only finds Umpty. Quad wants to fire off there with the lightning.
They have a deal like that, of course. Co-streamers can't say anything bad about Riot.
APA's all the way back in the very back lines as Whippo.
Of course they can't. They get their co-streaming rights revoked. Was they expand this game? Yes.
He's got the kills. Quad is running over Team Liquid.
Dude, the Zeri with Cloud Soul is so ridiculous. Oh, it's so ridiculous.
To game 5. Quad does it, and he's teleporting.
I will dominate his rights and still talk shit on Riot all the time. No, he doesn't. That's just a lie. What does he say about Riot? Does he say the following? Riot paid $100 million because they're a shitty-ass misogynist company who mistreated all of their female employees. Does he say that? Nope. I'm going to keep saying that, though.
FlyQuest rises to the occasion and rises to a full series. It's time for Silver Scrapes.
What a great series. APA Pen.
That's like one or two guys at Riot, not Riot's company. No, it's Riot's company. I was there, buddy.
The big,
You don't get slapped by the state with $100 million lawsuit if it was one or two guys. Sorry. Wrong. How did nobody get fired from that? Really weird. Really weird. If it was a company-wide culture thing, that nobody would get fired. No executives. Very strange. Very strange. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Be back.
changes that FlyQuest made in the previous game was recognizing that TL does not share this
Out the series. That
All right.
kept getting banned all the time.
Maokai?
good
We're first picking Lilia. Okay.
on this style of champion. The super
So Lily gets through. They actually start banning Renekton here. Interesting. So no Cassante banned this game. No Maokai banned. Surely they take the
comfortable with big center.
Maokai. Yep. Ash Maokai. Great setup for Engage. Again, more non-committal Engage. We're back to
So Impact not gonna go
Cassante
for
Corki.
this time. He'll
Not
be
super exciting, but there you go.
Ezreal and Rel are the look for them. Opening, and then they rounded it out with Ezreal and Rel. If Team Liquid are
The next game.
I do agree with the Zeri being back. It was very effective for them last game. Quad looked good on it.
To do more and more of that.
entire draft for Whippo for something creative.
and it is
Interesting
gonna-
that we're
obviously
taking
it's
away
gonna
the
be a
Jhin
counter
here
pick to determine the series.
from
Blah,
Yun.
blah, blah. Respect. Starting
He
out
just won his
silver.
promo
He just won
series.
his promos. I think
Why-
he's got to go at least to diamond.
Why are we
to
taking away the
see
Garen
Liquid. Come
when
on,
there's
bro.
no?
After the
I thought
last
Garen
series,
was only going to be
look at
used when it
double
was like
promotion.
Yeah.
You could do
Nasus.
Different divisions. He's smurfing.
Nasus
Saw, this
counter.
come out
taking away the
earlier
Mordecai.
this
So
week,
maybe
and
they're
I do
taking away
think it was
Cassandra. Possible.
Licorice.
What?
It is really,
What is that?
really strong in these tank
That's
matchups.
locked.
I want to say it was this exact matchup, even if I'm recalling correctly from the series. And Licorice was doing really, really well on it. You can really space these melee matchups and get grass procs from your Q. Your clone also can proc grass with its autos. So
Okay.
you kind of do this like harassment style, even though it's melee versus melee. You get 165 bonus range on the Q.
Yeah, the
So you
the
can be
Q
so
the Q auto does
annoying
have more range.
in a melee matchup with this.
They really. I said Ezreal Rel to.
So they're having the W stacks. The W was buffed. His like resists were buffed on his W. And his E auto speed, or not his W, his passive.
Oh, I'm feeling good about my odds. This is looking pretty close, man. Let's see. All you got to do is get that last pick.
No, you said Ezreal Rel. This would be Rel Ezreal.
No!
You're setting yourself up again to have a lot of difficulty.
Yeah, is taking MF the right call here when you have low mobility into Maokai Ashe? Yeah, I think the Kai'Sa allows you to reposition. Now they can actually play this potentially like a pick composition because you can set it up with a Lilia ult and then ult into the back line, so you can play pick with this. I think playing straight up 5 versus 5 team fight is kind of suicidal into Maokai, Zeri, Wukong. I assume this is a Wukong top. It could be, I suppose it could be Maokai support Wukong jungle.
It is more of a dive style comp, but you have more of that with playing the Lilia. He's going to be going to the back line. You're sending in Yon here. You're poking down and following up with the long range from APA. But it's Yon on this high risk, high reward style champion here.
Do you think Wukong is good into lane swaps? No, I think it's probably fucking terrible.
APA and Yon, Quad and Masu.
I think it's fucking terrible. But if they lane swap, oh, we're taking Ashe Renata. All right, so we're definitely lane swapping, right? We're definitely lane swapping over TL, the best lane swap team in the league, where we don't want to play into Ashe Renata with Kai'Sa Rel, I assume, and we also don't want Wukong to have money.
Such a clutch tool.
I like Azale commenting. Yeah, Azale's a very good caster.
I'm excited for our game
Especially, I mean, Azale is especially knowledgeable about top lane matchups, which I am not, so I enjoy listening to him.
It's a great dive combo. It's great for team fighting later on, but the lane phase, the lane phase is not there, and Ashe Renata will brutalize them. So maybe we get our lane swap here.
Yeah, it's, you would have to think this is a lane swap for literally every reason it's good for TL.
Has absolutely delivered. I hope that we won Series 2 take here, and it's going to be so exciting.
All right, as we wait for minions to spawn, Jat is standing by with an interview with both coaches.
Thanks, we got Spawn and Nuke Duck. The Game 5 job done feeling as a coach right now. How do you feel, Spawn? This
I hope Nuke Duck says, "My name is Nuke Duck, and it's time to get nuke fucked, Spawn." That's what I hope he says. How come he never says that?
Been really fun.
He should have a
I share my plays
catchphrase.
all the time in best of fives. This is why we actually became pro players. This is why we became coaches. You know, to actually have competitive series to be tested. So we're enjoying it.
And Nuke Duck, you guys switched it up in Game 5 after 5 red side games in a row. What's your assessment now, seeing the drafts, FlyQuest chance of winning this Game 5?
I think it's a 50-50 still, honestly. When watching the games, I can't tell what's going to happen. I think, yeah, 50-50.
What's made this series so close, and what makes this game so close?
The series is close because they're just like a little bit better at us than some things.
All right, so they show they are being sneaky here.
We're enjoying it.
And Nuke Duck, you guys switched it up. in game
So,
five after
you know,
5
they're
red
trying to
side
see if
games
the
in a
lane
row.
swap is coming
your
in,
assessment
but they
now?
do a really good job. So first off, if you watch here, is watching this brush, and we're showing the impact on Cassante top side, and then they're switching places when they see that it's safe, and then it's just a lane. It's a lane here. And the thing about it is because typically these days, what we've been seeing more frequently is that supports go to mid lane, and then you have top AD duo into top side. So this is actually viable because it allows you to disguise your movements early and make sure that you kind of guarantee the lane swap. Like, FlyQuest would have to hard call this, which, I mean, maybe you should argue that they should. Maybe you should argue that they should just blind call this.
The series is close because they're just like a little bit better at us than some things, and then we're like, yeah, some things are just better than us.
There's also no invade, so we are going to have weak side Raptor starts for both teams.
Okay, Spawn, seeing the drafts as well. What's your confidence level in game 5?
Look, we're always confident when we play the game, but I think that
God's nice blows flash immediately. Well, now they know what's going on.
We want, that's how game 5s normally go, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay, if there was
Bwipo also has to
that has to
flash.
go well
That's 2
as a
flashes
platform,
down instantly.
Bwipo,
Impact
one thing that has to
tried to
go well is
intercept
Spawn
him.
and Nuke Duck.
Core
Right,
JJ going to try and
so that would
disrupt
be
in
great.
jungle right now. Bwipo going to walk out. He can just dismount though.
Would have to be good.
Okay,
Or
fair
can
enough.
he?
We have
Yes,
so
he
much
can.
action,
Okay.
though. Send it back to the casters.
Yeah, we are missing a whole lot going on right now. We got players all over the place rotating between these lanes.
And so the lane swap that I was talking about from Champion Select, we actually saw a nice little wrinkle there where they really sneakily just got off the recall from Jan as Masu went bottom side.
Yep.
I looked at the Fog of War. He did not see the recall finish. And so the ward that Jan was able to push down, and then the 1 second difference there, meaning he actually resets and then walks through lane for the sneak attack to top side.
Exactly. He was behind Bwipo in that brush, and that's what forces that flash out. The attack early on mid lane from Core JJ forced Quad's flash out, and now the question is how much more can they get? We've spent a whole split time.
Where they really
So
sneakily
we actually
just
see
got
both
off
junglers
down,
clear
and
out
then the
weak
1
sides, which
second
is not
difference there,
super
meaning he
common,
actually
guys.
resets and then walks through lane for the sneak attack to top side.
So it's not going to be
He was
vertical
behind
jungling. It's just
Bwipo
both
in that
junglers weak
brush,
side
and
into
that's what
strong
forces
side
that
on their
flash
own
out.
side of the map.
Attack early on mid lane from Core JJ forced Quad's flash out, and now the question is how much more can they get? We've spent a whole split talking about how damn good TL is in these lane swaps. Core is coming down here, but there's 4 members of
They
Fly.
should not do this.
This could be Core
TL.
going down. We'll see. He's going to try to get experience here and get 2.
Yeah, level 2 now for Core JJ.
All right, well, he has
Also
Q now, I
walking out,
guess.
FlyQuest overloading this bottom lane very, very early.
He needs to try and kill these minions,
no
though.
Flash Quad, no Flash
They're gonna dive
Bwipo.
4, though.
He's dead.
Core JJ
This
will be
was
your target here underneath the tier 1 turret, but
oh,
a
they're going for the
teleport's coming in.
TP though. Ooh, APA pushed out and recalled because Quad didn't have flash, so they were able to get this. Ah, that's such a good call from Team Liquid.
Bwipo and Masu trying to get away.
Damn. Meanwhile, nobody's farming top side.
Yep, and this is a pretty good defense here from TL. They got a lot of experience, and remember, it is a 1v0 for Jan up on top side. Bwipo is not getting any XP here, so he is being delayed. They cancel that base. Yes, it does cost APA his flash, but again, that's all those minions dying.
That's okay,
that
though.
Bwipo was missing out on.
Yeah, it really
Bwipo
interesting
TP's
variation on the
top.
swap where they actually got so much more experience.
He actually did get
on
XP out of it, so it's
Core
not
JJ on the
totally
being able to soak
disastrous.
them, and then APA pushed the minion wave mid, so he got to come down and defend it with his teleport.
But
now APA
basically,
has no
you know,
summoner
Team
spells
Liquid's
after
going to
that.
catch all of
And
this
APA is gonna
XP in
stay
the
bot.
end.
They move Impact out towards mid. Jan stays top. We have seen kind of different evolutions of these lane swaps. If you remember, in their last series, we had one game where Core was actually bought on the Nautilus soaking XP while the AD carry laned with the top laner in top, and he ended up getting, I think, a 2-level advantage over the enemy support, which culminated in a kill in that 2v2 because Nautilus was such a difference maker in that. So it's very interesting seeing the evolutions based on the things that are changing.
Oh, nice engage coming out from Core.
Culminated in a kill in that 2v2 because Nautilus was such a difference maker in that. So it's very interesting seeing the evolutions based on the
He just flashes for it. Flash crash down.
Engage coming out from Core JJ sets it up for Jan and
Where was the
such a difference
W?
maker in the AD carry laned with the top laner in top, and he ended up getting, I
Where
think,
was
a
his
2-level
W?
advantage over the enemy support, which culminated. Core was actually stay bot. They move Impact out towards mid. Jan stays top. We have seen kind of different evolutions of these lane swaps. If you remember, in their last
Okay, there's his
series,
W.
we
It does
had
have a
one
long
game
cooldown,
where
though, his W.
Core was actually bought on the Nautilus soaking XP while the AD carry laned with the top laner in top, and he ended up getting, I think, a 2-level advantage over the enemy support, which
Hang on, what's Wukong's W cooldown at level 1? 22 seconds. Oh, he didn't have W. He literally doesn't have W right now. He doesn't have W. He has like 4 or 5 seconds left on the cooldown, so he actually just can't get out of that because he uses W in lane.
And look at this, they are not crashing the wave, they were pushing it away from him, so Bwipo was getting no experience, had no flash from that earlier play from Jan. That was massive.
This is huge because there's not a teleport for Bwipo either for the Wukong, so he has to walk there.
Getting him freeze topside now.
The minion wave slowly push away from them.
Team Liquid just getting the longer end of the stick in terms of the lane wave states.
It's really, really good, but it all comes back to that earlier play that you
At least it's
about.
crashing.
Jan getting the recall off barely, sneaks behind him level 1 and top
Ooh,
lane.
and he gets the cannon. Ooh, nice.
And he gets
what
the
can
cannon.
he do?
Here it is one more time. Core looking.
He doesn't have W.
He is flashless, and Core has that flash, so it's going to be Q flash pretty much guaranteed into the W to be able to find this. As he actually just gets that long range flash W there and cleans it up, easy peasy.
APA smiling there after he has actually.
But he's like, it's a train wreck.
Bottom lane, so even though he ended up bottom lane on the Corki, again, since he got to push it out, I think he might be able to just bridge the time here for his.
Meanwhile, Impact went mid and got like all the farm there, so now he's a level up and he is up in gold.
Level ahead, has more farm, and is playing a champion that is better with low econ, right? Yeah. So that is such a devastating start here for Bwipo, and now Jan is actually zoning him from XP. He's not just zoning him from that gold, he's zoning him from
now
experience.
Inspired has to come do triage top lane, but Core's here. They're going to set up a dive with Lilia. Lilia trying to hit 6. Lilia's not going to hit 6 now. JK.
Wow. 3 CS, you're so close.
He's like 1 or 2 CS away.
And choking game 5. APA, the gloves are off.
I mean, and the biggest thing for me there is Bwipo didn't have him muted. He responded, so he actually saw that, and that can get in your head sometimes. So we'll see how Bwipo can actually handle this situation here.
And his response was not a clap back. His response was, it sucks. This really sucks.
Jan level 6, Core JJ level 3, looking for potentially the dive up here, but Bwipo's doing a good job defending.
They're just using pressure to get grubs. First grub gives them the level 6.
Picked up by TL. Bwipo still hanging on, still doing all right as Busio and Masu continue to crash another wave into the tier 1 bottom as the third plate is about to fall there, while the top lane.
Gotta be careful, Umpty can come topside and dive now.
Look at the jungle levels. Massive Umpty level advantage as they go for some damage onto Bwipo.
Bwipo doing a good job not actually using the clone there. Just
Jesus Christ, how does Inspired have no levels? What the fuck was going on? Like, seriously, what was going on this game?
Jan was able to push down.
Guys, hold on, we have to go back to the beginning for this. So, weak side clear.
And nuked up.
Yep, weak side clear. Oh, he doesn't actually clear. He doesn't actually clear his blue quadrant because they went for the dive that failed because of the TP. So then he backs off. Then he goes, clears, recalls, comes back to clear top side.
Top lane
might be able to just bridge the time here for his flash to come back up and go unpunished.
I mean, look at.
But basically, that gank in bot side because Umpty didn't waste any time. That is crazy.
And he's playing a champion that is better with low econ, right? Yeah. So that is such a devastating start here for Bwipo. And dove on this stacked wave. He's barely evolutions. Base, they were pushing it away. They're changing it.
Oh, nice engage coming out from Core. JJ sets it up for Jan.
Things that are changing it.
Oh, nice engage coming out from Core. JJ sets it up.
On the E2 beginning.
Wait. Oh, Lilia took the Raptor camp, but she didn't actually kill all the Raptors. So right here we see a Raptor steal.
Wave mid, so he got to come
no?
and defend it with his teleport too. But now AP has no summoner spells after that flash.
Oh, Lilia doubles back, and there's the Raptors.
Jan stays top. We have seen kind of different evolutions of these lanes.
Respawn. So actually, he takes a camp here. He actually Umpty counter jungles the camp because Maokai's still technically on his first clear, right?
And he ended up getting,
because of that gank, man, he falls so far behind in terms of tempo. He actually doesn't take all of the camp, so it doesn't.
Was such a difference maker in that. So it's very interesting seeing the evolutions based on the things that are changing.
Oh, nice engage coming out from Core. JJ sets it up for Jan, and Team Liquid's on the board first in game 5.
Then Lily returns to Raptors.
Pushing it away from him, so Bwipo was getting no experience.
Oh man. The Inspired recalls here. goes top side, but he only has one camp respawned, and then he's just an unemployed jungler, dude. He's a dangerous, dangerous unemployed jungler.
Here it is one more time. Core comes back to that early
because he goes, takes Krugs.
Yon getting the recall off barely, sneaks much guaranteed into the W to be able to.
After be able to just
he takes Krugs, and now he's just unemployed because he took his bot camp so late that they're not going to respawn and his Raptors are gone.
Impact
and
is nearly a full level ahead, has more farm, and is playing a
he can't
that
take
is
anything
better with
bot
low
side.
elo, right? So that is such a devastating start here for Whipple, and now Yon is actually zoning him from XP.
And he can't do anything in this top side either. He's actually just an unemployed jungler. There's so much pressure up here, he can't take grubs. He's trying to cover the dive here, but he's just doing triage because of how badly this is going.
Bro. Whippo and choking game 5. APA, the glove.
Holy shit, APA went hard on him. Love it.
The biggest thing for me there is Whippo didn't have him muted. He responded, so he actually saw that, and that can get in your head sometimes.
That's great.
We'll see how Whippo can actually handle this situation here.
And his response was not a clap back. His response was, it sucks. This really sucks.
Yon level 6, Core JJ level 3, looking for potentially the dive up here, but Whippo's doing a good job defending himself. Impact level 4, underneath the bottom lane tier 1 turret, also surviving against FlyQuest. The grubs were picked up by TL. Whippo still hanging on, still doing all right as Busio and Masu continue to crash another wave into the tier 1 bottom as the third plate is about to fall there, while the top lane second plate is about to fall for FlyQuest.
And look at the jungle levels.
Well, now we know what happened, though. It was because of that gank in bot side.
Whippo doing a good job not actually using the clone there, just stops to make it look like that.
Because that gank failed because of the TP, then there was nothing really gained from it.
Here comes the sleep. Whippo taking a nap. A little bit more damage is all they need. But the
he got a kill.
Going to make it a 1-for-1. That was critical for Whippo to get that money.
And even though Umpty goes down and that at top lane is actually what they called out in all chat, it was such a massive lead for Umpty for the Lilia, this kind of crux pick where your turbo farming just goes into overdrive, and we saw in the minimap too.
Maokai's going to be able to come back just a little bit, though. He does actually counter jungle some Raptors, but they're not taking any objectives on the bot side of the map. They're not trading very effectively.
Back because I think if he doesn't get that back, he's toast.
Core JJ could be in a bit of a rough spot now as Masu and Busio are opening fire, but Team Liquid has more men.
Nice flash by Impact.
And he goes all out to drag Busio back.
Ooh.
Yon flies over the wall with a killer instinct, and that's a killing spree for the Kaisa. Masu has to flash or he'd be empty food. Team Liquid 3-1.
That's double summoner spells.
Why did Fly not do drag when they saw the dive top? Because Maokai was top because he was taking Krugs, and then he needed to cover top side, so they didn't dive him.
They actually rotated quad up to the top side.
Although you could make the argument that he should have just let Whippo die and then like gone and taken Drake and done jungle invade on bot side.
In chat. That's pretty funny. Here it is one more time. Core obviously, was playing with fire a little bit, but he had the squad coming in behind him. The extra members making all the difference. I like the TL say, "Oh, we're scared, we're scared, we're scared." They're trying to back up and force their opponents to chase after them. And even with this flash out, Yon saved the killer instinct the entire time there. They get the kill. That is 3 kills early on the Kaisa and over a 1,000 gold lead. 9 minutes in for Yon.
It just feels like TL are driving this game. They're the ones pushing every play here. And even that last one where you saw Impact be the one to show up and make the big play to actually find the trap. It is extra money onto guess who? Yon. 3 kills for the Kaisa. Static Shiv done already. That even further benefits you when you're playing this style of constantly swapping lanes because the Shiv deletes the minions and then you get to go make the next move first.
Absolutely. In a series that has felt like it's been more about
tickets on sale now.
The mid laners. This one
all right,
be
I'll bite.
all about
how many
Yon,
tickets are left
who has
over?
Slingshot forward so heavily, got the first blood, got all of these last hits. And is in
see how many tickets I can get. YouTubetheater.com. Here we go.
Pivotal game 5.
All right, the Dragon is up. The Grubs are spawning in 30 seconds. Team Liquid got the first 3. If they get all 6 in a game that is already about these macro movements and just out-rotating your opponent to
hold on,
get
I have
to
a
the turrets,
VPN
to
on
be
my
there
phone.
first like we're talking
Shout out
about,
ExpressVPN.
that'll be a massive weapon for them for the rest of the match.
Static Shiv is
But Ticketmaster does not like ExpressVPN.
Minion wave is totally gone. They instantly go into this Dragon.
Or any
TL
VPN.
now start stacking the objectives after they have their early lead. Just such a good reminder of how good they are and how methodical they are after getting these early leads.
It's also worth noting there's going to be no real front line for FlyQuest. It is going to be a Leandri's rush here for Inspired on the Maokai, so he's bringing that little splash of AP damage. And Bwipo is behind, so a bruiser behind.
Oh, I'm not going. I'm not flying to LA for this
They're gonna
garbage.
have to be perfect with these engages. They're going to be
I'm just checking to see if they've actually
how
sold
they play out
seats.
these fights, or they could get run over by TL.
Yeah, I honestly see like the win play for FlyQuest is setting up the best counter team fight.
Oh, it has no
because
seats
Renata
available.
and
Well, I
Maokai
hope they did
is
fill
so
out.
much better
Sell out.
if the enemy team is diving into. TL will be forcing plays. The problem
Says
is
the event
you
has
are gonna
no
be so
seats
far ahead,
available.
It's hard to even deal with if you can try and set up your Maokai and Renata coverage, but that's the ideal setup.
And
Am I still in Korea? I'm back in Korea.
Join with his ulti. This is a tough entrance
After
for FlyQuest.
6
They realize
years in
that
LA.
That's going to be 6 grubs. That's going to be first dragon, and that's going to be an over 1,000 gold lead. That is the benefit that TL got out of the swap.
Absolutely massive for Team Liquid. The Leandri's completed on the Lilia just melts through those neutral objectives so easily. Core JJ in the enemy jungle just putting down some more vision. They want to keep this war machine rolling forward. They want to keep this pressure on as APA is working towards that first completed item for himself as well, and a little bit of extra.
You're going to LCK finals? I went to the spring finals, but no, I'm not going. I'm not going to Gyeongju, which is far away from me. Nah, I'm not doing that. When it was in Seoul, I went. It was really fun.
And a little bit of extra plate money will go towards the cause.
And look at Jan. He's heading down towards bot lane. They want to set up for a play onto quad. If he can get the CC, then he can join with the killer instinct. They're pinging for it. They're going.
Impact's already gone all out. The lightning crash from Quad as he fires
Oops.
back. Jan jumps in, but he misses the missile. Quad is still trying to outplay it, but Jan only needs one more shot to take him out.
Oh, where's the Void Seeker?
All that's required, but Quad
It's not. He's not going to get it. He missed
and
it.
he gets out alive. The missile. Quad is still.
If he can get the CC,
How far
he
is
can
it
join with the killer
anywhere in
instinct.
Korea?
Pinging for it. They're going.
I mean, it depends on if I'm driving. I'm not sure if there's a bullet train to Gyeongju or not, but I'm not going, man. Like, I'm not going to go, so it doesn't matter.
But he misses the missile. Quad is still trying to outplay it, but Jan only needs one more shot to take him out. A little bit more damage is all that's required, but Quad is fast, and he gets out alive.
Slick escape from the 1v2 and the flash is traded there. Quad is able to keep
Gyeongju is not a big
FlyQuest
city, guys.
hopes
It's
alive.
like
It was TL
on
again
the-
with another one of them
it's like
setting
in
up
the
plays here
southeast of
off
Korea,
this wall,
so
trying to take advantage
you know,
of
especially
Quad
from
being
where
on
I
the
am in
outside of the
Incheon,
map,
it would
but
probably
a
take me
really good
5 or 6
reaction
hours to
from
get
him.
down there.
And that's the flash off of Jan, who has a
Then I'd
bounty
have
on
to
his
stay
head, so
overnight.
that's, you know, a juicy target now as Core is lying in wait here in that side rush.
It'll be fun, but
You know, definitely credit to Quad as well, because he chunked out Impact so heavily when Impact went all out. It forced Jan to use the killer instinct early.
Bwipo face checking the brush here as Core and APA just falling back a bit. Bwipo, aggressive clone forward, but there's nothing else to find as Busio and Bwipo need to retreat.
It's like they're bringing Maokai up as well, but it's plenty of wards here for TL to see.
Yeah. TL's looking for round 2 bot lane. Now there's no flash on Quad. Lilia's maybe going to take a crack. As we see, has snuck into that bot lane brush and could be looking.
Yeah, no
tourist
flash, no
destination
ulti.
like when they did Busan. No,
Quad
Busan
either gets him a
Busan is
ton of extra
the second
speed.
biggest
He's
city
got
in
that.
Korea, guys.
Impact will be happy
Busan's like a real place. I didn't even know Gyeongju was a city before this finals. It's in the middle of nowhere, man.
So good from Quad there, not to overextend. The biggest thing when you're playing versus Team Liquid, tracking every single member you can't currently see in your lane, because they are constantly trying to go to the
Google says 3 hours, 15 minutes public transfer from Seoul, but I'm not in Seoul. It would take me an hour and a half to get into Seoul.
really good use there of the extra information that FlyQuest do have. Does not expose himself, and now FlyQuest.
Am I doing JDG NIP tomorrow? No, I will probably do LEC finals and Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves for a longer stream tomorrow.
Bwipo firing back a little bit from earlier.
Yep. But it does cost them still 2 plates on that bot side as Impact was able to get up. And 32
I mean,
gold
Bwipo
lead,
has
so,
actually
Bwipo
recovered
is
relatively
alive,
well. I mean,
but
he's basically even in
Nice
gold
job
now.
with the plate there from Impact.
The problem
And
is
once
this.
again, on timer,
This
it is
Kaisa is
another
absolutely
Team Liquid
enormous and can
neutral
assassinate
objective
the...
play.
I mean, the
Upbeat
Kaisa
already
into
put more
Zeri has been a
on the
matchup
Ridge
that we've
Tail.
seen
9 turret
because
plays
people
versus
like to be
6
able just
was
to
the
all in
overall
this area in the
final
back
count.
line and
Is that
assassinate her
top
before
lane
she can get a
tier
big
1 is
ult
still
off.
bleeding away to the Void Grub debuff, and Team Liquid will claim the Herald.
They're just so good at not trading you anything when they're ahead. Like Spawn said, when you're this far ahead, you shouldn't let the opponents do cross-map. You shouldn't let them get anything back. So you go fight them off every single one. That's why they're the ones with the Dragon. They're the ones with all 6 Grubs and the Rift Herald now, which will spawn even more Void Mites when it does charge.
Exactly.
Namely, you can save that one for mid lane, It will one-shot the mid lane tower currently, so just finish up top side here.
I guess there is actually a KTX from Seoul to Gyeongju, which is one of the bullet trains. But the last trip is 9:30, so I'd have to stay overnight.
The classic, give all the money to APA, side turret goes to him. They can save their Rift Herald for mid lane, and then take down all the outer towers in a quick chain.
So much momentum for Team Liquid in game number 5. We were wondering the whole series, where is the swap? And they break it out at the final hour. 10 seconds left on the Drake. Every single neutral objective thus far has gone Team Liquid's way, and FlyQuest is rightfully afraid to approach this one as well.
Yeah, critically though, Yon doesn't have his flash, so if they were to look for the fight, it doesn't look like FlyQuest will, as they are not really positioning for it. Inspired just coming out of base now.
Whatever happened between me and casting for Riot, they had shitty rates. They banned me unfairly
They're gonna get the tier 1 bot as well, though,
and made me sell my team. They lied to me constantly. They told me to cast for exposure. They didn't pay money. I mean, everything happened. Garbage company that I don't want to work with.
Yeah, I think Yon should be able to finish up with this tower in time for any sort of counterpunch from FlyQuest. They go mid and they will be able to get the mid minions down, but they're actually trying to bully out Team Liquid from the vision around Dragon first.
I like that TL slow played this though, because now the flash is just about back up here for Yon, so I think that's what they were waiting for. They didn't want to go too early and risk giving up that bounty.
All right, FlyQuest ready to challenge here for the Drake. Top laners both having their teleports ready and available to join. You're going to see Impact already channeling his as the Drake is stolen away by FlyQuest, but Inspired is about to drop. He will not. Here for the Drake. Top laners both having their teleports ready and available to join.
Seems pretty crazy that we're like all inning on a second Drake like this.
The Drake is stolen away by FlyQuest, but Inspired is about to drop. He will not be bailed out. Quad gets one back onto Umpty, so both junglers die, and FlyQuest critically secure the objective.
The call from FlyQuest, well, they're not even done yet.
Impact, the Pathmaker, can escape FlyQuest's chase. Nothing more to find.
But that's always the way to go about these early Dragon contests, is everybody focus immediately jumping on enemy junglers so you can get the early smite out of them. They forced a really early smite here, not even that early actually from Umpty, by putting the kill pressure on him. Inspire just goes straight for it. Yep. Immediately onto him, and then
I mean, basically, Umpty also walked back up there to be in smite range, but then he got himself into flash W range from Inspired.
Having Inspired have to use his smite, they just pick it up after Umpty's was used, but still 1-for-1 traded in the lives of both those junglers, because Inspired does have to commit into melee range to be able to get the lockup.
And we see, Umpty obviously very squishy in that spot. He is on that Lilia. Yeah, he's got a little bit of HP. He's got the Merc Treads, but they flash in on him. The Ash Arrows there timed incredibly well to follow up immediately after that. And there was no ability for him to even get like a Q ulti or anything off before he went down.
Yeah, those are the other big benefits, obviously, of focusing the jungler. They can't combo with other stuff to make it lanes.
Ooh, they apply the sleep. They've looked for another kill. They haven't quite found it.
Now, once you get that Rage Blade,
This is the pick comp that I was talking about, guys. It's just you can set up the Lilia into. Look how far away you can engage and damage with the Kai'Sa. It's fine though, because they have 6 grubs, so they're just going to get tier 2 turret. Good trade.
I believe. So actually went to the wrong one, and as a result, Whippo creates enough space. Is able to flash out, but it cost him his ulti, cost him his flash. They do lose the tier 2 tower. It's still a win for TL, but maybe they could have got.
It's still almost a 4,000 gold lead for TL. What does FlyQuest need to do?
And we can watch this one more time. I think it was the Killer Instinct to the clone. Yes, it was. But I think it's Kobe hit the nail on the head earlier when he's talking about it. It's about finding that one moment where TL go too far and you have that perfect counter engage, right? Where Busio's all comes across all these members from TL. The Maokai counter engage.
I mean, the Wombo is insane. Like the front to back team fighting from FlyQuest is very good, but TL is being smart and they're not giving them that opportunity because they're making plays onto the side lanes to take turrets and pushing them off. You do not want to. You don't want to take the straight up fight here if you're TL. But they're setting up picks. They set up Core's Q. He was hiding in the brush into Lilia ult into Kai'Sa ult, and yeah, it didn't get the kill, but it got the much more valuable thing, which was the local gold off of the tier 2.
First, so to be able to survive that initial engage from
so it's all good.
Being able to flip it on its head.
Team Liquid are just continuing that pressure. Now onto the tier 2 in mid lane, as Inspired and Masu want to step up, try to protect this turret, try to make sure they don't continue bleeding out in this mid game. 10 seconds until Baron's live on the map, 90 seconds until the next Drake spawns. Luckily for FlyQuest, at least the Drakes aren't a point of major pressure this game, but they've still got to deal with TL, always in their faces, always in their jungle, always fighting for vision.
Yeah, the Drakes aren't pressure, but everywhere else on the map is pressure. They have all 3 lanes pushed in at the secondary towers of FlyQuest and whittling away on the health. Bottom tower already gone for the secondary turret. Mid tower very close to falling. TL, methodical objective taking continues.
And this is where it's so frustrating to play against TL, because you start to look at the map, you look at this quadrant take it over. So, okay, we will be disengaging, so we're going to be okay. They have already moved in on that bot side, and they're taking over this entire quadrant of the jungle. Now they're moving up that ward line.
Okay, they shoot out the arrow going after Yon. They'll get the cleanse out of him. Core JJ.
Do you think they should change the Lilia MF ult interaction? No, because here's the thing about it. You can't have dots wake up sleep, because otherwise any like Leandri's proc would wake it up. You know what I mean?
Now they're moving up that ward line.
Okay, they shoot out the arrow going after Yon. They'll get the cleanse out of him. Core JJ blocks up most of the Maokai ulti. FlyQuest at least hold on to their tier 2 for now, but it takes them a lot of resources to
the problem is I don't think you can actually remove, like, what would be the point of sleep as an ability, considering there's like a Leandri's a game, you know what I mean? Or in this game, like Sunfire or something like that. You would just accidentally wake people up. It would be pretty lame. Yeah, red buff as well. You can change how MF ult works, but why would you change that for MF? Like, why would that not be a dot? Right?
So much explosive potential. You already touched on Core JJ a little bit earlier, but the fact that then you can follow it up or even lead ahead of it with a flash Lilia sleep, Team Liquid is very scary right now. FlyQuest has got to have coordination to stand any sort of a chance.
Yeah, and I mean, the Lily is nearly 50 CS ahead now. You know, it does have 1,400 gold in pocket, so Zhonya's is on the horizon. So it's going to be one of those situations where, great, we force the Seekers, and then the next fight, he has Zhonya's, and he's going to have to do it again.
Meanwhile, Quad, who was the massive carry for FlyQuest in the previous game, does have his 2 items as well on the Zeri off of his. Always should be forfeit to TL. They get to control the rest of the map, and that includes some of your jungle camps. So we'll continue to put this Maokai a little bit further and further behind. He's trying to do the like super cheapo on sale tank items of the ruby crystals that you love, Flowers.
That's 3 of them. That's a lot of ruby crystals.
What's the argument for MF ult being a dot? Well, what else would it be? But it's unintuitive. How is it unintuitive?
Another one in there if he wants to when he goes back to base, but FlyQuest, you know, are posturing here around mid lane looking for.
Though I think the way you change it, right, is doesn't CC break it? I guess just damage breaks it.
Some sort of an angle. It's just they're gonna go now.
I guess CC doesn't break it; it's just damage breaks it.
Another one in there if he wants to when he goes back to base. But FlyQuest, you know, are posturing here around mid lane looking for some sort of an angle. It's just they're gonna go now.
They want the engage, and they found a beautiful pick on the APA.
There if he wants to when he goes back to base. But FlyQuest, you know, are posturing here around mid lane.
Like, this can't happen, obviously. This can't happen. APA can't be in this position.
They want the engage, and they found a beautiful pick on the APA. The shutdown credit over to Inspired.
They can't give up picks. Like, that is so dangerous. So that could be Baron right there.
Just a heads up play there. Flash in on the Maokai onto APA. The Corki down, and they make the move quickly.
They're going for Baron. They're going to try to do it, but this is so risky here.
Honestly, I think they have to turn off it.
Yeah, they have no real tank, man. I just don't think you can actually afford to do it. When it's just a Leandri's Maokai tanking that up, you're going to get so low before they even have.
Yeah, but you can turn with Wukong ult.
Might be a chance to try to force Team Liquid to engage into you so that you can use your Maokai, so that you can use.
It's so
22 minutes into the
angle. It's just they're going to go now.
That's a lot of ruby crystals.
It is. It's a lot. He can fit another one in there if he wants to. When
he couldn't see. There were no wards in that brush for Zeri at the time. The ward was placed later. The ward gets put down right there, and the Maokai's already flashed him.
They found a beautiful pick on the APA. The shutdown credit over to Inspired. FlyQuest fighting back 22 minutes into the game. Inspired
It's a shame Masu uses his ult here. Like, if Masu holds ult here, maybe they can do Baron. The ult is, the arrow is just, like, if you have arrow up still and you have Wukong ult, maybe you can actually do Baron in turn.
The Corki down, and they make the move quickly.
They're going for Baron. They're going to try to do it, but this is so risky here.
Honestly, I think they have to turn off it.
I don't know, man. If you had arrow up, you still have, you don't have Maokai ult, but you have Wukong ult and you have Renata ult.
So low before they even have that real fight start.
Yeah, it might be a chance to try to force Team Liquid to engage into you so that you can use your Maokai, so that you can
I don't know, maybe you can do that.
Ultis we were talking about earlier, but it's still so dicey because if you lose that game,
Pit, which can be very
choice but to fight, because if you give over Ocean Soul to an armor stacking Cassante with a full physical damage comp, I just don't think you're ever killing him.
Yeah, it would be incredibly difficult.
I mean, at least Kaisa does mix damage. Like,
for them to manage as FlyQuest are once again.
oh, I see what they're saying. It's not full though. They do have a Landry's on the other side, so it's not so bad. And there's also armor shred on Wukong with Black Cleaver.
Let's see if Whippo can bring this Wukong over to actually accomplish like a kill for them. He's got Trinity Force and Cleaver here for the Wukong. So since the beginning of the game,
Have I been working on anything else, Monty? What do you mean by anything else? What do you think I work on?
Big offensive threat for the team fight here.
Trashbread99, how am I supposed to? I'm not inside your brain. How can I answer that question? What do you mean by what is anything else?
Force build with the shredding of your armor from the Black Cleaver on top of it definitely could be the difference maker. You know, the first time we finally see him off something besides the Renekton.
Gambling? I'm not gambling. Why?
A really tough spot, you know, from the level 1 here. STL gonna likely collect this.
Yep, they got the
I'm running a company and doing these streams and doing 6 podcasts. Work on that body. Oh, I am. Don't worry. I'm in the gym all the time, baby.
Explodes Inspired, and with the enemy jungler dead, Team Liquid's got control over the rift.
Yeah, that's a Leandry's Maokai if I ever saw one, man. He went down in a...
Other than Twitch? Yeah, I've been doing all my film and TV podcasts. Been doing 3 LOL podcasts, 4 Horsemen.
About starting up this Baron. They're going to force the hand here of FlyQuest. Do they give it up?
All right, Busio will be the first one to walk towards them. TP looking to...
Interesting. So you know I founded Last Free Nation, but you don't know about the podcast, which is the whole company.
Do they give it up?
All right, Busio will be the first one to walk towards them. TP looking to bring the full might of FlyQuest back in here as Whippo's ready to rejoin. Baron's already down to 4K. There is no jungler for FlyQuest side. Masu is poked down to death's door as Core JJ re-engages on Whippo. And
there you
now
go.
He's gonna try to find his exit.
Go subscribe to the Culture channel. You're welcome.
There is no jungler for FlyQuest side. Masu is poked down to death's door as Core JJ re-engages on Whippo. And now he's gonna try to find his exit. Bowling ball misses from Lilia as Whippo will be the first one to walk towards them. TP control over the rift.
All right, where are we at here?
A really tough spot, you know.
Masu gets hit by rockets. Masu gets hit by rocket. Where was Masu's ult?
Yeah, it would be.
Where is his ult? I wasn't paying attention because of stupid questions.
As FlyQuest are once again trying to push back into neutral territory and establish some vision control over the river.
Oh man, he just straight up misses it. By the way, Yun had cleanse, so what was why are they even ulting right here? So Masu doesn't now no longer has Ash Arrow. Short cooldown, so a lot of the time that doesn't matter if you just go fishing for it and try and trade cleanse, but in this case, he actually can't stop the aggression because he has no arrow, so they can actually play very far forward and poke him down. Then they use Maokai ultimate, and then they use Wukong ultimate, but Yun has flash. Oh wait, what? He didn't flash. He just ulted.
Yep, they got the tier 2. Inspired and FlyQuest.
Oh, he does flash. It's just, you know what? I love spectator client where there's just a delay here. There's just a delay. It's fine. Oh no, he did. He ulted? I guess it wasn't ult. I'm dumb.
Yep, they got the tier 2. Inspired and FlyQuest.
He ulted. So I was right the first time. He did ult. And so we used literally everything. We used literally everything for this engage. It gets cleansed. and APA and Yun can do a bazillion damage. And nobody is in range, so we overextend again. We get too hypey and we overextend. APA flash, that's why I saw it. All right, fair enough.
If I ever saw one, man, he went down in a hurry there. The initial engage looked
no Ash Arrow there is actually huge because they can't punish. They can't punish without Ash Arrow the positioning in the mid lane.
Do they give it up? All right, Busio will be the first one to walk towards them.
But if you guys look at this, the fact that they don't have Ash Arrow is actually so crucial here because Yun and APA can walk up.
Gonna likely collect this.
Yep, they got the tier 2. Inspired and fly.
APA flashes out. Yun just goes ahead and uses his ult out. There's no follow-up from Zeri or Masu this whole time. Then it's just sleepy time for the tree.
Explodes Inspired, and with the enemy jungler dead, Team Liquid's
And Impact isn't even there.
Yeah, that's a Leandry's Maokai if I ever saw one, man. He went down in a hurry there. The initial engage looked explosive from FlyQuest, but now TL has no reservations about starting up.
There's no follow-up, no run out of ults, no chance for Zeri or Ash to do damage.
Will be the first one to walk towards them. TP looking to bring.
I don't understand why we play so hard for this when we have no Ash Arrow up.
Gonna likely collect this.
Yep, they got the tier 2. Inspired and FlyQuest trying to lock him up. Whippo makes his entry into the fight, but it's not enough here.
Wukong just asleep. He's just asleep in his R2.
Explodes Inspired, and with the enemy jungler dead, Team Liquid's got control.
No bailout opportunity.
Yeah, that's a Leandry's Maokai.
Nothing, man.
Oh. He went down in a.
Put it down to 4K. There is no jungler for FlyQuest side. Masu is poked.
It's free.
Down to death's door as Core JJ re-engages on Bwippo, and now he's gonna try to find his exit. Bowling ball misses from Lilia as Bwippo is sacrificed.
The other problem is, like, if the Cassante is there, he can just kidnap. He can kidnap Wukong every time, right? Or kidnap Zeri.
Full defense for a long time. Masu's Ash Arrow was like 1 second away from coming up, and you saw Busio go for the flash handshake. We'll actually get to see it again here in this replay, but they wanted to use this tower as a little bit of bait to draw him in, and you saw Bwippo actually got both the flash from APA as well as the cleanse and ultimate out of Yon initially, but look at Inspired. Now you see him, now you don't. The Kaisa damage there, actually insane as they just pop him. It is 3-item Kaisa. It is Yon here with the Nashers on top of the Rageblade and Shiv that he started with. 5 kills for him. That damage is just too
used, and Impact is getting APA's on 3 items.
I mean, the problem is that Umti's been 2 levels up this entire game because of the disastrous dive early. It's hard to come back from that.
And Impact is getting very tanky this game. You can see all the damage put out.
They get the kill on the Team Liquid mid laner, and they.
It was a nice attempt from Bwippo and Inspired, but Quad and Masu weren't connected.
Wasn't enough, but Bwippo is looking for APA.
Well, now we get value out of the R, the Ash ult.
And they don't lose anybody just yet in the process. Core JJ making a 2 for nothing for Fly on the defense.
Makes a big difference when you have that Ash Arrow up or down.
Here, if they try and push, I mean, the death timer for APA, but Honest Bo burned APA.
Alt, and it's massive that they were able to get it.
And their inhibitor tower instantly goes down. Baron has 30 seconds left, so that is 1 more minion wave for TL to push with.
Yeah, it could be top as well.
And it's so easy for Team Liquid to.
Wait. They actually get this? APA's down. Oh, I guess APA just, they go for Drake and APA just has TP. So they actually go for Drake. Oh, this is such a silly Drake from FlyQuest. Why are they going for Drake when APA is coming up with TP and we haven't pushed our lanes out? They just traded. This was actually kind of winnable still. Maybe with the right wombo combo for FlyQuest. But instead, they get the kills, use it to take a soul point Drake, not even soul Drake, and then just lose their base.
Inhibitor tower instantly goes down. Baron has 30 seconds left, so that is 1 more minion wave for TL to push with.
Yeah, it could be top as well.
And it's so easy for Team Liquid to hard force these objectives when you have Cassante because of the Pathmaker providing the CC and vulnerability. He's the front door, and FlyQuest can't kick it in if they want to try.
They just traded a possible 3rd Drake on TL for their mid inhib.
The defense of an inhibitor tower, even at
Pog.
this area where we do have
Retro Crop, thank you for your tier 1 sub. I appreciate you.
We aren't going to win that any day of the week, so just try and get your objective bounty down there on the opposite side, and all of that money going into Bwipo.
Are you going to review the 100 C9 series tomorrow?
Another longsword, so
Tomorrow.
He wants to be more threatening on his dives when he goes for APA and Yawn.
Yawn's got the Seekers now finished as well, so he's going to have that stasis available. Umti has to have a lot of gold in pocket. He hasn't gone back for a while.
Does have the good, like, made the call that with the second.
All right, we're just pushing. We're playing the lane push into eventual Baron game.
They have
Resident Sleeper.
They actually impact out with that one where they trailed through top lane. Yeah. So they're trying to account
Okay,
for
good
that.
vision clear, very good patience, no stupid plays.
Liquid. All right, the Baron has spawned, and there's the immediate hawk shot.
Okay, they see that it's starting.
Immediate Umpty doesn't care. He's going to start it up anyway. Honestly, Lilia and Kaisa can do this plenty fast with just the two of them, and right now, that's the name of the game. As Core and APA now ready to join up, Impact and Core are just going to keep everybody from FlyQuest away. The Maokai ulti already sounded off as Impact's here on the front. The Baron is already secured. Impact flashes away to keep himself alive as Core JJ with a crash down defensively. Impact still running, Quad still gunning. Beautiful engage coming out from Bwipo, and Impact is down. Meanwhile, Inspire's been traded back, but FlyQuest...
It's pretty good from FlyQuest, actually.
God is still running, but APA is firing right on back. Bwipo with the bailout trying to stay alive, but it ain't gonna work. Team Liquid is just...
Never mind, the kill series over.
Impact still running.
They used everything, by the way. Like,
Quad still gunning. Beautiful engage coming out from Bwipo, and Impact is down.
Lucio's ult is complete trash right there.
Back, but FlyQuest may have just found their angle. God is still running, but APA is... Beautiful engage coming out from Bwipo.
OMG flashes out.
Meanwhile, Inspire's been traded back,
but he's got so much HP regen.
God is still running, but APA is firing right on back. Bwipo with the bailout trying to stay alive, but it ain't gonna work. Team Liquid is just too far ahead.
APA did so much damage.
From Core JJ and APA, they take them down, and they're going straight for the base, Flowers.
APA using the teleport to get into the enemy base as fast as possible. The ace, the death timers are far too long. FlyQuest put up one hell of a fight. They went the distance with Team Liquid, but the best team in the LCS is staying on top all the way to the finals.
Well, I think Team Liquid had a rough day by their standards.
Team Liquid has been taken down,
but they got so many advantages in the early game there, particularly Umti in the jungle, that it just actually didn't matter. All right, guys, so we will do an extra long stream tomorrow. Here's how it's going to go. We will do LEC finals, and then we will do 100 Thieves Cloud9. So I will start earlier tomorrow than I did today. I had to do the Monty Wolf show this morning. So that should be fun. I will see you guys then. Catch you later.